I just touched Yuan Fei Rijan during enrollment, and unexpectedly gained all his abilities. Not only did I perfectly master the 5 chakra natures, I even got various advanced ninjutsu and forbidden techniques. I just transmigrated into an ordinary Uchiha, but accidentally awakened a cheat ability. Touching heads lets me copy other skills, although I could dig up Madara and Hashirama's corpses, and touch their heads for power. As a new transmigrator, I wasn't happy at all. Being an orphan Uchiha meant I had 0 cultivation resources, and was even the same age as Kakashi and Obito. The brutal third Shinobi War starts in 7 years. Who knows where this cannon fodder will die? More importantly, today, Ninja Academy Enrollment Day. As the third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi came specifically for the opening ceremony. But before he could speak, a piercing scream erupted from the crowd. The commotion drew everyone's attention. The sound came from Uchiha Boy, kneeling, clutching his head in agony. That was me, the newly transmigrated soul, with intense headache. I rapidly absorbed my predecessor's memories. Discovering this was the familiar Naruto world filled me with despair. Knowing the plot didn't change its dangers. Without a cheat ability, I'd better plan my defection. Just then, a mechanical voice echoed in my mind. Post binding successful. System. Head touch. Touch heads to gain abilities. I was stunned. Although since transmigrating, my mind had been racing. To outsiders, it looked like a Uchiha boy, suddenly screaming during the ceremony. This drew attention, first from fellow Uchiha, Obito. Since becoming an orphan, Obito and his grandmother had helped me often, forging a deep friendship. Reborn, are you okay? Did the excitement awaken your Sharingan? The impulsive hot-blooded idiot Daitu asked bluntly, which provoked a burst of laughter from a group of Yujibo youths. If opening one's eyes were that easy, Daitu. I have had 3 tumble long ago, huh? The laughter from his clansmen made Daitu's face flush bright red. He tightened his goggles and fell silent. But just as I was processing everything that had happened, an unexpected person instantly appeared right in front of me. Turning to look, it was the third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen, drawn by the earlier commotion. He had instantly teleported before me, crouching down. What's your name? Did something just happen? His questioning, though unhurried, carried an unspoken, undeniable authority. I stared at the third Hokage, crouched before me, falling into thought. Suddenly, an idea sparked, and a wicked plan surged into my heart. I widened my eyes, gazing at the third Hokage with pure innocence. Lord Hokage, it's nothing, just... Yujibo Daitu insulted my dream of becoming Hokage. Beside me, the falsely accused Daitu immediately erupted. Bullshit, Lihua. When did I ever insult you? But if we're talking about who could become Hokage before, it would definitely be me. Seeing it was just a childish squabble, the third Hokage paid it no mind. You both want to be Hokage? Then work hard together. I believe you can achieve it one day. But just as he was about to stand up, he never expected my next words would leave him utterly stunned. Thank you, Lord Third. But may I touch your Hokage hat to inspire myself? Hearing this, the third Hokage visibly paused. He hadn't expected such a request from a youth. Fearing he might refuse, I immediately reached for the third's head. Ding headbat. S-rank ninja. Third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Please choose 5 of the following 7 rewards. Rewards. As my breathing noticeably grew heavier. Looks like the gamble paid off. The first bucket of gold for conquering the ninja world was secured. Unaware of my ulterior motive, the head patted third. Seeing my visible excitement, thought he had truly inspired the youth and smiled kindly. It seems the Yujibo clan also has vibrant youngsters. Meanwhile, seeing his friend enjoying such treatment, Daitu was clearly envious. Lord Hokage, I want to... But before he could finish, Sarutobi Hiruzen had already teleported to the podium. The farce ended, and thanks to my Hokage dream, the third Hokage was greatly inspired, dragging his speech out for an extra hour. But just as the kids below were getting confused by the old man's rhetoric, I was hit with unprecedented decision anxiety. The rewards for S-rank ninja are just too generous. I wanted them all, but after half a day of thinking, I finally made my choice. System, I select 5 chakra natures and their transformations. Kage level, chakra control, Kage level hand seal speed, 10 random jutsu, and 1 composite jutsu of my choice. Claim now. The moment I finished with the system, a sharp headache washed over me. Soon, I felt new things within my body. Not just countless hand seal experiences and masterful chakra control, but I could even clearly sense unprecedented chakra pathways. But before I could test them again, a cold system voice rang out once more, now drawing 10 random jutsu for the host. My heart instantly raised with excitement. Let's see how much gold this old jutsu man will draw for me. Congratulations, host. You obtained the following jutsu rewards. Soon after the draw finished, I was stunned by what I saw. Because aside from some basic jutsu, the rest were all serious, powerful techniques. There was even extremely, generally telescope jutsu. What I lack most right now is chakra reserves and combat awareness. And of course, the greatest asset of the Yujibo clan, the Sharingan. After all, with the Sharingan, I could become a jutsu pro myself. Then I thought to myself, LQ composite jutsu. Ding. Please select from the following composite jutsu. Composite ninjutsu. Earth Dragon Flame Flow. Composite ninjutsu. Lightning Water Dragon Bullet. I fell into deep thought, staring at these 2 powerful jutsu. Among the 10 jutsu drawn by the system, fire and earth release were predominant, while water and lightning release jutsu were fewer and more defense oriented. So I absolutely have to choose composite ninjutsu. Lightning Water Dragon Bullet. After all, in the early stages, the rock paper scissors of chakra natures is still crucial. A moment later, whether it was the casting method or the related experience in using it, I had mastered it all. I thought I could keep grinding the same person, but I didn't expect the system's next response to instantly make my face darken. System prompt. Unless the same ninja isn't it different. The era brought changes in abilities and talents. Otherwise, repeated head pats won't yield rewards. Looks like there's no loophole. Soon, after I claimed my LQ rewards, Yuan Fei Rijan's speech finally reached its end. But when he announced there was still an entrance exam at the end, I was stunned. An entrance exam? For little kids? What's the point? Meanwhile, my buddy Daitu, worn out by the third's hours-long speech, saw my confusion. Idiot Lihua, you don't even know this? Let this great one teach you properly. This is to test whether dead lasts like you have the potential to become ninjas. And for genius ninjas like me, haha, this is the best stage. I couldn't help but feel speechless. This Daitu wasn't yet the one who betrayed his master, but the hot-blooded idiot wearing goggles. However, just as Daitu and I were bickering, an arrogant voice suddenly cut in. Leave with Daitu. You too, parentless and ill-mannered. And you dare say you want to Hokage in public? You only know how to disgrace the Ujibo clan. The voice belonged to a Ujibo kid, who only knew how to look down his nose at people. Hearing this, Daitu's anger instantly exploded. Say that again, if you dare. He immediately charged, ready to fight. But then a small, childish hand suddenly pressed down on Daitu's head. It was me, taking the chance to put my hand on his head. My eyes, however, were surprisingly calm. Hey, Nozai, our parents died in battle, but they were the pride of the Ujibo clan and the village. As for real skill, let's settle it on the training ground. Feeling his authority challenge for the first time, Nozai flew into a rage. Kid, do you know who I am? I am. But before he could finish, I instantly burst forth with incredible speed, stopping right in front of him. An extra doesn't need a name. Soon, the entrance exam officially began. The rules were simple. Shonen teachers would pair up 2 students for a match. During the process, the teachers would observe each student's physical coordination and other essential ninja traits. This was to comprehensively judge a student's potential to become a ninja. Therefore, passing wasn't based on simply winning or losing the match. At that moment, I had my arm around Daitu's shoulder, rubbing my slightly trembling calf. I had just used a brief chakra burst for a simple. Now my calf is still aching slightly. And just now, to stop Daitu, I touched his head with my hand, accidentally triggering the head pat system. Ding! Head pat, level D ninja, Ujibo Daitu, ninja new. Please choose one of the following 3 rewards yourself. The affection of middle-aged and elderly women, a deposit of 10,000. Goggles. Choose the money, 10,000 Ryo. As expected, nothing good drops during this period, but having some savings is always good. However, while Daitu was intently watching the match to the side, my heart was a bit unsettled. Because although I possess ninjutsu and chakra control, my chakra amount is only microchakra, meaning besides the 3 basic techniques, I can only release 1 ninjutsu. To defeat Nostril Guy, I must grasp the timing of releasing this 1 ninjutsu perfectly. Thinking of this, my eyes shifted, and a plan instantly came to mind. During the waiting period, I also saw quite a few familiar faces on the training field. Kakashi, Asuma, Osasu, Maro, Koba, etc. They were all ultimately admitted, and Yi Yuanlin's duel attracted Guy, to run over cheerfully to cheer 1. Finally, Lin and Daitu were both deemed to have the potential to become ninjas, and attained admission qualifications. But at this moment, the training field was not peaceful, because the Nostril Guy who previously mocked me and Daitu actually drew me in a ninja duel. I once suspected it was rigged. However, I wasn't the slightest bit intimidated. I stood up and walked toward the training field with steady steps. And originally, after watching Suma and Kakashi's duel, Sarutobi had risen, prepared to get up and go to the Hokage building to handle official business. But upon seeing this scene, he stopped with great interest instead, thinking to himself, isn't this the kid who touched my Hokage hat earlier? Interesting. Let's see how he performs. And soon, as the proctor teacher said, the match begins. After finishing the seal of confrontation, he and I instantly and quickly put distance between us. But just as I was still looking for an opening to attack, my opponent directly threw out the Uchiha, Plan's classic skill, Shuriken, a seemingly simple few Shuriken, subtly blocked all my evasion routes. No time to think. I drew a kunai from my ninja tool pouch and quickly closed in, knocking down the incoming shuriken. Then, changing my attack method, I threw a punch. The opponent, caught off guard by the sudden close quarters attack, had nowhere to dodge. He could only cross his arms to block. But who would have thought a simple punch would produce a dull, heavy thud? The opponent was then sent staggering back 10 whole steps. He stumbled and rolled to dissipate force. The watching youths all wore looks of shock. They were all curious about where my immense strength came from, although the kids couldn't see it. The Hyuga clan's examiner and the 3rd Hokage noticed immediately. They could clearly see I had almost no real combat experience, scarcely any fighting experience at all. The reason I could repel my opponent with 1 strike was due to exceptional chakra control. I concentrated chakra into a specific part of my body. Seeing this, the 3rd Hokage gave a slight nod. This move shares similarities with Tsunade's monstrous strength. But now that my opponent knows how much my attacks hurt, he won't just stand there and take it. In the arena, I rub my arm, acutely aware of my shortcomings. I just transmigrated from being a law-abiding citizen of Earth, and now I had to face a ninja, meticulously trained by his clan since childhood. It was absurd. To overcome this situation, I had to play to my strengths, to find a sliver of opportunity in this adversity. Having tasted the power of my attack, my opponent clearly opted for a more agile fighting style. He constantly dodged my blows, looking for an opening. I understood his strategy. My heart sank as I thought to myself, I really can't underestimate any minor character. Is this guy a Souls player? So cautious. I knew it was time to execute my plan. I decided to feign an opening for him. With that in mind, I pretended to throw a punch while actually gathering power, ready to react swiftly once he attacked. But unexpectedly, it was as if he predicted it. He quickly retreated. You're underestimating me. Is that all you've got? He taunted, while beginning to form hand seals with clumsy technique. Wait, that seal is... Stop him. A Chunin instructor urgently shouted. But the 3rd calmly stopped everyone. Because on my face, he saw no panic, only unprecedented focus. Fire style, great fireball jutsu. A massive fireball came rushing towards me. At this distance, not even the sage of 6 paths can save you. Accept your defeat. A scorching fireball comes flying at me. But I just smiled and said, see? You've left yourself wide open. The searing flames explode, but when the smoke clears, all that's left on the ground is a charred tree stump. The Chunin instructor jumps to his feet in shock. Substitution technique? Impossible. I didn't see him make a single hand seal. The 3rd Hokage pauses for a second, then says calmly, his hand seals are incredibly fast. Watch, the match is about to end. Meanwhile, my opponent, who just used the great fireball technique, is completely drained of chakra and utterly stunned. Where is he? He's not around, not in the sky either. Just as he's about to look down at his feet, a faint ripple of chakra comes from underground. A small hand suddenly shoots out from the dirt, gripping my opponent's ankle like a steel vise. In an instant, I yank him down into the earth, leaving only his head above ground. I emerge and place my hand on his head, saying flatly, Earth style, headhunter jutsu. Seeing this, the Chunin instructor steps forward and announces, Yuji Bolihua and Yuji Botan both passed. You're in. He then helps Aotan out of the earth. Hearing I passed, I don't stick around, and immediately head off toward the Ujibo clan district from my memory. After watching my match, the 3rd Hokage returns to his office. Excellent chakra control and tactics. Genius level hand seal speed. But conversely, 0 real combat experience. This Ujibo kid is interesting. Thinking this, he orders a subordinate. Go investigate Yuji Bolihua's background for me. Back home, I open my system panel. Remembering, I patted Aotion's head. I silently think, LQ, ding, I pat on D-rank ninja, Yuji Botan. Please choose 1 reward. 50,000 Ryo, a neck pillow, or the complete book of trash talk. I take the money. New Aoton wouldn't have anything good. After reviewing the day's gains, I get out paper and pen to plan my next steps. The Ninja Academy doesn't start for 10 days, and the origin of the jutsu I showed is suspicious. I need a cover story for that. Also, while my chakra needs slow refining, I have to start training in taijutsu and shuriken throwing early. Tomorrow, I must buy new ninja tools and training weights, intensify physical training, and go find that training partner. Soon, the next day arrived. I started my training plan as soon as I woke up. First, to the Yujibo Ninja Tool Shop, emptying my wallet to buy kunai and shuriken for weighted training. But after putting on the weights, I didn't go to the Yujibo clan's training ground. Instead, I went to the Konoha training field, because my main goal was to meet my future training partner, Might. Soon, 9 days passed. I trained so hard, medical and tool costs skyrocketed. So, I resorted to rock, paper, scissors. If I lost, I let them pat my head. Earned a hefty sum from Yujibo kids. Everything went smoothly until the evening of the 9th day. Just as I was doing my last set of push-ups, I accidentally ran into the training father-son duo, my guy. Hello there. I'm moved by your youthful spirit. Can I join you for training? The guy got super excited hearing youth. Ever since he and his dad started training, all he got was mockery and sarcasm. But today, from a Yujibo genius's mouth, he heard words acknowledging their youth. Guy looked at Dai with hopeful eyes, hoping his father would agree. Dai himself was also moved to tears. But after all, he's an adult. A ninja who's rough but sharp, used to seeing deceit and schemes. What if this kid was sent to fake closeness, to secretly learn the forbidden 8 gates? And this kid is from the Yujibo clan. But when Dai took a closer look at me, all his worries vanished, because I was drenched in sweat, with clear training marks on my bandages and clothes. The weighted gear wasn't worn for just a day or two. So, Dai thought for a moment, then grinned, flashing his bright teeth. Alright, hardworking Yujibo lad, join us and let our youth bloom together. In a blink, the 10-day break was over. Today is the official start of the Ninja Academy. But when I woke up to go to school, I ran into Might Guy running around the village. Although Guy passed the entrance exam this year, he was rejected for lacking chakra talent. So, Guy trained even harder, looking at his face, sweaty from training. I wiped his sweat and patted Kai's head. Hey, having a C-rank ninja Might Guy. Choose one of these 3 rewards. A green jumpsuit, a tube of eyebrow thickener, or Konoha Strong Fist. I chose Konoha Strong Fist without hesitation. Then, with a slight headache, the Konoha Strong Fist techniques were imprinted in my mind. Not only that, I could even feel my muscles getting stronger. This was a huge boost to my taijutsu. Getting the reward made me even happier. But class time was approaching, so I chatted with him briefly and went to school. As soon as I entered the classroom, I saw many familiar faces. Asuma, Kakashi, Yuhi, and Shirinui. But my friend Yuhi Bodai was missing. He must be late again. He arrived shortly after class started. The morning classes passed quickly, but I wasn't listening. Instead, I secretly focused on refining chakra, trying to solve my chakra shortage problem soon, because during the 10 days of training before, I was surprised to find my chakra had doubled from before. Now I could use to ninjutsu. I guess it might be from my extreme training. Soon it was afternoon, time for the main event all students were looking forward to, the practical combat training. The Dao Sensei was still leading it. In the first half, I focused on kunai throwing, even though I didn't have hands-on guidance. Through my hard training, my kunai throwing accuracy improved rapidly. My next step was to find a Yuhi clan member and try to get the Yuhi kunai throwing method. The second half was combat training, practicing in pairs. First, Shiranui Gunma versus Ebisu. Next, Asuma versus Kamadu Tanjiro. Soon it was Yuhi Bodai versus Hataki Kakashi. Hearing his name, Bodai let out a weird cry. He elbowed me, saying, "Let's see what I can do, bro." But he'd only taken one step, when a loud gurgling sound came from his stomach. Then Bodai's face changed color, and he ran to the bathroom in front of everyone. Bodai didn't do anything big, but he had a big accident. The Dao Sensei face-palmed in disbelief, then announced that Bodai was absent due to stomach issues. Delayed placement. Yuji Bolihua versus Hataki Kakashi. I was stunned immediately, pointing at myself in disbelief. Hataki Kakashi is without a doubt the most genius among geniuses. He graduated from the Ninja Academy at 6 and mastered the Hataki sword style. At this stage of his life, he could basically beat every single student at the Ninja Academy with ease. But I didn't back down because of that. Instead, a spirit surged up inside me, because I want to see the gap between myself and a genius, and test the results of my 10 days of training. But as soon as I stepped onto the training ground, I saw boredom flashing in Kakaxi's eyes opposite. It was like his current opponent couldn't spark even the slightest bit of interest in him. No unnecessary trash talk. After we both formed the confrontation seal, the battle was about to break out instantly. I'd already analyzed my own strengths and weaknesses before the fight started. Even though I know quite a few ninjutsu, I'm not reserved limited. If I want to beat this version of Kakashi, who's stealing both ninjutsu and swordsmanship, which is to ninjutsu, is incredibly difficult. What's more, I've only trained for 10 days. It's possible for my physical ability to improve drastically in such a time. Therefore, when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, it's also extremely hard to defeat Kakashi. I know there's only one way to win this fight, and that's close and touch him. As long as I can touch Kakashi during the fight, I can get another enhancement. With Kakaxi's level of strength, the reward I get will almost certainly be good. It feels like ages have passed. But in reality, all this thinking just happened in the blink of an eye. The battle begins immediately, and Kakashi holds nothing back. He moves at incredible speed, drawing his sword and charging at me. But seeing this, I don't panic at all. I give my eyes a slight shift. My hands won't deal as fast as him. My level hands speed is so fast. None of the people watching caught what ninjutsu I just cast. Right after that, I reach my ninja pouch. Several kunai and shuriken are shot straight at Kakashi, even though the thrown kunai blocked all possible movement paths for him. Kakashi doesn't show any weakness at all. He draws a kunai and precisely deflects every single shuriken. This also makes his forward-charging movement slow down just a little. This is exactly the chance I've been waiting for. I immediately dash forward and close the distance. Using my Kaga-level chakra control, I condense chakra into the soles of my feet and release it in an instant. When he sees an opponent suddenly appear right in front of him, Kakaxi's eyes immediately sharpen. He never expected me to be this fast. I planted on my feet and spun into a whirlwind. Konoha, Great Whirlwind. Thanks to mastering the Konoha Hard Fist, my taijutsu has improved dramatically. I've integrated power that strength into the Konoha Great Whirlwind. The power of this move is extraordinary. Clearly, Kakashi felt the pressure too. He knew he couldn't block it head on, so he dodged and weaved, evading my attack. But the kunai in his hand was sent flying with a kick. Kakashi rubbed his sore wrist. "You're strong. but even the strongest technique is meaningless if it doesn't hit. This brief clash immediately drew gasps from the surrounding classmates. That's the genius Kakashi. This Uchiha Boruto can actually hold his own, and they're both so handsome. How do I choose? Meanwhile, in the arena, I thought to myself, this technique's duration won't last much longer. I have to end this quickly. Then I subtly glanced at a kunai closest to Kakashi, but no glance is subtle enough to escape Kakashi, who constantly analyzes the battlefield. He felt a flicker of doubt. Why is he looking at a kunai that's already on the ground? I don't know yet, but I just can't let him succeed. At that moment, Kakashi shed his usual laziness, his eyes filled with focus and gravity. He knew the boy before him was no ordinary opponent. Drawing a kunai, he shot forward with speed. Now, Kakashi's footwork and speed were vastly different. If before I could roughly predict his movements and block him, now I couldn't tell where to intercept Kakashi's assault. Even so, I refused to just wait for it. I drew my kunai and braced for the onslaught. But this close quarters fight was completely one-sided. No matter how I defended, Kakashi always struck for my blind spots. Yet when I tried to attack, Kakashi would dodge away like a startled hare. Taki's sword style, I realized in shock. Even without a short sword, just a kunai can unleash such power. In a brief lull, as we both retreated, Kakashi suddenly spoke. Boruto, I don't know why you were eyeing that kunai, but sorry, I won't let you have your way. With that, he gripped his kunai with both hands and slashed down diagonally. I raised the kunai to parry. The sound clear, crisp clang of weighing out unexpectedly. Yet, seeing the kunai knocked to the ground, I smiled. So you did see it. But it's a good thing you did. Suddenly, the kunai I just knocked down at my feet popped and transformed into me. The surrounding students gasped in shock. What? How is that even possible? Even a clone jutsu shouldn't be able to do that. However, only Kakashi, Asuma, and the more experienced students, and the Chunin instructor remained silent, because they understood this was a more advanced technique. The Shadow Clone Jutsu. By combining Shadow Clone Jutsu with Transformation Jutsu in quick succession, the Shadow Clone became a kunai. Then, at the critical moment, it launched a surprise attack. But what puzzled those closely watching the fight was, when did I make the hand seals? Naturally, I wouldn't give them much time to think. The Shadow Clone instantly attacked with astonishing speed and power, executing a spinning back kick aimed at Kakashi. Konoha's strong whirlwind. The powerful kick forced Kakashi to abandon his attack on my main body. He dodged, evading the range of the strong whirlwind, then swiftly swung his kunai. My Shadow Clone was instantly dispelled. But where's my main body? A voice came from behind Kakashi. See? You left yourself open. A hand touched Kakashi's head, and then Kakashi grabbed my arm, tried to throw me in front of him, but I suddenly exerted force and broke free, quickly putting distance between Kakashi and myself. Ding, headbat, C-rank ninja, Hataki Kakashi. Please select one of the following rewards. Hataki sword style. Konoha's secret taijutsu, 1,000 years of death. Moderate physical enhancement. Looking at the rewards, I didn't hesitate at all, choosing moderate physical enhancement, because 1,000 years of death is currently useless to me, lacking a decisive winning move. And while the Hataki sword style is strong, I can't use it in Konoha. After all, it's the Hataki clan's ancestral style. I can't explain its origin. So this seemingly ordinary moderate physical enhancement became the best choice. Soon, as the reward was granted, I knew this fight could enter its final stage. Unlike the usual pain from receiving rewards, this physical enhancement was a tingling sensation all over my body. It also caused my body to stiffen slightly. Can't move at all. Kakashi noticed my awkward movements and seized the chance, pulling out a kunai and charging at me. With the unpredictable steps unique to the Hataki sword style, he was in front of me in an instant. His kunai slashed horizontally straight for my throat. But since it was a specially made kunai, a single hit wouldn't cause serious harm. This was also why Kakashi dared to use a lethal move. Yet in my eyes, Kakashi's movements seemed to have slowed down. His once elusive actions were now crystal clear. Did I awaken? No. My enhanced physical stats boosted my reaction speed and dynamic vision immensely. Seems I made the right choice. I suddenly crouched, dodging the originally certain kill. I looked up, my battle-hungry eyes meeting Kakashi's startled ones. Surprised? The show's just starting. I flipped and kicked, striking straight at Kakashi's abdomen. The impact sent him flying. The Dao Sensei was shocked. This is the Shadow Dance Leaf technique. The sudden impact and pain temporarily incapacitated Kakashi. It's over. I grinned. Line combo. After a rapid series of attacks, Kakashi was slammed hard into the ground. He rolled a few times to disperse the force, but I didn't let my guard down. I quickly drew my kunai, ready for anything, because suddenly I sensed a faint chakra fluctuation from above. This way of using chakra felt strangely familiar. What I didn't expect was that this moment of thought would provide a turning point for the battle ahead. Then, with a poof, the Kakashi slammed to the ground, suddenly turned into a puff of smoke. And from my own shadow, Kakashi silently emerged, striking. He hid his real body in the shadow. Luckily, my senses and reactions were enhanced. I parried instantly and created distance from Kakashi. Yujibo Lihua, you're strong. Ataki Kakashi, I hope you're stronger. But after I spoke, I silently added in my heart, so I can keep learning from you. Just then, the Dao Sensei appeared, stopping the training, as we both formed the reconciliation seal. Kakashi also promised a rematch next time, and I readily agreed. After all, only by constantly fighting against strong opponents can I improve my strength faster. The practical training finally drew to a close. Teacher Dao gave the closing speech. Suma, your physical technique is lacking. You need training. Ebisu, your fundamentals are solid, but your fighting style is too rigid. It was right at this moment that the shadow of a tree in the distance suddenly swayed slightly. No one noticed a thing. Only Teacher Dao was slightly stunned. Then he quickly composed himself. Yuji Bolihua, your ninjutsu and physical technique are both excellent, especially on the basis of Shadow Leaf Dance. You actually created this creative line combo on your own. Hearing this, I blushed a little to myself. Sorry, Sasuke. Whoever uses it gets to keep it now. Then Teacher Dao looked at me, and his fondness for talent was obvious. If you want to improve further, you need to put more work into your physical technique. In this fight, your physical technique was weak in the early stage, and you only beat Kakashi in the later stage relying on your physical fitness. I nodded humbly in agreement, watching the splatter shot Daitu arrive late. Teacher Dao didn't say much. He just told him to train more to catch up with everyone else's progress. Soon it was time for school to end. Students left the classroom in groups. Daitu looked at me and asked, are you still going training today? I nodded and said, I made plans to train with Kai. Daitu looked a little disappointed, but when he saw Lin packing her bag, he immediately scurried over to her, and finally left the classroom with Lin, chatting and laughing all the way. But just at that moment, Kakashi suddenly walked over to my desk. I heard you going training just now. Can you take me with you? I looked a little surprised when I heard that, but quickly recovered. I understood what Kakashi meant. After all, it's not every day you meet someone who's on par with you among your peers. It's only natural he'd want to see how I train. So I looked up and said firmly, no problem. I've actually been meaning to introduce my friend to you too. But just as Kakashi and I walked out of the school gate side by side, suddenly I felt again a strange chakra signature coming from the sky. But I didn't act rashly, because I know that if I carelessly expose that I can sense this chakra, would alert the other party and ruin all our efforts. So I held my ground. During the fight with Kakashi, I had no time to think. But now, upon reflection, I know it must be the third Hokage spying on me. The telescope technique, because when I patted the third Hokage's head, I also drew the telescope technique. So I'm extremely familiar with chakra fluctuations released by this technique. And learning that the third Hokage has spied on me twice now, I suddenly realized I have many suspicious points on me that I can't explain. The biggest issue is my ninjutsu. I need to deal with this urgently. But Kakashi doesn't know what I'm thinking. He just thinks I'm spacing out and reminds me. Well, what's wrong? Hearing this, I snap back to reality. Ah, sorry. What was I about to treat you to? Before training, let's go eat some three-color dango. I know a really delicious place. Meanwhile, at the Hokage building, the third Hokage summons teacher to Duel. After hearing his evaluation of me, he falls deep into thought. Headhunter Jutsu, Shadow Clone Jutsu, hand signs so fast even I can barely see them. Drastically improved Taijutsu, Uchiha Hua. Are you a genius? Or, thinking this, Sarutobi Hiruzen calls it direct umbu. Summon Orochimaru. Have him investigate Uchiha Hua. Soon, Kakashi and I arrive at a dango shop. We just queued up and bought a few skewers, when suddenly, loud shouts of youth are heard. Walk on your hands around Konoha before Hua arrives. If you can't do it, do 1,000 push-ups. Seeing my good friend, Mike Guy passing by, I happily call him over. Hey Guy, over here. Guy sees me and instantly dashes over. Give me a big, unrestrained bear hug. Kakashi's eyes sharpen. Incredible speed. Kakashi, this is my training partner, Mike Guy. But after my introduction, Kakashi says, we've met before. But from what I know, he can't even use ninjutsu before he can finish. A clear, crisp female voice chimes in from behind. Pleasant as a nightingale's song. Look at his hands and feet. They're covered in training marks. He must train very hard. With his perseverance, you could become an excellent ninja in the future. If you don't believe me, the Ninja Academy's supplementary admission list is coming out soon. You can check it. The Hokage won't let talent go to waste. The three of them looked toward the source of the voice. It was a beautiful girl wearing Nara clan attire. She was holding a skewer of tricolored dango. I recognized her immediately. It was the girl who was dozing off in class this morning. So, out of politeness, I introduced myself. And introduced my friends too. I know. I saw your match with Hitaki Kakashi. The girl in front of me smiled slightly. Her big eyes curved into a smile. Nice to meet you all. My name is Nara Lumiao. I saw the empty dango skewer in her hand. And casually asked, are you still in line? Yeah, I bought one, and it was so good, I'm getting another. I have one here, just took a bite. If you don't mind. But before I could finish, Lumiao snatched the dango skewer from me, and started devouring it. Thanks, she mumbled with her mouth full. Just like that, all four of my dango skewers were gone, eaten by her. I only got one bite. I couldn't help but feel a pang of regret. Guess not everyone in the Nara clan is brainy. Some are just big eaters. But just as I was thinking this to myself, I never expected what Lumiao would say next. Would instantly send a chill down my spine. When your shadow clone failed its first strike, why didn't you retreat? Instead, you risked getting dispelled, just to pat Kakashi on the head, and right after patting his head, you soon used the line combo. You clearly had that kind of speed. Why didn't you use it from the start? Her question startled me. I looked at Lumiao. A bit of dango syrup was still stuck to the corner of her mouth. Her big eyes were full of questions. But to me, it felt like a murderer watching Conan piece together the clues. A sense of crisis surged. My eyes darted, and a quick idea came to mind. I came up with a less than ideal solution. Let's just call it my special quirk. After saying that, I lightly touched Lumiao's head. As soon as I heard the system prompt sound, I quickly pulled my hand back, afraid of upsetting her. Lumiao was slightly taken aback, then smiled. Not just anyone gets to touch my head. But since you gave me dango, I'll let it slide this time. After saying that, he ate the dumpling and walked forth the Nara clan territory. While I breathed a sigh of relief, I checked the rewards from this time. Hey, Pat, C-Rank Ninja, 9 now. Please choose one of the following rewards. 50,000 in cash. Primary chakra control. Release chakra boost. When I saw the last option, I instantly widened my eyes in surprise. It was actually release chakra, because release chakra, or spiritual power, is also the main power of the Uchiha clan Sharingan. It seems my gamble paid off. I chose release chakra boost. However, Nine Lumiao truly shouldn't be underestimated. At such a young age, she was rated as a C-rank ninja by the system, and that's without learning the Nara clan's secret techniques. Compared to the current Kakashi, at least, on paper, their strength is comparable. Ding. System reward distributed. As a cold, mechanical voice sounded. I felt no pain at all. Instead, a cool sensation flowed into my mind. Soon I felt my senses, as if they were infinitely amplified. Everything around me instantly became much clearer. Unlike the physical enhancement last time, this enhancement focused more on the senses. But I clearly understood my own state. I hadn't awakened Sharingan. The release chakra boost brought the direct benefit of enhanced spiritual power. It mainly manifests as being able to unleash stronger power after awakening. And being able to use stronger rocket techniques before awakening. Immunity to Genjutsu is significantly improved. If I were to face Kakashi now, his unpredictable movements would become crystal clear in my eyes. I might even be able to spot Kakashi's openings. Snapping after reality, I looked at the guy who was using a bamboo skewer, the biggest teeth, and the bored-looking Kakashi. I shouted, let's go. Start training. Soon, the three of us arrived at the Konoha training ground and began our daily training. Since Kakashi was new here, I explained our usual training method to him. It's about pushing our bodies to the limit to break through. After saying that, I invited Kakashi to join in, probably because the Hitaki swordsmanship also requires a strong physique. Kakashi didn't refuse my invitation. He started training with us. However, during the training, Kakashi noticed that both Guy and I were wearing significant weights. This discovery shocked him to the core. So this is the state he was in when fighting me, and judging by the movements, they've long adapted to the weights. They even handle them with an effortless ease, especially the bushy-browed one. His taijutsu is indeed formidable. Seeing such a prodigy among his peers ignited a competitive fire in Kakashi. He trained intensely. Soon after training ended, the three kids headed home. I gave Kai some silver. With Uncle Guy away, I worried Kai would skimp on meals. Meanwhile, Shikamu, seeing Kakashi return home, was taken aback. Though Kakashi trained hard every day, it was mostly technical drills. Today's training was noticeably more intense and wild. So he couldn't help but ask Kakashi, did you train with that kid? In the green jumpsuit? Yes, father. His name is Mike Guy. There's also one called Uchiha. They're both very strong. Is that so? It seems you've made some friends, but their training methods aren't suitable for you. Tomorrow, I'll teach you the Hitaki clan's body training method, which complements the Hitaki sword style. Meanwhile, when I got home, I felt none of the usual relaxation. Instead, my expression was tense. I hadn't forgotten Rumi's words, nor the third Hokage's 2 observations. I knew I had to patch on my story immediately. Recalling the method for the telescope technique, I used the mirror in my home as a medium, employing Kaga-level chakra control to release my chakra around the house in a way that was virtually undetectable. After confirming no one was spying, I found the blank scrolls my parents left at home. I quickly picked up a brush and began writing. The ninjutsu I've currently revealed are only the heart-murdering technique and the shadow clone technique. To rationalize their origin, I needed to forge 2 fake scrolls. So after writing them quickly, I spread them open on the desk. First, to let the ink dry fast, and second, to create the illusion of late-night study. Not only that, I also rearranged the scrolls in my parents' room and wiped the dust off all of them, creating a scene of frantic searching. After all this, I fell into a deep sleep, unaware that simultaneously interplaced the Uchiha clan grounds as a representative of the Hawk faction, Yuzhibo court, when his own son, Yuzhibo Outyen, mentioned that recently there's Yuzhibo. I remember making a name for himself at the Ninja Academy, and today he even held his own against Kakashi of the Hitaki clan. He immediately proposed to recruit me, this genius, into the Hawk faction. After all, even if we have to give more favors and resources, we can't let the Dove faction get their hands on him. Then, the next day quickly came. Right after class started, Teacher Hideo suddenly spoke. Everyone, today, let's welcome a new classmate. With his outstanding talent and diligent effort, he successfully got supplementary admission to the Ninja Academy. Let's welcome my guy. A green figure walked into the classroom. Hello everyone, my name is my guy. I'm really happy to meet all of you. I also hope that my youth and all of your youth can. After Lung Yao, who was wearing earplugs, had a full nap, Guy was invited off the podium by Teacher Hideo. When Guy saw all the seats next to me were taken, he ended up sitting right next to Kakashi. But when Guy was about to say something to Kakashi, Kakashi just lifted his dead fish eyes and said, "Cut the youth crap, time for class." So Guy stopped talking. And Guy too, who saw the whole thing, laughed so hard he was slapping his thigh like crazy. Lewa, did you see that? Even someone as stuck up as Kakashi gets totally shut down by the new Guy. His voice was so loud that even for him, Teacher Hideo kept glancing over at him. Guy too, damn it, pay attention to the lesson. Look at how bad your grades are now. You're still over here fooling around. Hearing this, Daitu lowered his head, but his expression still didn't show any concern. This is all storing up energy for a big break. I'll catch up to all of you in no time. A whole month passed like this, and during this month, I never stopped training. Instead, Kakashi, Guy, and I trained even harder than before. Kakashi also once showed us the Hato clan body training technique passed down by Shumao. But after we tried practicing it, we found it conflicts with the training method of the hard fist style. In other words, only when Kakashi practices can he get twice the result with half the effort, while Guy and I get half the result with twice the effort. But the two of us didn't get discouraged. As our physical fitness improved, we kept increasing our training volume more and more, and we added more and more weight to our bodies. And I can clearly feel that my body has become noticeably stronger. My chakra volume has also increased several times compared to before. But what makes me most happy is the extra bonus the system gave me. Because over this past month, through jewelry, coercion, and temptation, I managed to pat almost every one of my classmates on the head. Most of them only drop money, but many a little makes a mickle. I've used this large sum of money for training and daily life expenses. And some named classmates dropped quite a few good things. Patting Emisu's head got me mastery of basic knowledge. Patting Gamashi Randomi's head got me Sunbon throwing technique. Patting Asuma Sarutobi got me a small boost to physical fitness. Patting Yoshinaka got me Yamanaka Clan's secret technique, sensory perception. And the reason I dared to choose the Yamanaka secret technique is because this technique is extremely powerful, and it won't expose the user's identity when used. So I don't have to worry about being tracked down by others. Even though it's not as good as the Hero Mind's eye of the Uzumaki clan, it's more than enough for detecting enemy situations. So I chose sensory perception without hesitation. And as I look at my own system stats panel, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy, because the results from this past month have truly become a solid part of my strength. But for some reason, I've been feeling a faint sense of danger lately. I always feel like someone is watching me from the shadows. To get stronger, and to deal with the coming crisis, I'm ready to start a plan I've dreamed of for a long time. That is to learn the Rasengan. After all, as a longtime diehard Naruto fan, I know the entire training process for Rasengan by heart. Back then, Naruto took a whole month, and only mastered the technique of using shadow clones to help form the ball. But with my Kaga level chakra control, I can shape chakra into its required form much more easily. So I can achieve a true instant cast Rasengan. That is 0 frame startup. To get more training time in, I even split off 2 shadow clones. One goes to the Ninja Academy for 10 classes, and the other trains Rasengan with me. Pretty soon, half a month passes, looking at the light blue chakra spinning rapidly in my hand. My eyes fill with relief. I gently push it against the tree trunk, and the bark cracks apart instantly. Then the whole tree trunk snaps under the tremendous rotational force. Hearing the loud crash, Kai and Kakashi rush over. Seeing how powerful it is, their eyes widen in shock immediately. Lewa, did you create this ninjutsu yourself? That's right. Want to learn it? I can teach you if you want. So I taught them both how to cultivate the Rasengan. After all, they'll both become elite jonin in the future, and won't lack opportunities to learn A-rank ninjutsu. So teaching them now or later makes a little difference. Just as I was explaining the Rasengan's cultivation method, a cold, mechanical voice suddenly rang out, filling me with immense excitement. Ding detected host has independently mastered an A-rank ninjutsu. Rank advanced to Chunin. Novice period concluded. Now distributing graduation gift. Simplified Sage Mode. I stared at the reward before me, somewhat confused. Although, as a seasoned Naruto fan, I naturally knew about Sage Mode. The system's so-called Simplified Sage Mode left me scratching my head. To investigate, I found an excuse to send my guy and Kakashi away, telling them to go train first. Once they left, I clicked to claim the gift. But the next second, a sharp, intense pain erupted from my abdomen. The agony was like a Rasengan slammed directly into my gut. Why does every reward have to be so painful? Soon, as the pain subsided, I finally sensed the new changes. Now I could clearly feel the natural energy drifting in the air. I slowly recalled the cultivation method for Sage Mode. But cultivating Sage Mode requires a massive chakra foundation as base. Otherwise, recklessly drawing in natural energy would only lead to being consumed by it. However, the next moment, the recently silent system voice sounded again. This reward is the simplified Sage Mode. It has the advantages of quick activation and minimal side effects, but correspondingly, its power is significantly reduced, and its duration is shorter than true Sage Mode. As soon as the words fell, I instantly understood. This simplified Sage Mode is essentially a harmless curse seal. I finally felt at ease. Though I wonder how much this simplified Sage Mode will actually boost my strength. To test it, I quickly sat down cross-legged. My body instinctively began absorbing surrounding natural energy, thanks to my Kaga-level chakra control, achieving the perfect balance between the three energies. Sense me, and from my perspective, I had completely merged with nature itself. My presence was undetectable by chakra sensing. With a low shout, Sage Mode, activate! Surrounding trees began to sway without wind, as if an invisible force was brushing past everything around. I stood up, carefully sensing the changes in my body. System. Will eyeshadow appear when entering Sage Mode? Simplified Sage Mode won't, but the host can set it manually. However, complete Sage Mode will definitely have eyeshadow. Then no eyeshadow. After all, if it appears, everyone will know I've entered my second phase. Transforming secretly without eyeshadow is the real deal. I clench my fist. My physical fitness has improved by about 30% compared to before. Not only that, with the addition of Senjutsu Chakra, the power of ninjutsu is greatly enhanced. Let's try sensory ability. In the original story, Naruto used Black Rods to locate Nagato from thousands of miles away. This shows how Sage Mode boosts sensory capabilities. I closed my eyes and began to activate Yamanaka Clan's secret sensory technique. Kai and Kakashi were training. Not only that, I could even clearly sense every blade of grass around me. But right then, my brow suddenly furrowed. What's with this cold, sinister chakra? Suddenly, in my sensory world, a pair of emotionless snake eyes appeared. Its uniquely cold chakra even made my whole body shiver. The next second, I was forced to release Sage Mode and collapse to the ground. In a daze, I saw a brownish-yellow python slithering away. Did I see wrong? Not long after, Kai and Kakashi, hearing the commotion, hurried over. Lewa, what happened? Weren't you practicing ninjutsu? What's going on? I didn't reveal the whole truth. After all, sometimes the more they know, the more danger they're in. Then Kai and Kakashi together escorted me home. But when parting, Kakashi said to me, I want to test the results of this month's training. After you recover, let's have a match tomorrow. Gladly. The next morning, early, I was woken up by Kakashi. Because today, Might Dai's mission ended. Kai, who usually trains with us, might be with his dad and not available. So the match location was set at Kakashi's house. Hearing I get to meet the legendary White Fang belief, I excitedly shot up from bed. To make a good impression on the senior, I went to the ninja tool shop for sword oil. After all, first meeting, can't go empty-handed. That'll be 100,000 yen. Welcome again, handsome. Amidst the image shop clerk's eager farewell, I walked out the door with a pained expression. Although I'd saved up a decent sum from pats on the head, this shopping trip was definitely a big expense for me. You didn't have to buy such an expensive gift. You just don't get it. The oil bought top quality, a huge bottle, one for 3 generations. The oil outlast the man. Soon, the two of us, bickering and joking, arrived at the Hitaki clan's ancestral home. Perhaps due to the family's decline, the Hitaki clan didn't have a lavish estate like Yuzibos, just a refined ancestral house. But the moment we stepped inside, I saw the legendary Konoha's White Fang. It felt like a sheathed sword, unfathomably powerful. Kakashi's strength I could somewhat grasp, but Tsukumo's power was utterly inscrutable. It's like seeing an enemy in a game with level and health bar. Scary, right? I couldn't be rude. I quickly said, hello, uncle. I'm a friend of Kakashi's. I've long heard of your great power, and seeing you now, it's truly extraordinary. This is a small gift I brought. I hope you'll accept it. Kakashi smirked. Suck up. Then the three of us exchanged pleasantries. I could clearly sense this elder had no airs at all, but was very kind. In the end, Tsukumo accepted the blade oil, and, promising to guide my training, treated me to fish he cooked himself. It was delicious, but we didn't eat our fill, just a light meal. Being too full isn't good for the upcoming match. Soon, the two of us taking stances. In the Hitaki backyard, the fight was imminent. The duel began. Two figures clashed instantly. Tsukumo watched with a smile. Listen up. This match's most important goal is to understand your own strengths and weaknesses. Winning or losing isn't that important. They nodded in agreement. Then they were locked in combat again. By unspoken agreement, they didn't use kunai to test each other, since both had full confidence. That kunai wouldn't pressure their opponent. Thus, from the start, it was an intense bout of taijutsu. Kakashi struck first, closing the distance with a strange, swift footwork. But thanks to my enhanced physique, an E-nature chakra boost, my dynamic vision and reactions are leagues ahead of a month ago. Your footwork is useless before these eyes. Yet, as soon as I spoke, Kakashi changed tactics again. His steps grew even more erratic and chaotic. But the speed didn't change at all. You haven't opened your eyes yet. What big talk. Seeing this, Shomao smiled. Reversing the Hitaki body technique, Kakashi is really bold. And seeing that he couldn't see through Kakashi's movements, I wasn't going to just sit and wait. I stomped my foot, cracking the floor slightly, and charged straight at Kakashi at high speed. Looking at the fist magnifying before my eyes, Kakashi knew this punch was dangerous. He blocked with his palm, but couldn't withstand the immense force in the punch. He was instantly sent flying back. He rolled 2.5 times on the ground before stopping. But everyone present knew my punch didn't succeed. Despite his astonishing power, through Kakashi's series of movements, he had already dissipated most of the force. Lewa, your monstrous strength has grown again. Of course it has, not giving Kakashi any chance to catch his breath. I quickly closed in, raising my right fist high. But what was shocking was, pale blue, high concentration chakra was swirling around the fist. Too slow. Kakashi flipped sideways, narrowly dodging my attack. However, the next second surprised both Hitakis, because Kakashi, who had just dodged my attack, crashed to the ground in pain. Ow! I clearly dodged your attack. Kakashi looked bewildered, and Shomao was also slightly stunned, but then showed a look of understanding. Little Lihua gathered chakra near his palm, increasing the attack range of his hand. Although you dodged his attack, you were still hit by the chakra near his hand. I secretly admired Shomao's sharp eye, and felt pleased with his strike. It seems combining the monstrous strength with Naruto's Sage Mode Frog Q-Might was the right idea. Kakashi stood up, looking a bit disheveled. He dusted himself off. Next, I'm getting serious. Kakashi lightly brushed his hand near his ninja tool pouch. A short sword smoothly appeared in his hand. Hitaki sword style. In an instant, Kakashi attacked fiercely. I drew a kunai. My eyes darted rapidly, trying to see every one of Kakashi's attacks. The two of us fought back and forth, evenly matched, although I was struggling to defend. But he always managed to narrowly block Kakashi's attacks. After this intense exchange, both knew their taijutsu was evenly matched. Next would be the battle of ninjutsu. Kakashi quickly leaped back, using all his strength to create distance from me. While retreating, he swiftly formed hand seals. Shomao wondered, why was he so desperate to get away from Liliwa? Then he saw the answer. I didn't form any seals at all. Using my incredible speed, I closed the gap with Kakashi. When only a few body lengths apart, I extended my hand. A pale blue chakra sphere instantly formed. Even Shomao, watching from afar, could feel the immense destructive power of this technique. Just as my Rasengan was about to hit Kakashi, Kakashi finished his seals. Earth style, earth wall. With a shout, the wall erupted from the ground. It lacked the dog-headed carvings of the original, but it blocked my path. Yet the next moment, as the sound of the wall cracking echoed, I stood before Kakashi. I concede, his seal-less ninjutsu is too fast, Kakashi sighed. Then Shomao stepped forward. He brushed dust off them and began his critique. Kakashi, your sword skills have improved greatly, but you focus too much on technique, neglecting physical training. Practice the body tempering method I taught you diligently. For ninjutsu, work on your hand seal speed. Kakashi nodded in agreement. Then White Fang turned to me. Little Li Hua is a rare genius indeed. Excellent chakra control, superb chakra application, and even creating a seal-less ninjutsu. These are feats many never achieve in a lifetime. I felt a bit bashful from praise. However, to reach the next level, consider the seamless integration of body and chakra. I know your attacks often have pause after miss, a moment's delay before the next strike. But that very pause can expose a fatal opening. So, if you could chain your attacks fluidly, it would be of great benefit to you. I quickly understood Shomao's meaning. Essentially, cancel the recovery lag with basic attacks. After the critique, both Kakashi and I gained valuable insights. Remember, not everyone gets such an opportunity from patient guidance from an elite jonin. After chatting for a while, I prepared to leave. Unexpectedly, Shomao stopped me. Little Li Hua, I recall your original jutsu is a hand seal-less one, right? Yes, uncle. Here are my confirmation. Shomao said, I happen to know a junior who's also researching hand seal-less jutsu. I think you two could exchange ideas sometime. My heart skipped a beat. At this point in time, who else could be developing a hand seal-less jutsu? But even though I knew, I still feigned curiosity. Uncle, who is this junior you mentioned? He's the student of an old friend of mine. Like you, he's a genius too. His name is AnimeNexus. Uncle, just let me know when your brother has time. I'll definitely come. Soon, several days passed since my spar with Kakashi. That day, Kai went to school, but Kakashi and I both used shadow clones to skip class and train at the field. Just as we were training hard, I suddenly held my head and cried out in pain. Before Kakashi could even ask why, he grunted and started rubbing his own head. It turned out Dao Sensei was preparing for the midterms tomorrow, requiring everyone to attend the exam in person. So he dispelled our shadow clones to let the clones relay the message. The Dao Sensei's methods are way too rough. He must have noticed us using clones for class ages ago, and now he's taking revenge. The next day arrived soon. The midterm exam was held as scheduled. The Dao Sensei personally oversaw it. When Kakashi and I arrived at the classroom together, a pleasant voice called out to me, "Hey, this is the Uchiha Genius who insists on attending school with shadow clones." I looked at the speaker. It was Nara Lumiao. Her beautiful big eyes were fixed on me, filled with teasing. Hey, look who it is. It's the Nara sleep god Lumiao, who insists on 8 hours of sleep in class every day. Neither of us was willing to lose a verbal spar, so the conversation was especially sharp and pointed. I was planning to use this secret to make you treat me, but now Dao Sensei ruined it. To make it up to me, buy me a stick of dango, okay? Hearing this, I felt quite amused inside. All right, after school, come with me. The midterm exams are about to begin. The exam consists of 2 parts, a written test and a practical drill. First, we'll start with the written portion. It covers the foundational knowledge from the past 2 months. The test was personally crafted by Master Dao. If you study hard, an 80 is no problem. But getting a perfect score? That's a different story. However, that's the mastery basics I gained from Ebisu. The questions were a breeze for me. While Daitu, next to me, was still scratching his head in confusion. I'd already put down my pen to rest. Suddenly, Daitu nudged me with his elbow. He whispered, "Bro Li Hua, do you know?" He begged for answers, but before he could finish, he took a shot through the air. It struck Daitu's forehead like a kunai. Yujibo Daitu, what are you whispering about down there? Get back to work. Master Dao scolded. Seeing Daitu get scolded made my day. He didn't scold you. Are all the questions done? But to everyone's surprise, I walked up the next second. I gently placed my test on the teacher's desk. I'm off to prepare for the second exam. Master Dao picked up the paper and gasped in shock. A perfect score? He knew if I cheated, it wouldn't have escaped the eyes of a former Umbu like him. So I must have answered it myself. Turns out, using shadow clones to attend school boosts learning efficiency. Soon after, they examined it. Master Dao collected the papers, concluding the first test. After a short break, the second exam officially began. The rules are simple. Form teams of 3 freely. Then, teams face off. The assessment isn't about winning or losing. Scores are based on performance during the test. As for me, I teamed up with Kakashi and Kai, aiming to finish the exam quickly and get back to training. But the 3 of us had too much of a main character vibe. No other team wanted to face us. Similarly facing this situation was a new Inoshikacho team led by Nanyang Lumiao. Unlike our trio's formidable individual strength, the reason no one wanted to face Lumiao's team was their powerful teamwork and coordination. Thus, the 2 leftover teams naturally became opponents, and this match received the most intense attention, as both sides formed the seal of confrontation. Without much talk, the battle was about to erupt. The Inoshikacho combination has been famous since the Warring States era, and it's precisely because of their formidable teamwork. I can't underestimate this battle. I recall the intel in the trio. Nanyang Lumiao is a given. On the ninja system, a C rank. Rating signifies exceptional strength. Moreover, the Nara clan's true terror isn't power. It's their minds. Yamanaka Inabo is usually silent. His strength, unknown. And Shōdao Dai is, unsurprisingly, a big guy. But unlike other Akimichi clan members, he sports a spiky, rebellious hairstyle, and a defiant look. Yet I have a hunch. Shōdao Dai might be the strongest of the 3. Leader Nanyang Lumiao smiles and says, "We've all mastered our clan's secret arts. Be careful. Don't lose." He turns and commands the 2 behind him. Hold him for 3 minutes. No sooner said than done. Yamanaka Inabu and Shōdao Dai instantly erupt, charging at our 3. But seeing this, I just give a slight nod, and Kakashi and Kai instantly rush forward. And right at that moment, the long quiet Lumiao also springs into action. She swiftly throws Shuriken to disrupt us. I knew Lumiao wouldn't just wait idly, but I'm unfazed. Because no matter what you try, in the face of her absolute power, clever tricks are useless. As I speak, I use Kunai to knock away Lumiao's Shuriken one by one. But what I miss is, she uses that brief moment to set up a trap of explosive tags in front of her. Meanwhile, up ahead, Inabu and Dai cry out in pain. After all, Kakashi and Kai are too strong. They're quickly defeated. Seeing this, Lumiao's expression turns grim. She whispers, "Got it?" Dai and Inabu say simultaneously, "Got it." Turns out, Inabu used the Yamanaka clan's secret art to create a temporary comms network, enabling truly encrypted communication. Inabu struggles back behind the trap, quickly gathering chakra, ready for battle. I need to block their line of sight. Hearing Lu Miao's transmission, Showdown instantly says, understood. Multi-size technique. His body rapidly expands. Meat tank. The next second, he rolls into a ball, speeding toward us, forcing me, Kakashi, and the others to dodge and weave. And watching Showdown's attack, and didn't harm our side in the slightest. Kai proudly declared, as long as it doesn't hit, this jutsu is meaningless. But before he could finish, I cut him off with a raised hand. No, dust was kicked up on the field. We lost sight. The field was now shrouded in dust, hiding the enemy's movements. My face grew serious. As the brains of the Ino-Shikicho trio, Lu Miao wouldn't do something so pointless. We can't just wait here. Break through. At my command, the three of us sped off in different directions, trying to quickly escape the smoke. But just as I was sprinting away, I suddenly felt a familiar chakra wave. It swept over me like radar, but its use was a bit clumsy, revealing its presence. This is the Yamanaka clan's secret sensory jutsu. Meanwhile, with Lu Miao, though he couldn't see us through the dust either, Ino was sensing us clearly. After detecting our movements, Lu Miao gave orders via encrypted comms. I hold my take Kai. That's a tough ask. Dai, just beaten by Kai, said this. But he still charged at Kai. We don't have much time. Be quick. Lu Miao harassed my Teikai with precise kunai throws, while urgently urging Ino. Hurry up. Ino, after using her secret techniques repeatedly, was already too exhausted to stand, yet she was still struggling to gather chakra. Kakashi and I, due to the dust, had no idea where the fighting was. We could only keep pushing to break out. Showdown arrived just in time, blocking Kai before he left the dust cloud. The two then grappled. Unsurprisingly, Dai was quickly knocked down, but just as Kai tried to break through again, Dai, lying on the ground, gritted his teeth, and grabbed Kai's ankle. This is a task from the boss. If I let you leave, I'd be in big trouble. Kai could see his condition was dire. The high-intensity use of the Akimichi clan's secret arts, combined with continuous fighting, had left Dai utterly exhausted. Kai looked at the youth, refusing to give up. He felt immense respect. Friend, I acknowledge your youth. So, to honor your ninja way. With that, Kai lowered his head. An unprecedented power erupted from his body. Crap, Kai seems to be getting serious, I said anxiously. What on earth is happening? Meanwhile, Kai declared loudly, let me use my strongest power to deal with. But before he could finish, he fell silent. Shadow possession jutsu. Success. Lu Miao said with difficulty. Jingwon, hurry. Jingwon behind her nodded upon hearing this. Then, she performed the mind-body switch technique. A surge of soul energy shot straight towards Kai. Then, Jingwon's body went limp and collapsed behind the trap. Such immense power, came Kai's voice. But it was in a tone never heard before. Lu Miao quickly released the shadow possession jutsu and commanded, while the enemy is in the open and we're hidden, take them out one by one. Yet before she could finish, don't think you'll get away with this. I leaped high into the air, breaking through the cloud of dust. Right after, Kakashi emerged from the other side. Finally seeing the whole situation, the classmates couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. They saw my Teikai and Shio Dao Dai Nanyang Lu Miao standing together, facing off against me and Kakashi. But seeing Kai controlled by the mind-body switch technique, I remained completely calm, still saying with interest, you three are pretty strong, huh? Using a trap formation to protect Jingwon's body, having Dai release smoke bombs, then using the shadows of the kunai on the ground to extend the range of your shadow possession jutsu. Controlling our fighter with the mind-body switch, truly clever. Lu Miao listened to the praise from her opponent, but felt no joy in her heart, because she couldn't see a hint of alarm in their expressions. I continued, but can Jingwon really use Kai's body perfectly? Or do you think we're that weak? With that, Kakashi and I instantly charged at the three of them. But seeing this, Jingwon, controlling Kai, struck first. A fierce straight punch aimed directly at my face. You're really not holding back, huh? But have you trained in Konoha's strong fist? I easily dodged the heavy punch, merely raising my leg for a sweep. It landed solidly on Kai's shin. Kai was kicked to the ground, but I didn't follow up. Instead, I charged straight for the trap because I knew, once we control Jingwon's real body, the fight is over. Meanwhile, Kakashi faced off against Dai. Though Dai was already exhausted, his attacks remained powerful. But he was completely outmaneuvered by Kakashi's Ataki footwork. Just then, Lu Miao stepped in front of me. Hey there, handsome. Didn't expect you to be this strong. Her tone was playful, but her expression turned deadly serious. Of course. This victory is mine. Get past me first. With that, Lu Miao lunged forward. We began a fierce close quarters fight. Unlike Kakashi's unpredictable footwork, and different from Kai's wide, powerful attacks, Lu Miao's taijutsu flowed like water, agile and elusive. You couldn't hit her, nor could you shake her off. For a moment, even my Konoha strong fist couldn't gain an advantage, but I relied on my superior physical conditioning to force Lu Miao back step by step, pushing her toward the trap array behind her. Just give up. You have no chance. If I'm not mistaken, your back is to a dense cluster of explosive tags. But at that moment, Lu Miao suddenly flashed a triumphant, scheming smile. Whose back is to the tags? I think it's yours. Lu Miao twisted her body, preparing to nimbly dart behind me. Seeing this, I instantly understood her plan. If she could create a situation where I was in front of the tags, she could use the shadow imitation technique from behind me, forcing me into the explosive tag array while staying safe herself. That would decide the match. But I wasn't about to let her succeed. I immediately blocked her path. The two of us resumed our fierce struggle right before the explosive tags. But then, one of the tags suddenly began to glow. Lu Miao, still fighting me, was completely unaware. I saw it, and alarm bells screamed in my mind. Danger. No holding back. I tensed my body. Kilograms of weights dropped instantly, kicking up a cloud of dust. Sage mode, simple version, activate. A gentle breeze radiated outward from me in all directions. The Dao Sensei also saw the perilous situation. He rushed at incredible speed toward Jingwon, still behind the traps, and the unconscious Kai, rescuing them both. But before Dao Sensei could save anyone else, a whole series of explosive tags detonated at once. The blast wave sent Kakashi and Dai flying far away. The Dao Sensei had no choice but to instantly form a simple barrier, protecting the children around him. Dust and smoke billowed everywhere. Kakashi and Shio Dao Dai shouted anxiously for their sensei, and at that moment, I held the unharmed Lu Miao tightly. It's okay now. Lu Miao nervously opened her eyes. My face filled her vision. She could feel that. Both had been severely injured by immense heat and shockwave. Yet he kept comforting his lover. Lu Miao's tears instantly fell, but she felt a strange unease inside. Her calculations were flawless. So why was there a talisman she couldn't control? Could someone else be pulling strings? Seeing Lu Miao was safe, a heavy weight lifted from my heart. As the simple sage mode faded, overwhelming exhaustion hit me, and I blacked out. The Dao Sensei rushed toward us, but on the way, he spotted a tiny white snake. Tao Sensei had no time to ponder. He hurried to the blast's epicenter. He expected the kids to be gravely injured from such a violent explosion. But the sight before him left the Tao Sensei stunned. There was Lu Miao carrying me in her arms, struggling toward him. Both were covered in dust, but their wounds were light. This filled the Tao Sensei with immense relief. Get the medics. Soon after I awoke, I found myself in a hospital bed. Looking to the side, I saw Lu Miao dozing off by the bed. Clearly, she'd been there a long time. But before I could take in my surroundings, a dull ache began in my back. Soon, the pain intensified sharply, making me gasp out loud. It woke the sleeping Lu Miao. Oh, you're awake. I'll get the doctor. The doctor arrived quickly. No major issues. Pain from an explosive tag is normal. But more importantly, your intense, prolonged training is straining your muscles. This could lead to hidden injuries. I nodded, understanding. Just then, the hospital door burst open. In rushed the Tao Sensei, Kai, Kakashi, and the other two from the Inoshikacho trio. Learning I was fine, they all sighed in relief, urging me to rest well, and not push myself too hard. I agreed. Since arriving in this world, I've met many people, and made many friends. This is an experience I never had in my past life. But at that moment, I sat up and looked toward Showdown Dai. I motioned for him to come closer. Dai, I heard what you said in the fight. I respect your courage and perseverance for the team. Keep it up. I believe you will surely become a ninja who can stand on his own in the future. With that, he gently patted Dai on the head. Hey, ninja, Showdown Dai. Please choose one of the following rewards. You can decide later. I thought to myself, being recognized by a peer much stronger than myself. I was a bit flustered. I'll buy you a lot of snacks. All my favorites. Thank you for encouraging me. Dai's face flushed slightly, making everyone burst into laughter. He said a few more words. Teacher Dao called everyone back to class. But before leaving, Lu Miao said with a red face, my parents are very grateful to you. They'd like to invite you to dinner in a few days. Please honor us. With that, she fled as if escaping. But with Lu Miao's departure, my heart gradually sank. Earlier, I heard the doctor say, if I continue training at such high intensity, my body might sustain hidden injuries. That's why I thought of patting Dai's head. After all, he possesses something I still don't have. A system reward draw. Hey, please choose one of the following rewards. Shamate style teaching. Yang release chakra, 100 bags of chips. Indeed, there is. Select Yang release chakra. Reward distributed. Instantly, my body felt as warm as soaking in a hot spring. This sensation made me want to linger a bit longer. But this warmth vanished in an instant. With my Kaga level chakra control, I instantly understood the function of Yang release chakra. Although I don't possess 6 pass power, I can't wield Yang release as powerfully as Naruto and Sasuke in the original story. However, through simple development, I've already fully grasped Yang release's effect on myself. First, the passive skill. Yang release can increase the body's healing and recovery speed, and enhance vitality and physical constitution. Unlike the system's physical enhancement, Yang release chakra gradually strengthens the body. Over time, the body becomes increasingly robust. Next, the active skill. The Yang release secret technique I fully developed myself, life return, by rapidly consuming food and promoting digestion. It enhances metabolism to quickly heal wounds. It can not only control the heart to beat slowly, achieving feigned death state, but also has effects like treating hidden injuries. Thinking of this, I immediately began experimenting. I viciously ate fruit acid and food everyone gave me, frantically activating life return. My stomach is like a bottomless pit, greedily absorbing nutrients, and my body is recovering rapidly as a result. I instantly feel a surge of power coursing through me. Damn, this ability is too good to be true. But what thrilled me even more was the next system prompt. Ding, congratulations, host, for successfully gathering all 7 nature attributes, unlocking the 6 paths hidden quest, Keki Mora. Hearing the system's notification, my heart leaped with joy. But I quickly started thinking, because in the original story, Keki Mora is an ability that surpasses Keki Genkai, and even Keki Toda. It's formed by the fusion of 7 nature transformations, or what could be called Otsutsuki power. Yet now the system makes Keki Mora a hidden quest. I wonder what it means. Just as I was puzzling over it, the system promptly provided an explanation. Quest content. Meet certain conditions, and you can exchange for corresponding Keki Genkai, or Keki Toda. Possess both Sage Body and Sage Eyes, and meet certain conditions, and you can exchange for Keki Mora. As soon as the words finished, I became incredibly excited, because this means I can obtain any Keki Genkai I want. For the following time, I was researching this exchange system, but I discovered that all of these require a high price. You need 20 Earth Release B rank, or higher Jutsu, plus Sage Body. And Mangekyo Sharingan is even more outrageous. Although the Keki I can currently exchange for a relatively limited. After careful consideration, I finally found an extremely powerful Keki Genkai system I exchanged for. Just as I was about to say it, a sudden, mournful wailing came from outside. It was Dai coming to visit me with a fruit basket. Liwa, I thought you were going to die. He was crying with emotion, and I looked at my friend in front of me, feeling a surge of anger. Dai, I've heard people being late for school, but never for visiting a patient. Truly, that's you. After some casual conversation, Dai left without looking back. But I didn't know that from then on, he would completely change his ways, training desperately every day. And after watching Dai leave, I continued choosing a Keki Genkai system I exchanged for nether release. Yes, the very same nether release used by the villain Gato from the movie. Its signature skill is nether release absorption. This ability to devour Jutsu, and I'm extremely envious of its attacking ability, and the exchange conditions for the dark release aren't that harsh either. 2 Earth Release Jutsu of B rank or higher. Head pack count, 162 people. Exchange successful. The moment the system prompt sounded, I felt as if I had practiced the dark release countless times. I had already mastered it to perfection. Correspondingly, 2 diamond-shaped seals appeared on the palms of my hands. This is the foundation for using the absorption seal. To test my new ability, I first activated simple sage mode, and then sat cross-legged. I used the Yamanaka clan's secret sensory technique. After confirming the surroundings were safe, I immediately raised my right hand, palm open and facing forward. Absorption seal. An invisible suction force spread from my palm. Then I opened my left hand. A pale blue Rasengan instantly formed, emitting a dangerous aura. Without the slightest hesitation, I pressed the Rasengan onto the seal on my right palm. Before the Rasengan even made contact, it turned into chakra and was instantly absorbed by the absorption seal. I exclaimed, this seal is so powerful. It seems this technique can be my secret weapon, used to catch enemies off guard. But just as I was thinking this, suddenly in my perception, a familiar figure appeared in the hospital corridor, slowly walking towards my ward. It was Yuji Boyotian. I hurriedly stopped the absorption seal and restored the ward to its original state. But when Aotan entered carrying a fruit basket, he stated the purpose of his visit. On one hand, he came to visit me, and on the other hand, he came to challenge me. Because ever since I defeated him last time, Aotan had been training day and night with the clan's elite, working hard to improve, and I knew he had previously made a vow to surpass me no matter what. So I wasn't the least bit surprised by the current situation. Thus, I readily agreed. But little did I know, this seemingly casual decision would actually net me over 30 little Yuji boss. After accepting Aotan's challenge, I didn't slack off in the slightest. I frantically consumed all kinds of food, and with the help of life returned in less than a day. My injuries were mostly healed. This surprised both Kakashi and the doctor who came to visit. Afterwards, I went through the discharge procedures. But when I told my friends about my discharge, including teacher Duel, everyone found it unbelievable. What monstrous recovery ability. But Duel was concerned about potential aftereffects, so he granted me a full week off to recuperate. To prepare for the 6-day showdown with Aotan, I practically lived at Kakashi's place, training under Shomao's guidance. 5 days of intense practice flew by. Under Shomao's tutelage, I finally mastered how to launch another attack, immediately after a failed strike, without leaving myself vulnerable. The day of the duel arrived. I thought Aotan, after 2 months of hard work, would be decent, but he was strong. His speed, power, reflexes, and technique had improved dramatically. Yet after just 2 moves, my superior frog fist took him down. The 30-plus followers he brought to watch were utterly stunned. Aotan's head dropped, dejected. Then, his expression turned resolute. Since I lost to you, I acknowledge you as my leader. I was speechless. His followers gasped. Boss, don't leave us. Please, boss. We can't lose you. Seeing this, I started to protest my unworthiness. But Aotan cut me off with one sentence. Lihua, with your potential, you'll surely be involved in Yujibo clan affairs. We will be your solid support. Seeing some followers still hesitant, Aotan declared loudly, Great big brother Lihua. With Aotan leading the way, the 30-plus followers bowed to me. Faced with this, I remained calm. Thank you for your trust. I won't let you down. But after I followers from Aotan, I was shocked. Turns out, Aotan's crew made up about 2/5 of the Yujibo youth, a significant number, that he could manage such a large group. So effectively showed his leadership, adhering to trust those you use. And to free up more time for my own training, I entrusted the team's management entirely to Aotan and shared my cultivation insights with him. I created a simple training regimen for the young ones. It's basic but suitable for their age. With consistent practice, their physiques will improve. Drawing from my past life's experience, I also wrote a guide on how to properly foster unity within the Uchiha, a manual on camaraderie and mutual aid, which I gave to Ao. This is to instill the right values in the Uchiha youth from an early age. At first, he didn't take it seriously. Even Aotan didn't grasp my intent. But when youths actually helped their clan members and received praise for it, they started to really enjoy helping other members of the Uchiha clan. Soon, another half-month passed. Aotan was discussing with his father. Father, what do you think of that guide? I must say, the writing style doesn't seem like a kid, just entering the ninja academy. It reads more like political propaganda from an old fox like the third Hokage. But I see no issue with the content. The core is mutual aid among clan members. Anything that benefits the Uchiha clan is fine by me. Not only that, I gave the kid a helping hand and promoted it. I secretly had the book printed and distributed to other Uchiha children. Ah, father, isn't that piracy? Hearing his son's words, Uchiha T told him to mind his own business. But Aotan's next words made him happy. Father, I plan to invite Lihua over in 3 days. Good. I was just about to mention that. Aotan quickly relayed the news to me. Naturally, I couldn't refuse this goodwill, but I was secretly puzzled. Why would Aotan's father invite me at this time? Meanwhile, at the root base. Sir, this is just a book that's recently been circulating within the Uchiha clan. Why is it important? But upon hearing the publisher was actually the hawkish, influential elder Uchiha T, Danzo immediately became interested. He took the book and read it carefully. Soon, he slammed it shut. Nonsense. Mutual aid within the clan? Where does he place Konoha? What a dangerous ideology. And this author, Yuji Bolihua, investigate this person. Remember, don't alert the target. With that, Danzo stormed off with the book in hand, heading straight for the Hokage's office. But the moment he kicked the door open, he slammed the guidelines onto the desk. Here, Risen, look at this nonsense Yujibo brat wrote. He elevates the clan above all else with such recklessness. What makes he leave for Konoha? Yet, the third Hokage, upon hearing this, casually flipped through my book. But Danzo could see Hiruzen was already familiar with the book's contents. Sure enough, after reading, the third just smiled. This kid really does have some ideas. A few months ago, he was clamoring to be Hokage. Now he wants to protect Yujibo. Seeing his old friend still didn't grasp the severity, Danzo stomped his foot in anger. This Yujibo Lihua is definitely from the Yujibo Hawk faction. His ambitions are dangerous. He can't be left alive. Send him over the root. But before he could finish, the third cut him off. This matter is not your concern. In fact, months ago, I already sent to Shiwan to secretly investigate Yuzibo's departure. Finally, fearing Danzo's descent, he even uttered that classic line, Danzo, I am the Hokage. Hearing this, Danzo instantly flushed with rage. He angrily strode towards the door. Hiruzen, you'll regret this. But after watching his friend leave, the third Hokage simply smiled dismissively. Yuzibo's reasons have festered too long. Argument is useless. Guidance better. If we can win Yuji Bolihua's loyalty to the village, even if he harbors dangerous ambitions, he'll be firmly tethered here. But the next moment, he suddenly remembered something. Alright, I heard Narashikaku is inviting Yuji Bolihua to a banquet. Why not use this chance to win him over? With that thought, Hiruzen slightly raised his hand. The next second, a shadow instantly emerged from a blind spot. You, fetch an A-rank Jinjutsu scroll for Narayu. He'll understand my meaning. Also, tell the Shiwan, it's time to begin probing. Soon, within a few days, I was back in school. And the agreed-upon Yujibo family banquet was held that very night. So, I had already inquired about the Yujibo family's preferences, bought gifts accordingly, and followed Aotan to his home. Seeing all the gifts I brought were to their liking, the Yujibo family was overjoyed. Then, the three of us took our seats as host and guests. The conversation started with simple small talk. It was just the usual getting to know you and sharing experiences. A lot of meaningless chit-chat. But just as the dinner was winding down, I subconsciously felt that this dinner might not be so simple. Sure enough, the next second, Yuji Boding suddenly asked, Little Lihua, in your opinion, which is more important, the village or the clan? Though he reeked of alcohol, his eyes were clear and sharp. And before coming, I had learned from Aotan that his father was a powerful hawkish elder, extremely shrewd and skilled in tactics. I realized that this question before me was the true purpose of this family banquet. So after careful thought, I said, I was born into the Yujibo clan. It was the uncles and aunts of the Yujibo clan who raised me. They're the people closest to me. Seeing that I didn't choose to answer the question directly, Yujibo wasn't angered. Instead, he viewed this young man before him even more favorably. To be honest, Uncle, I'm not one for beating around the bush. So, I'll personally fund the printing and distribution of your work, making it available to more Yujibo youths. I hope little Lihua won't mind Uncle's good intentions. But right after hearing his words, my heart instantly turned cold. This wasn't just polite talk. It was an open scheme. Without a doubt, I was already half tied to the hawkish faction's war chariot. But before I could think further, Yujibo immediately followed up with another question. If two factions arise within a clan, one leaning towards the clan's interests, and the other leaning towards the interests of the entire village, how would you handle it? You probably expected me to hesitate over this question, but unexpectedly, I shed my earlier hesitation and declared clearly, whose interest there doesn't matter. If they harm innocent people, I will fight them to the bitter end. Hearing this answer, Ting was astonished. He was shocked by my decisiveness, thought I was hinting at something, and was satisfied with my reply. Ting simply waved his hand grandly and activated a secret technique on brain. He not only covered all my cultivation expenses, but also promised a fixed monthly supply of cultivation resources in silver, and even gifted me an A-rank ninjutsu scroll. Hearing this, I couldn't help but be overjoyed. As expected, when a rich guy spends, he spends big. After a few more pleasantries, I took my leave at an appropriate time. But as soon as I got home, I saw my desk. A key lying there. That address is in the most bustling area of the Yujibo clan's territory. Seems like an extra gift from the Yujibo family, but I have no desire to move in. I know it's unwise to pick a side too early. After all, I've already caught the attention of many important figures. Plenty of resources must be waiting for me. The following days, I attended school, as usual, to gather resources with more confidence. I doubled my training with Kakashi, pushing my limits. Then one day, Lumiao invited me to a dinner at home to thank me for saving her life. I gladly accepted. The Nara clan has always been staunch supporters of the Hokage faction. This dinner likely held a hidden message, an olive branch from the third Hokage himself. I wonder what goodies they'll give me. Soon, evening arrived. Lumiao's parents welcomed me warmly. Both were easy to get along with. After some small talk, dinner began. But after a few rounds of drinks and food, Lumiao's father grew unusually serious. It looked like he had something to say. Everyone present was sharp. Even Lumiao understood. This dinner wasn't just about thanking me for saving her life. What are your thoughts on the village? Lumiao's father asked first. A deep question, not something a Ninja Academy kid should answer. But I wasn't scared. I knew this was the Hokage faction testing me. After hearing my views on the village, Lumiao's father was very pleased. Having read the series countless times, I knew exactly how to answer to hit the Hokage faction's pressure points. My answers made the Nara family feel like they were seeing a young man who truly loved the village. Knowing my stance, Nara Shikaku gave me an A-rank Jinjutsu from the third to repay the life debt. They also gifted fine ninja tools and special kunai. Not only that, they promised help from the Inoshika-cho. If the Hokage allowed it, they'd do anything. Hearing how the third was trying to win me over, I'm over the moon. But what kind of illusion is it? I can't wait to ask the Nirvana Temple technique. Hearing this jutsu, I instantly recall this illusion. It's from the original Chunin exams, an A-rank illusion released by Kabuto Yakushi. It put all the spectators to sleep, but its strength lies in its massive scale of control. Though classified as an A-rank illusion, it might be less effective in one-on-one combat. I quickly grasp the pros and cons, but keep it to myself. So I happily accept it and soon take my leave. After all, it's late, not good to linger. But just as I'm rushing home to learn this illusion, halfway there, I suddenly feel a chill down my spine. A sense of danger hits me. I instinctively swing my hand. A sharp kunai appears in my grasp. Amidst a shower of sparks in the darkness, I precisely deflect the kunai shot at me. Who would have thought the fine kunai I just got would come in handy now, I think to myself. But I shout out loud, who dares ambush in Konoha? Better show yourself. Konoha's ENBU isn't for show. I seem to be yelling randomly, but my mind is clear. An ambush at this hour, likely well prepared. So while shouting, I focus my mind, entering simple sage mode. A gentle breeze spreads rapidly around me, and my aura suddenly surges. Simple sage mode activates quickly, but doesn't last long. Must end this fast. In the dark, the hidden assailant seems to sense the change in my aura, and starts moving swiftly. Trying to run? Not a chance. Yamanaka's secret art, perception, a trace of chakra, mixed with natural energy, spreads out in a special way. Found you. I grin, instantly pushing off with my feet. My body shoots like a cannon towards the ambusher. Two figures chase each other. Soon I corner him in an abandoned training ground. Nowhere to run now. Speak up. Why deliberately ambush me? I say clearly. But as soon as I finish, the ambusher stops hesitating, as if planned, slowly stepping out of the shadows. Yet when I see the ambusher's face, my pupils instantly contract. I assume a combat stance. The ambusher looks about in his 20s, slender, wearing a Konoha Jonin vest, pale-faced. But what truly shocks me isn't that. Instead, I notice within the ambusher's Jonin vest, it seems to be stuffed with something unknown. Judged by size, it's also a forehead protector. Thinking this might be someone from another hidden village infiltrating Konoha, my internal alarms went off. Every muscle tensed, ready to fight at any moment. Of course, to see you, the new Yujibo prodigy. Seeing his relaxed yet flawless posture, my caution grew. If it's just to see, why throw a kunai? I question him, but internally, I push my Kaga level hand seal speed and chakra control to the limit. Quickly, I used the Shadow Clone Jutsu and the Earth Release, hiding like a mold technique. Combined, they allowed for a brief underground escape. Once outside his sensory range, my clone could fetch the Konoha military police. After all, this is a pure Yujibo product. But what I didn't expect was, with a poof of smoke, on a clearing 100 meters away, my Shadow Clone instantly dispersed. As its memories flooded back, I realized how formidable my opponent was. I couldn't even see him move. He lured me here on purpose. Don't waste time with these petty tricks. The attacker still looked nonchalant. Seeing he still wasn't making a move, an idea quickly formed in my mind. If I'm going all out, I must ensure the enemy is finished for good, especially against such a strong foe. I started imagining the reward for touching his head, but as I daydreamed, the attacker's cold voice Snap me back to reality. How long will you stand there? If you don't move, I will. Before I could react, he moved, walking slowly towards me. From my perspective, it was like facing the world's greatest horror. A suffocating, killing intent, mixed with bone-chilling malice. I couldn't stop trembling. I felt that any movement would mean death. Yet my mind raced, searching for the perfect attack. Finally, I steeled my heart and settled on a risky, yet surefire plan. As the enemy closed in, I made my move. I instantly pushed off with both legs, retreating backward. I've now fully mastered the technique of monstrous strength. The immense recoil even cracked the ground. As I flew through the air, my hands moved at full speed. With both shadow-level chakra control and hand seal speed, I instantly activated multiple ninjutsu, shadow, clone technique. With a poof sound, 2 identical clones appeared beside me. After finishing my preparations, I gave the enemy no time to be surprised. In an instant, I kicked off the ground and charged straight at him. And the 2 clones weren't idle either. They quickly formed hand seals and spoke simultaneously. Fire style, great fireball technique. Fire style, phoenix flower jutsu. Suddenly, a massive fireball with scorching heat rushed forward. Right behind it were countless smaller fireballs, flying toward the enemy in an arc trajectory. They suddenly blocked all his escape routes. And that's not all. My main body deliberately slowed its pace, using the Yujibo Kanai, throwing technique for harassment attacks. Faced with such an onslaught, even Chunin would have to focus seriously to deal with it. But this enemy remained completely calm. My Kanai arrived first. He simply flipped his hand, and a Kanai suddenly appeared. Then, without hesitation, he threw it. This Kanai collided with mine in midair, disrupting my supposedly flawless setup. Next came the massive great fireball and phoenix flower attacks. Despite the 2 fire techniques looking impressive, for such a powerful opponent, they were still too easy to dodge. With just a few side steps, he moved out of ninjutsu's attack range. The huge fireball hit the ground, exploding with intense light and sound. It also kicked up a cloud of dust. Even though it didn't hit him, I wasn't disappointed with this result, because my goal wasn't to injure him in the first place. I wanted to use the flames and noise to attract the attention of the police force and Ambio. After all, his aura alone was terrifying. If I just fought recklessly, I'd probably lose my life early. But then, the enemy seemed to see through my thoughts. A careless smile spread across his face. I advise you to drop your little schemes. I've already set up a barrier here. No one outside can see us. But before he could finish, my main body, which had been holding back, used the billowing smoke to appear like a ghost right behind him. I just spread my hands out, and a pale blue chakra sphere suddenly appeared, emanating waves of dangerous aura. This unexpected seal-less ninjutsu seemed to throw the enemy off balance. Rasengan, without a moment's hesitation, I slammed the Rasengan toward the enemy. But unexpectedly, the opponent grabbed my wrist. With an immense force, I couldn't resist. He forced the Rasengan into the ground. Instantly, thick smoke billowed and the earth cracked. I was shocked by his reaction, and also stunned by his immense strength. Just who is this? But the enemy didn't seem to want to let go of this hard-won opportunity. He leaped and kicked, sending me flying 25 meters away. I was badly hurt by that kick, but I didn't give up. Instead, endless fighting spirit surged within me, because ever since crossing over, things had mostly gone smoothly. This was the first time I felt such a huge challenge. Sensing the simple sage mode about to end, I understood. I must end this quickly. Since my own power isn't enough, then I can only use WG. While quickly using life return to heal my wounds, I urgently began to think of a plan. Suddenly, my eyes shifted slightly, and a plan came to mind. Up to now, the ability I haven't exposed yet is only the Dark Release. If I can use Dark Release to catch him off guard, and then seize the chance to touch his head. After all, only by obtaining the opponent's power now might there be a sliver of chance for victory. So I quickly formulated a battle plan, and by the time the thick fog began to gradually disperse, my body had mostly recovered. The final battle officially began. Suddenly, the enemy's voice came from afar. Ha! Self-created CLS rank ninjutsu. Power in Imasol. Yuji Bolihua. You truly live up to the name of a genius. His voice was low and slightly hoarse. But the next second, the enemy suddenly noticed something with a mocking tone. Oh, it seems you've also mastered some medical ninjutsu. However, before I, hidden in the thick fog, could think more. Finding you like this is too slow. Wind release. Great breakthrough. As the slightly hoarse voice rang out, a huge gust of wind suddenly rushed toward me from afar, faintly carrying a cutting sensation. And with it, the surrounding dust was swept away. Facing the rapidly approaching gale, alarm bells rang in my mind. I can't take this head on. Thinking this, I pushed off with my feet, finally escaped the wind's attack range. The blast ultimately struck the training post. The post couldn't withstand the force. It snapped clean in two. What shocked me more was the countless deep and shallow cuts etched densely across the broken wood. I realized my opponent had infused the last attack with wind release nature transformation. Not as potent as Naruto's wind style, Raisen Shuriken, but it boosted a C rank jutsu's power to the destructive level of an A rank. This guy's a true master. Can't let him control the pace. No hesitation. I charged. At my top speed. Good speed, he said, but your path is too direct. As he spoke, his hands flew through seals, aiming at my advance. Wind style, wind cutter, suddenly countless tiny wind blades shot from his hands toward me. I deeply regretted not learning footwork from Shomao. My strong fist style is too broad and open. It is impossible to dodge and weave within this storm of blades. Faced with this, frustration boiled over. Sorry, the anger for being suppressed surged instantly. I decided to trade blows. Without slowing my charge, I dodged as many blades as possible. The rest, I'd heal with life return. All or nothing. Seeing my reckless charge, my opponent was taken aback. Changing tactics? Can't let you get close easily. He intensified the wind blade barrage, even forming an impenetrable wall of attacks right before him. But my earlier sprint had already brought me face to face with him, confronting the oncoming wall of blades. Danger screamed in my mind. My pupils contracted. I thrust my left hand forward. Dark release, absorption. An immense suction force erupted from my palm. Countless wind blades instantly dissipated, transforming into pure chakra drawn into my body. I felt power flooding through me. Chakra swelled to the very limits my body could contain. Seeing my stunned opponent, I grinned, returning that kick before the words faded. My right hand shot out, grasping his head. Then a spinning whip kick followed, launching with full force at the bewildered foe. With a loud thud, the enemy was kicked into a shadowy blur. and sent flying backward. He only stopped after crashing through several large trees. From the smoke, the enemy slowly rose. Ding, head pad achieved. Feeling the abundant chakra within me, and looking at the enemy who had been overwhelming me, I couldn't suppress the rage in my heart. A bold idea struck me. I've never fought a battle with such an advantage. Even if the heavens themselves come today, I'll unleash this move. Ignoring the system prompt, I quickly formed hand seals. 2 shadow clones appeared. They spread their hands, and a pale blue Rasengan instantly formed. But it wasn't over. One clone maintained the Rasengan, while the other used Kaga-level chakra control to infuse it with wind releases for manipulation. This is the decisive moment. Sensing the natural energy rapidly depleting, I knew my simple sage mode was about to end. Wind release, Rasen Shuriken, a massive chakra. Shuriken appeared in my hand. It spun fiercely, emitting a piercing screech. I hurled it at the enemy with all my might, but the moment I released it, my simple sage mode completely ended. Watching the Rasen Shuriken fly away rapidly, I finally steadied myself because I knew this was my strongest technique. Then, I suddenly remembered the earlier system prompt. Right system. Whose head did I pat? I need to choose my rewards carefully. If he's not dead, I can still give him another go. Ding, head pat. Ninja. Please choose 3 rewards from the following. Who is it? It's an old acquaintance. Deshiwan? It's actually Deshiwan. But why was he disguised as an enemy ninja? And why did he attack me? In an instant, 1,000 thoughts flooded my mind. My trump card is completely exposed. What consequences will this bring? Will he capture and dissect me for research? But looking at the speeding shuriken, I accepted my fate. What's done is done. Let's choose the rewards first. I wasn't worried at all about whether Deshiwan would survive, because the answer is definitely yes. After all, Orochimaru's survival skills in the ninja world are second to none. If I don't improve my strength quickly, I'll just be prey. And as the Rasen Shuriken accurately, the hit lands on Deshiwan's position. Countless chakra blades erupt instantly. System LQ reward. Hey, S-rank ninja Deshiwan. Please select from the following rewards. But soon, as I saw the dazzling array of rewards before me, my eyes widened with excitement. This is insane. I'm practically spoiled for choice. No Edo Tensei from later stages, or powerful jutsu like the 8 branches technique. But these rewards are enough for my current transition. I don't dare hesitate for a second because I know the moment the aftermath of this Rasen Shuriken ends, the Shiwan will reappear. So, with the thought system, I choose triple Rashomon, a significant physical enhancement, and 3 random Orochimaru-style jutsu. Rewards distributed immediately. Familiar pain quickly spreads throughout my body. On one side, I feel the pain from the physical enhancement, and on the other, I watch the Rasen Shuriken before me, ravaging the area where Deshiwan just stood. My choice of these 3 rewards was carefully considered. First, the physical boost goes without saying. Deshiwan, slamming the Rasengan into the ground earlier, is proof enough. Triple Rashomon and the Orochimaru-style jutsu are my hidden agenda. Since the first Hokage, only one can use ultimate jutsu. Its defensive power is astonishing. As the last Orochimaru-style jutsu, that's me purely testing my luck. I don't lack wind release for now, and the 5-element seal isn't that useful to me currently. Besides, I can learn sealing jutsu from Kushina later. The Orochimaru-style body replacement technique is the life-saving skill most transmigrators covet. Snake Uncle used it to escape death. Sasuke used it to turn danger into safety. Soon, after the painful transformation, I suddenly feel a surge of strength in my body. For me, this physical enhancement is exponential. I'm certain my current physique surpasses Kai's, who trains day and night. But right then, a cold, mechanical voice suddenly echoes in my mind. Ding! Now drawing 3 random Orochimaru-style jutsu. Congratulations, host, for obtaining B-rank jutsu. Hidden Shadow Snake Hands. Not bad. Snake Uncle signature move. Congratulations, host, for obtaining soft physique modification. Damn, but right after cleaning, the next jutsu makes me ecstatic. Congratulations, host, for obtaining Orochimaru-style body replacement technique. Because I know, with these key jutsu, even if we break with Orochimaru and Konoha this time, there's still a glimmer of hope. Then, the methods for using these 3 ninjutsu appeared in my mind. What gave me a headache was that Hidden Shadow Snake Hands requires a summoning contract with Ryuchi Cave to use. Both Orochimaru and Enko in the original story were like this. However, the other 2 ninjutsu were already completely. But soon, after I fully digested all the rewards from patting Orochimaru's head, the residual power of the Rasen Shuriken completely vanished at this moment. A huge crater appeared where it originally hit, filled with dense marks cut by wind blades. No living creature survived in the dirt pit. But right then, suddenly a white snake as thick as an arm burst out from the ground of the large crater. Clearly, it had burrowed in before the Rasen Shuriken exploded. As expected, the white snake's mouth opened at an unbelievable angle, and then Orochimaru's entire body emerged unscathed from the snake's mouth, adding nature transformation on top of self-created A-rank ninjutsu, and forming an extremely powerful S-rank ninjutsu. Uchiha Boruto, you're becoming more and more interesting. Orochimaru extended his long tongue, licking his lips without caring about appearances, but I clearly felt his voice held a hint of weakness. Obviously, surviving an S-rank ninjutsu also cost Orochimaru some effort. No more testing, Lord Orochimaru. I already know your identity, I declared loudly, but my clenched fist betrayed the anxiety in my heart. I was taking a huge gamble, betting on my chance to maintain a peaceful life in Konoha. But after hearing this, Orochimaru didn't deny his identity. Instead, he used his hand to tear off the mask on his face, then grinned. Haha, I'm honored that a junior still remembers me. But his words carried a chilling edge. Uchiha Boruto, you know me. Of course I know you too. But first, could you answer some questions for me? First, why are you so obsessed with head patting? If this question came from Tsunade, I might not feel so terrified inside. But Orochimaru asking this means he likely has a good grasp on the situation. According to reports from Jiraiya Sensei and AMBU Intel, when you first fought Kakashi, you were at a disadvantage early on. But later, it suddenly improved dramatically, and there was only a head pad in between. Deshiwan said, slowly walking towards me. Including today's battle, countless people have had their heads patted by you. Can you tell me why? As Deshiwan pressed closer step by step, the familiar fear once again spread throughout my body. But unlike last time, this time it was more like the panic of having a secret exposed. Lord Deshiwan, everyone has their own secrets, right? Maybe I'm just hiding my true abilities, hiding them. Deshiwan neither confirmed nor denied. Then, could you please tell me, where does your ability to absorb natural energy and strengthen yourself come from? Hearing this, I suddenly remembered. The first time I activated the basic sage mode, I felt a cold, sinister chakra snooping on me. It was Deshiwan. And also, why were you able to unleash such astonishing power at the critical moment? To save that Nara girl? What? How does he even know about that? I suddenly thought, a little white snake teacher diminished when he visited me. So that's it. Lord Deshiwan has been testing me from the shadows all along. That's right. At first, it was just the third Hokage asking me to observe you. But who would have thought you'd later? Give me more and more surprises. After saying this, Deshiwan, now standing before me, slowly crouched down. He stared directly into my eyes with his cold, serpentine gaze, waiting for my reply. However, just as I was rapidly racking my brain for a countermeasure, Deshiwan couldn't help but sigh inwardly. This boy before him was truly a monster. Taijutsu, ninjutsu, and fortitude. None of it seemed fitting for his age. The possibility couldn't be ruled out. Had any ninja used a secret technique to seize his mind? Thinking this, Deshiwan's eyes narrowed slightly. If he truly is a potential threat, this child cannot be left alive. After all, although Deshiwan had already dabbled in forbidden arts, he hadn't yet completely despaired of Konoha. Otherwise, he wouldn't be carrying out his teacher, Sarutobi Hiruzen's orders. But just then, I suddenly spoke up. So, what is the purpose of your visit, Lord Deshiwan? However, to my surprise, my attempt to change the subject was instantly seen through by him. Yeah, I already said, you need to answer my questions. Deshiwan insisted on getting to the bottom of it. I straightened up, looked him in the eye, and said, I'm sorry. Lord Deshiwan, this is my secret. As soon as the words left my mouth, Deshiwan's aura exploded instantly. A wave of deathly energy spread out like a tidal wave. Being closest to him, I bore the brunt of it. I couldn't back down. Gritting my teeth, I clenched my fists. My eyes locked onto Deshiwan. I was betting he wouldn't kill me. After all, Deshiwan hadn't yet uncovered my deepest secret. What gave me more confidence was, I knew that someone acted like and the Hokage's faction. I wouldn't be killed for no reason. But gradually, I couldn't hold on any longer. Suddenly, Deshiwan's low, hoarse voice rang out. Tell me, do you want to destroy Konoha? But to my ears, that voice was like a demon, dredging up the most real no in my heart. Konoha has my friends in bonds. I won't harm my friends. I shouted. But what I didn't expect was the moment the words fell, Deshiwan's aura receded. The terrifying atmosphere in the air slowly dissipated. The next second, I plopped down on the ground, drenched in sweat. I knew, if I had answered wrong just now, my head would have been separated from my body by now. Seeing this, Deshiwan revealed a meaningful smile, because he knew his interrogation technique was on par with the Yamanaka clan's secret arts. Unless one was far stronger than him, it was nearly impossible to resist. The urge to speak one's true thoughts, since you pose no threat to Konoha, and ask the third Hokage behind me, can be considered complete. Deshiwan stood up. His tone was slightly relaxed. There's another task. Do you want to join Root? Hearing this, my heart instantly went cold. So, that old dog Danzo had already noticed me. I absolutely couldn't show any flaws at this moment. So, I feigned ignorance. What is Root? After Deshiwan briefly explained Root's purpose. I firmly refused Danzo's recruitment. After all, no sane person would willingly join an organization like Root. Okay, Danzo's mission is also complete. Deshiwan said idly, as if already impatient. But just when I thought he was about to leave, I never expected Deshiwan to crouch back down. His eyes flickered with a curious and dangerous light. Now it's time to solve my problem. Yuji Bolihua, I need your help researching natural energy. The enhanced state you enter after absorbing natural energy has an aura somewhat similar to the two. Toad summoned by Zilai. I need to obtain this power. With that, Deshiwan revealed a fanatical expression. But after hearing it, I said without hesitation, no way. This is my secret. Oh, Yuji Bolihua, you wouldn't want your secret to be known by everyone, would you? If that happens, can your trump cards even be called trump cards? My god, what kind of villain line is this? I thought to myself, but my mind kept racing. But this is my secret technique. Unless you take me as your disciple, I steal my heart, and voice the idea I had been plotting for a long time. But I never expected that as soon as I finished speaking, both fell into silence. Why? Deshiwan stood up, scrutinizing me as if seeing this youth for the first time. Because in Ninja Academy, I am destined to have no chance to grow. But by following you, I can become stronger. Deshiwan seemed to have heard some ridiculous joke. Become stronger? But little do you know, following me, you have a very high chance of dying. With that, Deshiwan fell into a trace of inexplicable sorrow. He remembered the one who used to clamor about becoming Hokage, and recalled the scene where that youth was injured by an explosive attack, a wound beyond even divine help. But Deshiwan, snapping back to reality quickly, stared at me coldly and asked, You're young, but have quite the mouth. What makes you so eager to become strong? I said it before, because I want to protect the people I cherish. I answered neither humbly nor arrogantly, which plunged the scene into a long silence again. All right, to research natural energy, and also to closely monitor. You, a suspicious individual from Yujibo, I agreed to become your teacher. But don't you dare die. Yes, Yuji Bolihua pays respects to his teacher. Soon, the next day arrived. The third Hokage learned that Deshiwan would take me as a disciple. Although his eyes were full of questions, after confirming, with a grand gesture, he formalized the master relationship between Deshiwan and me. But since I'm still in the Ninja Academy, he set one condition. If I could graduate early, I would train under Deshiwan. I agreed, of course. There's nothing left for me to learn at the academy. Soon after, Deshiwan and I left the Hokage building. I looked at my future master. Just as I was about to speak, Deshiwan suddenly stretched open, not caring about his image. Then he pulled out a scroll covered in slime. I figured you didn't hold back at all yesterday. So, based on your true abilities, I've made a strict training plan, suppressing my discomfort. I took the scroll and read it carefully. The more I read, the more I admired Deshiwan's sharp insight. His training methods are unique, I'm certain. If I follow this training regimen, my strength will improve by leaps and bounds. But the next moment, Deshiwan suddenly said with a smile, Little Lihua, graduating early is your first test. Don't let me down. And quickly sign a contract with the Ryuchi Cave. That way I can contact you easily. When I have time, I'll find you to study natural energy together. Deshiwan smiled meaningfully. With that, he vanished in Shunshin, leaving me the Ryuchi Cave contract scroll. But I thought to myself, unimpressed. Who does he think I am? Graduating early? That's nothing for me. Besides, at this stage, if I just show a little of my skill with natural energy, he'll have enough to study for years. Thinking this, I couldn't help but chuckle proudly. Soon, the news of Deshiwan taking me as a student reached Kakashi and my guy. They both congratulated me, since Kakashi's skills are already at that level. I made a pact with him to graduate early together. Guy's strength is undeniable, but in other areas, he's far from ready to graduate. So Kakashi and I went to apply with Teacher Dao. Teacher Dao was stunned when he heard, but quickly regained his composure. Even though I know the two of you are geniuses among geniuses, I still said with a stern face, I've heard about your early graduation, but I have to tell you, the standards for your assessment will only be harder than the regular graduates. After all, I don't want my negligence to lead to my students losing their lives on a mission. After hearing the Tao Sensei's very responsible words, Kakashi and I finally took this exam seriously. But just as we were walking home after school, I suddenly said to Kakashi, we'll definitely both pass this graduation exam. After all, the basic knowledge test is no problem for us, and I'm pretty confident about the practical combat part. They can't possibly make us fight a Jonin. Kakashi nodded in agreement. However, what we'd expect was, they did assign a Jonin, and it turned out to be a highly skilled, top-ranked elite Jonin. Soon after saying goodbye to Kakashi, I just got home and opened the Ryuji Cave summoning scroll that Shiwan gave me. Without the slightest hesitation, I decisively signed my name on it, bit my thumb, and pressed my blade print onto it. I felt a faint connection forming with somewhere. But alas, I don't know the summoning jutsu. Otherwise, I'd have summoned a ninja snake to play with. Then I opened the training plan that Shiwan made for me, and strictly followed it. Time passed quickly, but the very next day, when I went to school, I did something that enraged the entire school. As soon as I entered, I activated my simple sage mode, took off my weights, pushed my speed to the limit, and in the blink of an eye, patted the heads of everyone in the school, except for a few highly skilled teachers who dodged. Everyone got sheared by me, since I won't be staying here much longer. Of course, I have to harvest the crops quickly. After my hard work, most of the head pat rewards were money, while some teachers and students dropped ninja knowledge, advanced mastery, and minor physical enhancements. Little by little adds up, so this school head patting spree was quite fruitful, accompanied by the pain of receiving the rewards. My strength grew painfully yet joyfully. Yuji Bolihua, what have you done? The Tao Sensei's roar came from the distance. Guilt-ridden, I quickly ran away, shouting as I went, I'm not Yuji Bolihua, I am Imitate Kai. In the following days, Master Tao was busy dealing with complaint letters on the desk, while I was busy training to consolidate my strength. I also strictly followed Deshiwan's plan for cultivation every day. I was surprised to find that cultivating through Deshiwan's method made my strength grow faster and more comprehensively, although I knew it was a double-edged sword. I was confident I could use it well. Soon, half a month passed in a flash, and Kakashi and I faced the graduation exam for geniuses, led by the third Hokage. Deshiwan and Master Tao brought Kakashi and me, and pushed open the office door. This is the place for your written exam, said the third Hokage. Start when you're ready. Kakashi and I exchanged glance, both seeing confidence in each other's eyes. Soon, we were writing furiously. The result was no surprise. We passed the knowledge test perfectly. Then, the three examiners took us to the Konoha training ground. Master Tao announced the rules for the combat exercise. The rules are simple. The examiner will carry a bell. If you can take it, you pass. After listening to my heart suddenly filled with trough point, how many generations has this bell-stealing test been passed down? It's been used since the time of Yuan for Region's disciples. Don't you guys ever innovate? But the three examiners did not see the belly of my heart. They continued, and today, your examiner is him. Hearing this, I immediately looked around, curious about who my examiner would be. Even standing on tiptoe, I couldn't spot any ninja. Just as I was about to use my sensing ability, I saw the third Hokage leisurely crouch down and plant a special three-pronged kunai in the ground. With a flash of golden light, a figure suddenly appeared. Am I late? I examined this period's Bofeng Shuimen. He was much younger than when he was Hokage. His face still carrying the touch of youthfulness. Clearly the young Shuimen. Then the third Hokage patted Bofeng Shuimen's shoulder, introducing him to Kakashi and me. Your opponent for the bell-stealing test today is this excellent Jonin of Konoha, Bofeng Shuimen. Hearing this, Shuimen smiled a bit sheepishly. Then he looked at the two of us. Kakashi and Lihua, right? Senior Shomao mentioned you two to me, especially little Lihua. After the spar, we could discuss ninjutsu together. I nodded and said, no problem, Senior Shomen. At that moment, Teacher Tao spoke up appropriately. You have half an hour to discuss your tactics. The practical combat drill will officially begin in half an hour. Kakashi and I nodded. This was different from the theoretical exam. After all, our opponent was Imitate Shomen. We couldn't afford to take him lightly. After moving to a spot far from the four examiners, I looked at Kakashi, but I found his eyes filled with seriousness. So I couldn't help but tease, what's wrong, Kakashi? This isn't like you. Didn't you call yourself a genius? Stop joking around. Senior Shomen is very tough to deal with. My father mentioned him, said he's a once-in-a-century talent. If he really uses his space-time ninjutsu, how are we supposed to counter that? But seeing Kakaxi's worried frown, I patted his shoulder. All right, don't boost the enemy's morale. He is strong, but I've thought of a way to handle it. Then I leaned close to Kakaxi's ear and whispered my plan. After hearing it, Kakashi immediately exclaimed, your insight is as sharp as ever. Let's do as you say. Don't worry, we'll pass for sure. I patted my chest and said confidently. Then the two of us worked out the details of the plan. Soon, the half hour flew by. Seeing us both grin with eyes here, Teacher Tao immediately announced, the practical combat drill begins now. As soon as the words fell, Kakashi charged forward like a leopard. Using the unique footwork of the Hataki sword style, he momentarily made it impossible for Shuimen to predict his movements. But Shuimen was, after all, a Jonin long renowned, and personally trained by one of the legendary Sannin, Jiraiya. His strength was unquestionable. He didn't rush to deploy his flying Thunder God Kunai, as this was an assessment, not a real fight to the death. So he also surged forward, charging at Kakashi. At that moment, my gaze sharpened, and I placed my hands on my ninja tool pouch. Seizing the moment, he swiftly raised his hand. Shuriken flew like bullets, darting through the air, and collided mid-flight, swiftly blocking all of Shuimen's escape routes. Seeing this, Shuimen's expression turned serious. He knew if he didn't show some real skill, he might get humbled, as he realized these kids weren't fresh graduates from the academy at all. They both seemed to have the strength of near Chunin. Thinking this, Shuimen slid his hand over his pouch. A shuriken appeared in his hand. With a clash of metal and a shower of sparks, Shuimen quickly knocked the shuriken aside, clearing a path for himself. But in that instant, Kakashi was already in front of Shuimen. The two engaged in fierce taijutsu combat, exchanging dozens of blows in a flash. Even a regular Chunin would struggle to follow it all. But those present were either Kaga-level masters or retired AMBU. These three could clearly see the intensity of the fight. Shuimen was holding back. After all, this was a graduation test, not the Chunin exams. If Shuimen went all out, Kakashi and I would stand almost no chance. Even so, Shuimen was subtly overpowering Kakashi. Kakashi could only fight while retreating. Though I saw my comrade faltering, I remained still, as if brewing something. My shuriken throwing slowed as well. Seizing the opening, Shuimen sent Kakashi flying with a single palm strike. But no one noticed. That's fine. His characters were simultaneously. They imprinted on Kakashi's chest, flying Thunder God. And the moment Shunin sent Kakashi flying, I suddenly moved. After all, I'm Mizu. It wasn't a Rasengan, but the recovery lag was easy to exploit. My leg muscles tensed, and I stomped hard. Chakra exploded beneath my feet, launching me forward like a cannonball. My target was the bell at Shueimin's waist. But how could Shueimin miss that? Though I caught his lag, he showed no panic. Instead, he shook his body sideways, dodging my hand, reaching for the bell. This perfect, smooth evasion displayed Shueimin's superb combat awareness. But what people didn't expect was what happened next. But to everyone's surprise, I saw the bell fly out, and I'm the one who started it all. I would have guessed that Shueimin would have escaped his own attack, so I used a frog hand in my attack. And the people there are all the insiders. They almost just take a look. I understand the usage of this trick. It's really an ingenious way to use chakra. Yoshiwan can't help but sigh yes. Although it is a small skill, can also have great use. And then Shueimin found the bell missing. But just want to take back the bell. But Kakashi stopped me. Sorry, can't let you pass so easily. And I exploded with amazing speed. Want to grab the bell quickly. But Shueimin didn't worry at all. I saw him quickly shoot a bitter, impartial nail in the bell next to see the scene. My pupil is shrinking instantly when I'm running wildly. But just want to retreat, but see a flash of golden light. A wave of wind, Shueimin, appeared by the bell. You guys are really good. It's still a little difficult not to use the magic of flying thunder. See, he took out more flying Thor bitter none. I retreated instantly and shot out bitterness as I retreated. Disorder, Shueimin bitter formation. But even if Kakashi and I try again, flying Thor is full of bitterness. At this moment, Shueimin positive color wrote too. You're gonna lose, but I grinned. Who said we were gonna lose? Didn't you find that this place is flat? Yeah, we made you leave the woods on purpose. We knew you used the flying thunder. And just now we used bitterness to interfere with you. Now look, flying Thor's bitter landing point is the same as you expected. Shueimin's smell speech cannot help but look solemn. That's right. Originally, the scattered bitterness was shot, is to have more mobility. Now through the interference of me and Kakashi, the dispersion of the bitter is greatly reduced. But there's one thing you haven't noticed. I haven't used ninjutsu since just now. As I speak, I quickly seal. Chakra poured out without death. Water to done the great waterfall. The speed of my seal made everyone present feel, especially the wave Shueimin. The others have either seen me perform ninjutsu, or faced me directly in combat. They all know my hand seal speed rivals that of Kaguya. Only Namikaze Shueimin is at a disadvantage due to a lack of intel. Take this. Water style, great waterfall technique. I roared. Instantly, a ring of water formed behind me. Then a massive torrent of water, like a cascading waterfall, erupted from the ring. Witnessing the scene before him, Shueimin's pupils contracted slightly, revealing a look of slight surprise. The watching third Hokage couldn't help but remark, in terms of water style, second Hokage is undoubtedly normal. He can unleash powerful water style ninjutsu, even in places without water. But for Yuji Boliwa, at such a young age, to be able to achieve this level, he can no longer be described as a mere genius. However, as the one facing Namikaze Shueimin wasn't as tense as he appeared, because he knew my technique's purpose wasn't to attack, but to simply deal with flying thunder god Kunai stuck in the ground. With Shueimin's combat intellect, in an instant, he thought of a way to counter and win. Yet Shueimin didn't move, because he knew this was just a graduation exam for the Ninja Academy, not a life or death battle between ninja. Being too harsh might instead demoralize the two children. So Shueimin stood his ground, his hands rapidly forming seals. Facing the onrushing torrent, he slammed his hands together. Earth style wall, a thick, wide earthen wall instantly rose from the ground, completely shielding Shueimin. But to everyone's surprise, the wall wasn't a flat surface, but formed a right angle. The pointed corner aimed directly at the roaring water, and everyone present knew. Shueimin was definitely holding back. Then, the seemingly unstoppable torrent of water slammed hard against the earthen wall, yet was easily split into two streams and effortlessly diffused. Seeing this, I couldn't help but smirk. TH, only defending, not attacking. Looks like I'm being underestimated. But seeing the flying thunder god Kunai, scattered and swept away by the great waterfall technique, I knew my objective had been achieved. So, exchanging a glance with Kakashi, we took advantage of his obscured vision. Now, the moment the word fell, two figures shot toward the water like phantoms. Shueimin, guarding behind the wall, sensed the two of them, and reacted swiftly. Planting his foot firmly, his body swiftly shot backward. Just as I was about to leave the earthen wall, Kakashi and I arrived. Kakashi immediately engaged Shueimin in combat. But at that moment, I quickly formed hand seals and shouted, Nirvana Temple technique, that's right. Ever since I got this Jinjutsu from Lumiao's house, I learned it within the half-month preparation time. And with the mini Jinjutsu talent bonuses from the head pat reward, mastering this A-rank Jinjutsu took me less than 10 days, haha. Ninjutsu, I never thought he'd learn it in such a short time. Seems his Jinjutsu talent isn't bad either. The third Hokage glanced at Yoshiwan and Dao-sensei, smiling slightly, as if showing off something. And Shueimin, copying the enemies, clearly had no mind to care about who gave this jutsu. You just saw a single feather drift gently down onto Kakashi, followed by an intense wave of drowsiness. Shueimin let out a light shout. Boundless drowsiness for a moment ago vanished completely. This was entirely within my expectations. After all, the strength of their on-temple technique lies in its wide area of control, not in the power of its control. For a ninja like Shueimin, breaking a Jinjutsu easily is completely expected. But even so, it still stalled him for a moment. And it was that moment that gave me my chance. I instantly gathered all my strength and reached for the bell like lightning. But just as I was about to touch it, a sudden golden flash, and the bell, so close, vanished in an instant. My mind raced, thinking back to the tactical discussion with Kakashi. Liwa, why the plan don't you fight Shueimin Senpai directly? Hearing Kakaxi's puzzle question, I explained because a flying Thunder God user can place the flying Thunder God mark on someone unnoticed, so we must keep one person in reserve. My thoughts quickly returned to the present. The other flying Thunder God Kunai were washed far away. So on this battlefield, the only place he could teleport to is, right, that HT flying Thunder God. Thinking of this, my reaction reached its peak at this moment. I simply spread my hands. A pale blue Rasengan swiftly appeared. Without a moment's hesitation, I turned and aimed it at Kakashi. The entire sequence was fluid and seamless, as the pleasant chime of the bell rang out. Minato Namikaze's voice sounded beside Kakashi. I concede, you two were truly impressive. Seeing this, the three examiners present also began to applaud in unison. The third Hokage was the first to speak. What a thrilling and satisfying match. Orochimaru looked at me and said with great interest, indeed, it was truly an eye-opener for us. Teacher Might Die also smiled sincerely. His face couldn't hide his pride. Then he said solemnly, Congratulations on passing the early graduation exam. You're now official ninja of Konoha Village. The third Hokage, Hiruzen Sarutobi, will personally bestow your forehead protectors upon you. The kindly third Hokage, smiling, stepped forward. He bestowed upon us the forehead protectors, symbolizing Konoha ninja. As the cold touch of the protector reached my forehead, I felt an unreal sensation. I had become a ninja of Konoha Village. Soon after the pleasantries, everyone departed. Then, Kakashi and I returned together. We want to tell our brothers and friends. My guy, Ebisu, Gama, etc. But just as I was sharing my joy with my friends, the third Hokage had already returned to his office. Issue the order. The personal ability and growth records of Yuhi Kurenai and Hatake Kakashi are now classified as top secret. No one is to access them without my permission. Also, spread the news, promote them heavily. Say that. But the third Hokage didn't know that his heavy promotion would bring a fatal threat upon Kakashi and me. Soon, a week later, in the Sunagake, your elder's residence, upon receiving the news, Chiyo roared in anger. Konoha's youngest genin, the prodigy Yuhi Kurenai and successor of Konoha's White Fang. This infuriates me. The White Fang killed my son and daughter-in-law, yet he remains at large. Issue my command. But before she could finish, brother, Ebisu, interrupted by raising his hand. Sister, calm down. We absolutely must not touch Yuhi Kurenai and Hatake Kakashi. While it's not advisable for us to take major action now. But here's the thing. What they don't know is, the conversation between the two of us was heard loud and clear by the genius puppeteer from Sand Hidden Village. Shishaji Sia. And what Sia doesn't know is, starting that day, within the intelligence department of Sand Hidden Village, a special unit was actually formed specifically for hunting down young geniuses from Konoha. All of its members are elite Jonin level ninjas. On the other side, en route of Konoha, when Danzo heard his subordinate report that Orochimaru clearly rejected the roots, offered to recruit Uchiha Lihua after the decision. He flew into rage immediately. But what made him even angrier was what his subordinate added next. Orochimaru also said that he and you are just cooperative partners, and told you not to push your luck. Right after those words were spoken, Danzo slammed his arm hard against the table. This is simply going too far. But soon he suddenly gave a sinister grin, having thought of something. What I can't have, no one else can get their hands on it either. Hurry, get in touch with Sand Hidden Village for me. On the other side, the fact that I've become the youngest genin has also caused a huge uproar in the Uchiha clan, especially the Hawk faction. They all think they back the right person. It's not just the Uchiha clan. Many wealthy Hawk faction elders have given me money. Those ninja techniques have given me ninjutsu. They're determined to win me over. Not only that, even the Dove faction sent me generous gifts overnight. This time, I really feel like I've made a killing. I think myself, this feels so good, but just as I'm counting up all the gains I got this time, I also received an invitation from Namikaze Minato. He said he saw the Rasengan I used in the recent match, so he wants to discuss the development of seal-free ninjutsu with me together. Of course, I readily agreed. After all, I've been craving the Flying Thunder God technique for a long time. Right now, in Konoha's training ground, Minato is looking at me with a face full of curiosity. Can you show me that seal-free ninjutsu one more time? Of course I can, but this is, after all, a ninjutsu I developed after pouring all my hard work into it. I put on a difficult look, but I'm overjoyed on the inside. Teaching Minato his own technique back to him. That's just too funny, seeing how I look so troubled. Minato actually looks ashamed. Sorry, that was rude of me, he said as he's about to leave. But before he can turn around, I yank him back. No, I just want extra payment. Minato was speechless after hearing that. Why didn't you say so earlier? But what do you want? My eyes turned slightly. I started thinking, if I only asked for a head pat now, it would actually make Shuei-min suspicious. After all, there are many smart ninjas in this world, and Shuei-min is one of the few top-tier geniuses. If I slip up here, someone might uncover my secret. Thinking of this, a plan instantly came to mind. I want that ninjutsu you have, the one that lets you flash around. Oh, you mean the Flying Thunder God? Shuei-min showed an understanding expression, but that's probably very difficult. First, you need space-time talent. Second, to be honest, the Flying Thunder God is a forbidden jutsu developed by the second Hokage. Even I don't have the authority to decide who to teach it to. As if I had expected him to say that. I replied calmly, that's fine. Later, please test my space-time talent, Senior Shuei-min. If I have the aptitude, then please help me ask the Hokage. Seeing my genuine desire to learn, Shuei-min agreed without further refusal. As for the talent test, I wasn't worried at all. A joke. After the head pat, I'll have everything. So, after laying out an extremely long map, I finally revealed my true intention. But there's one condition. Can you let me pat your head? Huh? A head pat? Sure. But why? Not giving Shuei-min extra time to react. The moment he agreed, I reached out and patted Shuei-min's head. Yeah, that was absolutely perfect. Hey, head pat. A rank ninja and not a Shuei-min youth. But when I saw the 6 types of rewards the system displayed, my eyes instantly widened with excitement. However, I didn't focus on rewards just yet, because I had to fulfill my promise to Shuei-min first. Watch closely, Senior Shuei-min. I held out my hand, and a pale blue chakra sphere instantly appeared in my palm. The faint hum from the chakra's high-speed rotation revealed this jutsu's immense destructive power. When Shuei-min saw this jutsu again, he immediately knew it was the one most suited for him, upholding a spirit of high-quality service. I thoroughly explained the training method for this jutsu, as well as pros and cons. But as I explained, I marveled at Minato Shuei-min's incredible talent. With just a few pointers from me, he grasped it instantly, even able to extrapolate and apply it creatively. Amazing. This technique pushed transformation of chakra to its absolute limit. Could one then incorporate the nature transformation of chakra into it? This question filled me with profound emotion. Because every Naruto fan knows, in the original story, Namikaze Minato created the Rasengan, and later proposed this very idea. But sadly, he died young. It was left to Naruto to perfect it. This is a major regret from many fans. Of course you can, but I can't demonstrate that here. I then told him about the giant Rasengan, and my concept for the Rasen Shuriken. But be warned, the Rasen Shuriken is not only devastatingly powerful, it can also damage your own chakra network. Don't use it until you find a way to avoid that risk. I said seriously to Minato. After all, I didn't want a moment's oversight. To cost the world a genius. Minato nodded, showing he understood. Soon, we talked from morning until evening. The conversation was a great pleasure. Finally, I made a point to add, this jutsu is called the Rasengan. Don't go giving it a weird name. Minato smiled at that. He then remembered his promise to test my space-time ninjutsu aptitude. And it was then I finally opened the system reward. Hey, ninja, Namikaze Minato youth. Choose 3 of the following 6 rewards. Wow, all great stuff. Except the first one. No hesitation. System. I choose greatly enhanced space-time aptitude. Flying Thunder God technique. Greatly enhanced reaction speed. Rewards dispensed. Soon, as the pain faded, the enhancements were complete. Now, I not only fully mastered the Flying Thunder God, but also the creation of its seals and their application. Obviously, it could not be mentioned as Minato and the second Hokage Although the boost to reaction speed wasn't as dramatic, I understood clearly that when using Flying Thunder God and the Rasengan, reaction speed is a crucial component. It might not trigger counters, but it'll be vital in a pinch. The enhancement to space-time aptitude was more comprehensive because it actually strengthened all ninjutsu related to space-time. First, the range of the Flying Thunder God expanded. Second, the triple Rashomon. After the major boost to my space-time aptitude, I could actually perceive the quintuple Rashomon. This is the first Hokage used to lock. Achomadara. Just then, Shueimin was ready to test my spatial time talent. As he formed hand signs, he explained, this is a method recorded by the second Hokage in the Flying Thunder God scroll. By injecting my chakra into your body, I can sense your sensitivity to spatial time perception. After explaining, Shueimin gently grasped my hand. The next second, a gentle surge of chakra flowed into my meridians, circulating along a specific path. He slowly guided his chakra to probe my chakra pathways. It still found a focus to comfort me. Little Lihua, I've only recently mastered this spatial time jutsu. After long study, it might sound boastful, but only the second Hokage, and I know it. So, don't be discouraged if the results aren't what you hope. Hearing Shueimin's comforting words, I could feel how deeply he cares for his comrades. Though touched, I just said, it's okay, Senior Shueimin, but if I do have the talent, you must ask the third Hokage for me about permission to train. Shueimin shook his head slightly, thinking I was still childish. He mused that everyone has their strengths, but those skilled in spatial time jutsu are exceedingly. Before he finished, he sensed something. His brow furrowed. After double-checking, he said in disbelief, it's incredible. Little Lihua, you possess remarkable spatial time talent. The best I've ever seen. Shueimin told me happily, though I'd expected it. Hearing his sincere praise still made me glad. Then you must ask. The third Hokage for me, Senior. Of course. With that, Shueimin happily left a Flying Thunder God Kunai on the spot. A flash of golden light, and he vanished. I didn't wait long. Soon, Shueimin reappeared at the Kunai's location. Little Lihua, after learning about your situation, the third Hokage was also quite shaken. He said you are a versatile genius. So, the Hokage has decided that when you become a Jonin, I will be your teacher, guiding your Flying Thunder God training. I could see Shueimin was also happy for me, and I felt the terms offered by Yuan Feirizhan were also, so I happily agreed. After all, I had already completely mastered the Flying Thunder God. Going through this process was just to use it openly and legitimately. But in a critical moment, I definitely won't hold back. Soon, as night fell, Shueimin and I exchanged a few more words before heading home. But back home, I had no intention of resting, because I wanted to test my newly mastered Flying Thunder God. Simple Sage Mode, activate. I whispered, sensing no one spying within a kilometer radius. I picked up a finely crafted kunai, then thought to myself, Shueimin's Flying Thunder God formula is Blade of Love. So what is my Flying Thunder God formula? Suddenly, inspiration struck, a mischievous idea rising in my heart. Then I channeled chakra within my body, and the next second, 3 small characters appeared on the handle of my kunai. Don't steam. Looking at my own Flying Thunder God kunai, a sense of pride surged in my heart. And that night, with my sharp reflexes, I practiced a combination of Flying Thunder God and Rasengan to perfection. You could say, if I were to join the third great ninja war now, I would be the new Yellow Flash. However, after that night of practice, I discover my current only weakness. There's a persistent hard limit of insufficient chakra reserves. Looks like I'll need to find a chance to touch Kushina later. If I could touch the entire 9 tails. Soon, the next day arrived. She sent a message via a ninja snake, summoning me for training. I agreed, of course, but what I didn't expect was running into Kakashi on the way. Just like in the original story, he said he was assigned to Shueimin's team, and is now receiving guidance from Shueimin. We chatted briefly before parting ways. Soon after, I reached the Konoha training ground specified by Deshiwan, and as soon as Deshiwan saw me, he keenly noticed the change in me. Little Lihua, you've gotten stronger again in just a few days. I had to admit his sharp eye. Then Deshiwan explained, I called you here today to develop a training plan for you. And next, I won't just teach you how to use your abilities more effectively in battle. I'll even pass on all my self-created Orochimaru style ninjutsu to you. I nodded in agreement, but then Orochimaru paused for a moment, licking his lips before continuing. You'll also need to help me study natural energy every week. I agreed without hesitation. Under Orochimaru's guidance, I began my grueling training. Soon, 3 months flew by. On the Konoha training ground, hidden shadow, snake ants, with a fierce shout from me. 5 massive white serpents shot from my sleeves, slamming hard into the training post. Seeing the post shattered by the impact, Orochimaru, standing nearby, clapped and praised. Little Lihua, you truly put me to shame. There's nothing more I can teach you now. Next, you must undergo real combat training. I looked at Orochimaru, slightly puzzled. I'll personally take you on missions from now on. Not D or C rank, but B rank and above. I understood. B rank and above missions meant a high chance of combat between ninja. The risks were obvious, but Orochimaru seemed to read my thoughts. You must temper yourself in real battles. Prepare well, Little Lihua. I'll notify you when it's time to depart. With that, Orochimaru vanished in Shunshin. As I gathered my training gear, I reflected on my progress. First, my own strength. While there was no sudden leap from head patting, these 3 months had made my abilities far more fluid and integrated. I was confident I could easily defeat my past self from 3 months ago. Then there was the Orochimaru-style ninjutsu. I had fully mastered it. Not only that, during these 3 months, I had explored nearly every corner of Konoha and left my flying Raiji marks at key locations for emergencies. As for natural energy, I was anything but stingy. Beyond providing blood for Orochimaru's tests, I often offered unique insights. This made Orochimaru even fonder of me. I even impressed him with a crucial experiment once. So Deshiwan and I went from being experiment subjects to becoming research partners. But just as I was packing up to leave, Kakashi suddenly appeared behind me and called out, Hey, Lihua, you're here. I'm planning to take the Chunin exam next month. What about you? Want to join me? Hearing this, I couldn't help but sigh inwardly. Becoming Chunin at 6 and a Jonin at 13. That's just monstrous. But Kakashi didn't notice my amazement. Instead, he went on, inspired by Rasengan. I want to develop an A-rank jutsu too. I immediately straightened up a bit, thinking to myself, he's going to create Chidori. Looks like I'm witnessing history here. So, using my transmigrator's knowledge of Chidori, I gave Kakashi a lot of suggestions, which helped him a ton. In the following days, I trained and worked with Kakashi on the jutsu. Gotta say, Kakashi's talent is astounding. In less than 2 weeks, Chidori was already taking shape. After training ended that day, Kakashi said to me, "I won't be training with you tomorrow. My father's mission ends. He's expected back tomorrow." Hearing that, I immediately stood up. Uncle Shomao's back. I missed him so much. Let's go greet him together tomorrow. What Kakashi and I didn't know was, a huge conspiracy was already unfolding at that moment. Soon, the next day at the Konoha gate, when Kakashi and I arrived, we were surprised to find we weren't the only ones waiting at the village entrance. A large crowd of enthusiastic villagers was also waiting for Shomao's return. Turns out, Hatake Shomao, while on duty at the cloud border, captured many cloud ninjas who came to spy on the village. Suddenly, the street became bustling. The villagers got excited and rushed forward all at once. "Lord Shomao, thank you for protecting the village. Lord Shomao is so cool. Even the Hokage rarely gets this kind of praise. But now is nonstop. Seems Uncle Shomao is really popular." Hearing me, his friend, praise him like that, Kakashi's face actually turned slightly red, a rare sight. "Looks like we can't see father now. Let's go home and wait." In the evening, Shomao, having just reported his mission to the Hokage, returned home, exhausted. As soon as I got home, I smelled the tempting aroma of a home-cooked meal. It was a masterpiece of me and Kakashi. During the meal, Shomao chatted with us a lot. Due to confidentiality reasons, he couldn't reveal too much about the mission to the two of them. He mostly shared stories about the local customs of the cloud border. But just then, Shomao suddenly turned and looked at me. "Little Lihua, I heard you've taken Deshiwan as your teacher." I then told Shomao the whole story. But after hearing it, he pondered for a moment, frowning, and said, "Deshiwan is an incredibly strong and responsible teacher. While he's certainly a good master, he's someone who never acts without a profit in mind. You must be very careful dealing with him." I understand. This was Shomao truly treating me like his own family's junior, to risk offending someone by warning me. Afterwards, the three of us discussed various cultivation issues. And after Shomao's pointers, both Kakashi and I felt enlightened. But unlike the joy of this reunion, over at the root base, Danzo's mood was anything but pleasant. Looking at Intel detailing Kakashi, Shomao's glorious achievements, and recalling the villagers lining the streets to welcome him today, he couldn't help but think on his path to pursue the Hokage's position. He had gained another competitor, and now, he could finally no longer restrain that jealousy. Why? I contributed so much to Konoha from the shadows, yet he receives such treatment. So, Danzo waved his hand. A root member appeared like a ghost in the shadows. Danzo asked coldly, "Have any Suna Umbu members been captured by us these days?" "Yes, sir." Hearing his subordinate's answer, Danzo took out a scroll. He wrote something on it, then closed the scroll. But after much hesitation, he didn't use a sealing technique, because he knew Suna's sealing technique level well. They wouldn't be able to break a seal that's too advanced. Thinking of this, he handed his scroll to his subordinate. Find a suitable reason to release that Suna Umbu member back. Then have him deliver the scroll to Ebizo and that old woman. Yes. Watching his subordinate take the scroll and vanish instantly, Danzo revealed a sinister smile. "Hatake Shomao, don't blame me. For Konoha to have the correct leadership, I must eliminate you." Soon, days passed one by one, and during these days, Deshiwan had me stay in his lab assisting with research, although he judged me by his words. Scientific research practically is basically zero, but unexpected thoughts always give him inspiration. So he officially included me in his lab group. And just today, he showed me his most secret research. "Little Lihua, you should know. After you saw my research, you may have to lose your brain." Deshiwan eyes full of warning, as if in this way to persuade me to quit. But as a crossing me, how can I not know what he is doing? I can only say that since I chose to be a student, I've already planned for Deshiwan after the defection. So I looked up and said I was ready, ha. "Little Lihua, your scientific attitude is very much to my liking." Deshiwan looked at me with approval in the eyes. Soon I followed him into the Chamber of Secrets. Came into the secret room. I felt a tremendous amount of life energy. "Though your cells are very active. Since I got the Yang attribute chakra, my perception of life energy is greatly enhanced. But I have never met such a time of abundance." Jujian cells then Deshiwan showed me. Jujian cells bubble in a petri dish with a piece of 1,000 hands Jujian of the body. Unfortunately, it's not the head, or else I can try to touch it. Not only that, Deshiwan also led me to an incubator. Inside was a teenager about 4 or 5 years old. He's the only one in the transplant column. Experimental subjects that survived after his cellular. After listening to the Deshiwan's introduction, I understood it instantly. This is the Daiwa behind the infrastructure. But when Deshiwan talked about it, but showed a look of disappointment. It's just that the risks of transplantation are still very high. In addition to the experimental subjects in front of you, none of them can successfully fuse Jujian cells. But when I heard this, I couldn't help asking, why not local transplantation of Jujian cells? Deshiwan loop. Local transplantation is more risky. Jujian cells will be uncontrolled. The absorption of the experimenter's chakra, it will eventually grow into a big tree. But what he didn't expect is that. And my answer made him shine at the moment. Then I used the Dai-2 and Tuanzang I saw in the original book. Recommendations were made to the Deshiwan. That's an interesting proposal. It sounds very feasible. Deshiwan toned hard to hide the excitement. It seems that the practical operation method has been thought. Then he discussed with me the Austria of natural energy. As a Peian invasion saw 10 times the old fire shadow. I can clearly will be natural. The energy setting tells Deshiwan. But I didn't do it. Because I know the story of the rabbit's death. If you use up your cards too early, in the absence of overwhelming strength, is very dangerous. And both know it. This teacher-student relationship is secondary to the interests of the main. The two talked happily, and soon it was evening. And Deshiwan perceive it's not early. Just tell me. Do you remember the actual combat exercise I said before? There is now an A mission. Escort the Sand Hidden Village ninja back to Sand Hidden. I took it. Departure in 3 days. After listening to Deshiwan words, but I suddenly asked the ninja of Shining Village to return to the village. Why are we escorted? Deshiwan patiently explained. This ninja is actually a rebel. He stole the Sand Occult. In the end, he was captured by Wooden Leaf and said it was an escort, but in fact it was extradition. I finally understood the content of this mission. So what we have to guard against is coveting this occult, right? Yes, because this occult is very powerful. Therefore, there are not a few people who covet it. Can look at my dignified look. Deshiwan smiled and smiled. Don't be so serious. I will go with you. I nodded my head. Although no, there is Deshiwan pressure array. It won't be a big problem. But the first task in life is grade A. It's hard to avoid some tremors in my heart. Let's go to this today. Use these 3 days to say goodbye to your friends. It'll take at least half a month to go. Deshiwan sent me out of the lab, and I spent the next few days preparing for the mission. Not only are all the things you need to travel ready, also notified friends and elders. They all told me to be careful all the way. And Kakashi is preparing for the ninja exam. I guess he'll be promoted to no-no when I get back. The Shomao's advice is particularly valuable. He thought for a moment when he learned that I was going to Shine Village. Then he took down his saber Lil Lihua. This knife is called Zia. I'll lend it to you. I looked at Shomao with a hint of doubt, wondering what he meant. Uncle Shomao, you know. I don't use a blade. But Shomao just smiled. This blade isn't for you to use, but for them to see. This blade is a talisman. But just as he said that, I cut him off, and a death warrant too, right? Shomao nodded approvingly. Exactly. This blade tells the enemy to kill you. They must be ready to face the White Fang of Konoha. But it can also attract those who hate me deeply. It dawned on me. Uncle, you're using this to train me. Shomao nodded. With Shiwan watching over us, the worst outcome is just a scare, no real danger. So, consider this blade another layer of protection. Understanding Shomao's deep concern for me, I was deeply moved. 3 days flew by. I was fully prepared to depart. Little did I know, a huge conspiracy awaited me. I arrived early at the village gate. It was my first time leaving. I couldn't help feeling excited. Before long, Teacher Deshiwan approached with a man. So this is the mission target, I thought to myself. But something feels off. Before I could think further, Deshiwan had already completed the exit formalities. He signaled for us to move out. But after a while, Deshiwan, leading the way, suddenly stopped. He began looking around, muttering to himself as he looked. We're in a secluded spot now. Before the two of us could grasp his meaning, Deshiwan suddenly attacked. His neck stretched out, striking with incredible speed, biting the Suna ninja. A sharp cry from the Suna ninja echoed. Deshiwan retracted his neck, licking his lips calmly. What did you just do? Deshiwan replied nonchalantly. A toxin that suppresses chakra. Don't worry. By the time you reach Sunagakure, the toxin and the wound will be completely healed, leaving no trace. But for now, it's best if you come along quietly, or things could get troublesome. Deshiwan said flatly. Then he ignored the ninja's expression and said, "You motion for us to continue our way." Meanwhile, Sha secretly gathered chakra, but upon realizing Deshiwan's words were true, he gave up resistance. Because if someone openly injects you with poison, and you can't fight back, chances are you couldn't stop them if they want to kill you. Just as the three of us continued our journey, little did we know that outside Konoha village, 3 Konoha Umbu had appeared. They shot forward like arrows, becoming streaks of shadow, heading straight towards me and Deshiwan. Meanwhile, far away in the vast desert of the Land of Wind, a team of Suna Umbu were resting and resupplying. A keen observer would notice their uniforms were identical to the captured Shah's. We've been searching for a week, and still no sign of Shah. Should we keep going? The team leader, eyes bloodshot, glared at the questioner. Shah vanished near the Konoha border. He was likely captured by Konoha ninja. He holds vital intelligence. We must find him, dead or alive. Can't we request backup from the village? How long are we supposed to keep searching like this? No sooner had the subordinate spoken than the leader snapped. Has the sun fried your brain? If word of this reaches the higher-ups, our heads will roll. The leader grew angrier. He then ordered the team to move out again, heading for the Konoha border to find their missing comrade. Unbeknownst to them, the man they'd sought for a week was being escorted by me and Deshiwan toward Suna. We just hadn't realized yet that our escort wasn't a rogue ninja with a secret technique, but an Umbu agent. After several days of travel, the three of us finally reached the land of Fire's border. Upon arrival, Shah from behind declared he couldn't walk another step. He plopped down by a large tree to rest. Deshiwan slowly approached him. Mr. Shah, do you still not understand your position? I could clearly feel, as Deshiwan closed in step by step, his aura intensifying. Even as Shah paled under the pressure, he refused to budge. A tough nut to crack. Deshiwan's gaze turned sharp and ruthless. But at that moment, a bird flew across the sky. To others, this bird is nothing special. But when Deshiwan saw it, a faint smile touched his lips. He then looked at Shah leaning against the tree trunk. If you want to rest, why not take a nap? With that, he knocked Shah out cold with one punch, then turned to me. He's out of chakra. He won't wake up anytime soon. You stay here. Your teacher has some business. I just nodded and said I understood, not asking what it was. After all, I know that if Deshiwan doesn't want to talk about something, no amount of questioning will get an answer. As Deshiwan vanished with a body flicker, I began carefully examining this sand ninja. And as expected, Deshiwan appeared before the 3-leaf Umbu. Speak. He used the third Hokage's method to contact me. What is it you want? Facing Deshiwan's terrifying pressure, the lead leaf Umbu knelt on one knee, struggling to stay calm. Reporting, Lord Deshiwan, the third Hokage sent us on a secret mission. Our investigation revealed your target isn't a defector carrying secret techniques, but a sand Umbu. Hearing this, Deshiwan's expression cleared with understanding. He licked his lips. No wonder his behavior seemed so odd. The lead Umbu continued. He was captured by the Foundation some time ago, but now he's trying to sneak back to the Sand Village. The Hokage suspect the plot and sent us to investigate. After briefly outlining their mission, the lead Umbu bowed his head, awaiting Deshiwan's response. Danzo's handiwork, is it? I didn't expect Little Lee was first. Mission to have such a twist. Quickly assessing the situation, Deshiwan made a swift decision. He ordered them to follow at a distance and stand by, while he wanted to see what was really happening. With that, Deshiwan vanished in a flicker. He left behind 3 Umbu, as if they survived a disaster. Gasping for air, the pressure Deshiwan exuded was simply too intense. Meanwhile, I was closely examining the man before me. Now I finally saw what was off. It was his attire. What defector? Fresh on the run, wears such pristine gear, and even his forehead protector is neatly worn. It seems this ninja's identity might not be as simple as we thought. Thinking this, a sudden alarm bell went off in my mind. I quickly dragged Shah to the side. Sure enough, on the tree trunk he had just leaned against, there was a mark I couldn't understand. No need to say, this was definitely a mark Shah left just now. Without hesitation, I spread my hand, pressing a pale blue Rasengan hard on the mark. The powerful destructive force not only completely destroyed the mark, but even felled the big tree, roots and all. After checking that there were no more little tricks left by Shah around, I tied him up with the rope I carried, and left a flying thunder god mark on him. And just as I finished all this, Deshiwan happened to return. Looking at the fallen tree, the bound and gagged Shah, and the sweaty, exhausted me beside him, Deshiwan fell deep into thought. But he quickly explained to me what had just happened. After confirming my guess, I was glad I reacted decisively. However, just as master and disciple were discussing how to deal with Shah, far away in the Land of Wind, the hidden sand village, Granny Chiyo was having a secret meeting with the Jonin. For over a week, An accident is very likely. You wait long. I'm sending you this time. On the surface, it's my grandson's the game experience. In reality, you need to secretly investigate the Fire Snake Squad's whereabouts. Hearing this, the Jonin nodded and then vanished in a body flicker. But they didn't know the Fire Snake Squad at this moment was now in a state of utter chaos. Boss, let's return to the village. We're already at the land of Windborder. If we delay further and the village finds out, our death sentence will be inescapable. Hearing this, the previously resolute Fire Snake also began to hesitate. Finally, after a moment's thought, he stood up. Pack your things. We'll do one last search using my summoning creatures. If it fails, you return to the village. With that, Fire Snake summoned over a dozen lizards. These lizards instantly scattered in all directions, conducting the squad's final reconnaissance. Meanwhile, back here, Sha woke up, only to find himself already bound and gagged. What are you doing? Is this how you treat a client? Sha glared angrily at the Shiwan and me. Meanwhile, the master and disciple duo held torches, idly toying with Sha's personal belongings. Hearing Sha's accusation, the Shiwan smirked playfully. You think I don't know what you've done? A rogue ninja daring to secretly send messages, although his little trick was exposed, learning they didn't know his true identity. Sha's heart, which had just tightened, relaxed. But just then, sensing something, the Shiwan suddenly turned his head, opened his mouth, his tongue shooting out like a frog catching prey. As a nearby branch snapped, the next moment, a dying lizard instantly crashed to the ground. Seeing a puff of white smoke, the lizard vanished. I exclaimed in surprise. A summoning creature. Looks like your people are here. The Shiwan said leisurely. But Sha, hearing this, didn't reply. Instead, he thought to himself, Captain Fire Snake, you finally come. And as the lizard dissipated, Fire Snake also sensed the disturbance in the distance. Without a word, he gathered his squad and rushed swiftly towards our direction. Meanwhile, I shouted furiously at Sha. You still dare to play tricks? Suddenly, I teleported forward and reached for Sha's head. A powerful sensing force pierced through his entire being. Ding, head tap, B rank Ninja Sha. Please choose 2 of the following rewards. Ignoring the system prompt, my hand plunged directly into Sha's body. As flesh was pierced, a bloody scroll appeared in my hand. Then, holding the scroll, I quickly walked toward the Shiwan, not caring about Sha, who was bleeding. After all, ever since sealing the scroll inside his body, Sha had anticipated this day would come, so he deliberately sealed it in a non-lethal spot. But after the Shiwan took the scroll, he didn't open it immediately. Instead, he held it in his mouth. Then his hands rapidly formed seals. A fire-release jutsu shot into the sky. Though it had no offensive power, it was enough to alert the Konoha Umbu waiting in the distance, and the Fire Snake Squad, already racing towards us 3. Seeing this fire release, became even more certain, unconsciously quickening their pace. A major battle was imminent, yet we, the master and disciple of the Eye of the Storm, showed not the slightest panic. On the contrary, the unsealed scroll before them captured both of their attention. The Shiwan licked his lips playfully. Little Li Hua, aren't you curious about its contents? Having grown familiar with the Shiwan, I didn't hold back. Come on, teacher. You know this is a hot potato. If the mastermind finds out we've seen it, you'll be fine, but I'll be in trouble. The Shiwan chuckled at my words, but he also didn't open the scroll. Before his research was complete, it was best to avoid extra trouble. Yet, amidst the banter, the Shiwan seemed to sense something. He quietly put the scroll away. Alert as always, I entered combat stance. Suddenly, several kunai shot from the shadows. For a moment, the Shiwan stood motionless, as if frozen in fear. But I knew he was just being lazy. My hand swept across my ninja tool pouch, and a finely crafted kunai appeared. With a shower of sparks, I deflected them all. I grinned. You underestimate me. 5 ninja emerged from the shadows. They wore uniform Sunagakure attire. The rushing Fire Serpent Squad. From the Shiwan's years dealing with Sunagakure, this was clearly an elite border Umbu unit. Among the 5 ninja, Fire Serpent and 2 others were Jonin level. The remaining 2 were Chunin level. Adding the captured Jonin, Sha, the squad's full strength, was 4 Jonin and 2 Chunin. Trouble's brewing, I thought. The playfulness faded from the Shiwan's eyes. Fire Serpent quickly assessed the situation. Seeing his captured comrade, Sha, his fury erupted. Kill them. As he spoke, 3 Jonin, including Fire Serpent, charged at the Shiwan like cannonballs. Strike the leader first, Fire Serpent knew. This cold man before him was an enigma. If not dealt with swiftly, the mission would surely fail. The Shiwan calmly left me in order. Handle the 2 Chunin. Test your 3 months of training. With that, he engaged Fire Serpent's trio. Although the 3 fire snakes attacked fiercely, the Shiwan remained calm and composed, handling it with ease. It wasn't that the enemy was going easy on him. It was that the Shiwan's strength overwhelmed everyone present. He was only holding back the 3 of them to give me a chance to gain experience, creating the perfect environment for my training. I understood the Shiwan's intention, and without hesitation, charged straight at the 2 Chunin. The 2 Chunin weren't idle either. One was responsible for rescuing Sha, while the other was tasked with holding me off. But the ropes I used were tied too tightly. Even a kunai couldn't cut through them quickly. After 3 months of intense training, my power had reached the level of a Tokubetsu Jonin. I leaped forward, appearing instantly in front of one of the Chunin. With a swift punch, immense force instantly rendered my opponent completely immobile. Seeing this, the other Chunin's pupils contracted sharply. He had never seen a youth with such terrifying strength and ruthless ferocity. Yet even so, he didn't stop his own actions. He knew freeing a Jonin was more valuable than fighting me to the death, but I wasn't given that chance. I instantly dashed toward that Chunin. Sha hadn't expected the seemingly foolish youth to possess such terrifying power. Without time to think, he roared at the Chunin trying to cut the ropes with a kunai. Used ninjutsu. The Chunin was stunned for a moment, then acted without delay, forming hand seals. Just as I appeared before the 2, he completed the final seal. Wind release, wind blade, with the Chunin's furious roar. Razor-sharp wind blades shot forth from behind him, but I paid them no mind. The Shiwan's 3 months of training had perfectly remedied my flaws in movement. Not only that, I had combined soft physique modification with perception, developing a brand new taijutsu, paper drawing. This allowed me to sense external danger, and use soft physique modification to swiftly evade, facing the dangerous wind blades rushing toward me. I remained calm and unhurried. With a simple sidestep, I dodged all the wind blades. What? How is this possible? Holy shocking. I was already in front of the last Chunin. But just as I was about to use the same method to incapacitate him, I didn't expect Sha beside me to slowly stand up. He shook his body. The incredibly tough rope instantly fell to the ground. So the wind blade's real target was you? I said calmly. Meanwhile, the Chunin behind me tried to ignite something while I was distracted, but I knocked him out cold with a single punch. Suddenly, a cracking sound was heard. It was the sound of Sha cracking his knuckles, although Deshiwan had injected him with something to suppress his chakra. A star camel is still bigger than a horse, especially a seasoned elite like Sha. His superb combat skills and formidable taijutsu alone are enough to give me a hard time, but as the enraged Sha lunged at me like a cheetah, I stood still unfazed. System, extract reward. The moment I saw the reward, my eyes lit up. As expected of the Umbu, it unlocked Assassination Techniques Mastery. Without hesitation, I quickly made my choice. I chose Assassination Techniques Mastery. Vacuum Bullet. Moderate physical enhancement. Soon, as the reward was distributed, a familiar pain made me frown. But then I felt my body, filled with unprecedented strength, daring to lose focus in battle. Sha roared. His figure fully appeared before me, and he kicked at me with incredible speed, but I blocked Sha's furious kick with my arm. Clearly, after the moderate physical enhancement, my power had increased significantly. This move truly surprised Sha. But just then, from the direction where Deshiwan was fighting the three Jounin, an intense chakra fluctuation suddenly erupted. My heart leapt. The third Hokage's Umbu had arrived. The outcome is decided. Sha realized this too. After glancing toward Deshiwan, he turned and sprinted toward the land of wind. I couldn't let him escape easily. If Sha returned to Sunagakure, intel about me and the village would fall into enemy hands. Yet, as Sha ran farther away, I didn't rush to pursue. Instead, I focused and muttered, simple Sage Mode, activate. Instantly, centered on me, a powerful net of natural energy expanded, augmented by Sage Mode and the Yamanaka clan's secret techniques. I see the current situation of Orochimaru and the others completely clearly, and right now, all the Jounin who are tangled in battle have all sensed my CLL probing. Even though this sensing is extremely rough, Orochimaru still recognized the chakra of his own student. When everyone from Konoha heard Orochimaru's explanation, they slowly lowered their guard. But the Jounin from Sunagakure have solemn expressions because they know the battle over there is probably over already, and those two Jounin are most likely in great danger. After confirming that Orochimaru and the others won't be focusing their attention on me, I gathered all my mental energy and gave a low shout. Flying Thunder God technique. To be safe earlier, I left a Flying Thunder God mark on Sha's body. Meanwhile, Sha, who was sprinting at full speed, outside the borderland wind, and the endless desert and Gobi stretch out far into the distance. After going through so much, Sha even feels that the desert, who I've seen before now, feels especially nostalgic. Just then, suddenly, a flash of red light streaks by, and my figure instantly appears right above Sha's head. Sorry, but you need to stay here. What? How could you? Before the shocked Sha could react, I spread out my hand in the air above him, and a pale blue Rasengan instantly forms. Along with a huge noise came billowing thick smoke that surged outward. But the no damage when it's just smoke rule doesn't seem to apply here. When the thick smoke clears, a huge crater blasted out of the Rasengan slowly reveals itself on the ground. Looking at Sha's mangled corpse in the crater, I wipe the sweat off my forehead. It's finally over. But just when I let my guard down slightly, a pair of unexpected footsteps suddenly sound out. So you've killed Umbu from Sunagakure. Here at the border of the land of wind, little kid from Konoha. It is Gilang and Chisa Chishiryu. Sensing someone approaching, I immediately entered combat stance, and said lightly, when it rains, it pours, huh? Hearing this, Gilang laughed a laugh. Who exactly are you, sir? Why do you carry the short blade of the mighty Konoha White Fang? Hearing this, Sia, who had been hiding in the shadows, slowly looked up, and began to size me up carefully. And at this moment, I recognized Sia too, and thought to myself, so this is Chisa Chishiryu? His aura isn't all that terrifying, but my gut tells me fighting him would be extremely dangerous. Even though I know Shomao killed Sia's parents, I don't want to dishonor the kindness of Senior Shomao lending me this blade, so I still choose to tell the truth. White Fang of Konoha is an elder of mine. What? You want to meet him? Even though I spoke so rudely, Guilang didn't show the slightest bit of anger. White Fang of Konoha is incredibly famous. If I fight him, the odds won't be in my favor. But still, you killed one of our Umbu on Suna's territory. What do you have to say for yourself? Hearing that, I knew this guy wasn't some ordinary person. I was intimidated just by the name of White Fang of Konoha, and now I was facing two strong opponents. I rolled my eyes slightly and immediately came up with a plan. I dropped my guard completely. Instead, I puffed out my chest and looked straight at Guilang. You Suna ninjas are plotting to steal Konoha's confidential information. I've already executed the intruder on spot, and now you want to attack me? What's the meaning of this? Are you Suna trying to start a war? This sharp retort completely caught Guilang off guard. After all, he just arrived at the border and hadn't had time to investigate the situation yet. Now that someone from Konoha had pinned this big label on him, he instinctively wanted to clear things up, and the moment he started explaining, I knew he'd taken the bait. I could tell Guilang was an elite Jounin too, and Sia is also incredibly strong. If we clash right now, I'm definitely going to be the one who suffers. But I still don't plan on escaping with Flying Thunder God, because I don't want to reveal my biggest trump card to Suna Village. But what I didn't expect was, after a series of mechanism clicks, a puppet called Crow suddenly charged straight at me. But this unexpected scene didn't throw me off my game at all, because after going through multiple body enhancements, this speed is nothing but child's play to me. I activated the paper technique and easily dodged all of Sia's attacks, while continuously putting pressure on Guilang. You're a Jounin. Aren't you going to control your subordinate? Am I wrong to take this as you declaring war on Konoha? When it comes to combat ability, Guilang, as an elite Jounin, is incredibly well known for his power in Suna. But when it comes to politics, he knows absolutely nothing about it. But just when he was stuck in this dilemma, his disciple Sia suddenly spoke up. No matter what, he killed Sha, didn't he? If we silence him, we can make up any story we want. Hearing that, I immediately knew something was wrong. Sure enough, there was no more hesitation in Guilang's eyes, only killing intent. I let out a cold snort and said, Shisha Sia, the most talented puppeteer in Suna. You truly live up to your reputation. But after hearing that, Sia completely ignored me, and instead said coldly, tell me your relationship with Konoha's White Fang, and I'll leave your body intact. Big talk. I'm officially assuming a combat stance. Going all out. A fierce battle is unavoidable. I've never fought such a tough battle. After all, I'm facing a peak elite alone, and a prodigy puppeteer. I know in my heart, my current strength isn't enough to face them head on. The best strategy is to stall. Conserve strength until the Shiwan arrives. But even this seemingly simple plan, I found incredibly difficult to execute. Gue Yiling excels in taijutsu. Even with my physique enhanced multiple times, I could barely manage to parry. Gue Yiling's whip kick sent me flying heavily. Meanwhile, Sia wasn't idle either, manipulating a puppet crow loaded with countless mechanisms and poisons, launching one deadly attack after another. Facing this, I knew if I stalled any longer, things would only get worse. I had to use my trump card. My hands flew through seals. As white smoke billowed, 3 shadow clones appeared beside me. Whatever you're planning, you won't succeed, Sia said calmly, then controlled the crow, sweeping across with poison-tipped spinning blades. And at that moment, Feeling burst forth with ghost-like speed, appearing like a phantom before me and my clones. But now, I changed from my earlier disarray. My eyes filled with calm, facing their simultaneous assault. I began to respond, unhurried. 2 shadow clones charged towards the crow, which came roaring like a cannonball. Hidden shadow snake hands. With a low shout from one clone, 5 thick white serpents shot from its sleeves, instantly tightly coiling around the crow. It seemed about to crush the puppet into splinters. Sia's pupils contracted. He hadn't expected me to be holding back earlier. But after just a moment's hesitation, Sia's puppet began to disintegrate. Sia quickly snapped back, fingers twitching. Instantly, countless spinning blades popped out all over the crow's body, in mere moments severing the serpents, firmly wrapped around it. And at that moment, my other clone moved. Rasengan, with a roar from the clone, it slammed the Rasengan hard onto the puppet's body. The crow, which had just shown such majestic prowess, he was hit by a massive impact in an instant. The rapidly spinning chakra tears through the puppet's chest. Crow crashes to the ground like a kite with its string snapped. Meanwhile, Orochimaru's battle has also reached its final phase. The addition of 3 Umbu members. This advantage of the squad becomes even more obvious, and they're soon completely defeated by Orochimaru and his men. Alright, mission accomplished. It's time to head back to the village with little Liwa. But just as he extended his sensory perception to carefully search for my location, the next second his furrowed his brow tightly. In an instant, a brutal, blood-curdling aura burst forth like a flood, constantly pressing down on the 3 Umbu present. All 3 Umbu drop to one knee, and the captain says with a slight tremble in his voice, "Lord Orochimaru, is there anything you need us to do?" But Orochimaru acts as if he doesn't hear it all, and continues expanding his sensory range. When he senses the border of the land of wind, his pupils slightly contract, because he detects that I'm currently fighting against 1 elite Jonin and 1 Chunin. How did that brat get over there? With no time to think it through, Orochimaru pulls out the secret item Shock carried from his ninja tool pouch, throws it to the Umbu captain, says report back for duty, and the next second, Orochimaru sprints off like a cannonball. His target is exactly where I'm fighting. Go faster. This voice echoes in Orochimaru's mind. He remembers that boy who died from an explosion tag on a rainy night. Ever since that moment, Orochimaru has deeply understood how fragile humans are. Thinking of this, Orochimaru quickens his pace. Don't you die on me, little Lihua. Meanwhile on my end, just as 2 shadow clones severely damaged Sia's puppet, my main body and 1 shadow clone also confronted Ichi. No extra words exchanged. I directly chose to engage in hand-to-hand brutal combat with Guilong, even with my shadow clones helping harass him. Guilong's taijutsu is simply too strong. My attacks haven't been able to deal any effective damage. But even so, I don't show the slightest bit of anger or fluster, and my eyes remain clear. All of a sudden, Guilong seizes the opening and slams a heavy, powerful punch straight at my stomach, but I don't make any move to dodge it. Guilong looks at me in shock, but from my eyes, he reads endless madness. As I spit out a mouthful of blood, my hands also reach Guilong's head. Ding, head touch, A-rank ninja Guilong. Pick any 3 of these rewards. You have only a moment. I was instantly sent flying backward, but I managed to leave my flying thunder god mark on Guilang. I spat out a mouthful of blood and glared coldly at Guilang. Extract the rewards, I thought without hesitation. I immediately chose 3 effects that greatly enhanced my abilities. A searing, drilling pain instantly shot through my limbs. But Guilang gave me no chance to catch my breath. His fist, heavy as a hammer, smashed toward my chest. But the scene where I was pulverized did not occur. Instead, I dodged the fatal blow, swift as a fleeing hair. That was too close. I brushed the dust off my clothes. At that moment, I clearly felt it. My physical abilities had reached Jonin level. Guilang wasted no words. He charged forward again, engaging me in fierce combat. But as the fight went on, he began to realize more and more that he before him seemed to have grown stronger and innocent. Originally, he held an overwhelming advantage. But now, the 2 of them were evenly matched. Guilang's expression gradually grew grave, but a light began to shine in my eyes. Just as the 2 were locked in intense combat, Sia, who had been desperately controlling the battle crow, suddenly made a move. His fingers danced gracefully in the air. Thin chakra threads manipulated the puppet's movements. The next second, the 2 shadow clones that had been gaining the upper hand instantly exploded. Intense pain flooded my mind. It caused my movements to hesitate for a split second. But it was this crucial split second that Guilang instantly seized. His lethal iron fist struck my body mercilessly. Simultaneously, a kunai shot like lightning from the crow's arm. The blade of the kunai reflected a sinister green light. It was clearly coated with poison, as my body was sent flying like a rag doll. Sia's kunai struck my shoulder with perfect accuracy. The situation took a sharp turn for the worse. I felt my condition deteriorating rapidly. My body began to grow numb and weak from the poison's effect. But what I didn't expect was that, the very next second, I used all my strength to stand up. First, I temporarily used my turn to forcibly suppress the toxin within my body. Then, I erupted with all my power, and charged at a speed Guilang couldn't even react to. And although Sia was a puppeteer, his physical abilities have reached the level of a Chunin, but he still couldn't escape my grasp. He didn't even have time to recall his crows for defense. As my hand touched Sia's head, the lethal poison on my body erupted completely. He ultimately fell before Sia. However, with a soft landing sound, the Shuan had already arrived before the 3 of them, and behind him was an entire forest destroyed by his extreme speed sprint. After clearly seeing who had arrived, Guilang used all his strength to swiftly turn his head and shout at Sia. "What are you standing there for? Run!" But before he could finish, the Shuan's tongue pierced through Guilang's right hand. If it weren't for Guilang's right hand blocking, it would have likely pierced his heart. Witnessing his teacher lose a hand so effortlessly, Sia finally understood the newcomer's immense strength. So, without a moment's hesitation, he immediately turned and fled swiftly. Watching Sia's retreating, decisive figure, Guilang wasn't the slightest bit surprised, because he knew Sia was a rational person who would make the most suitable decision based on the situation. But he also understood clearly that Sia was by no means a cold-blooded, heartless person. His escape now wasn't desertion in the face of battle, but rather to summon reinforcements who could rescue him. Thinking this, Guilang completely ignored his injured right hand, took out a purple pill from his ninja tool pouch, and swallowed it without another word. The Shuan watched Guilang's actions. His eyes narrowed slightly. He had seen this kind of pill before during the Second Great Ninja War. It was created by Shio of Sand Village. Its effect is to maximally stimulate a ninja's potential, but its toxicity is also extremely high. If a Jonin who takes it doesn't receive treatment within 10 minutes, they will die instantly. The Shuan glanced back at the one lying on the ground, realizing he didn't have that much time to tangle with Guilang anymore. He had to end this quickly. Hidden Shadow, Snake Hands. Although it was the same technique, the one used by Deshiwan was clearly far more powerful than mine. 7 dark brown, giant serpents shot out from his sleeves, charging straight towards Duel. Not only that, these snakes were all exceptionally fierce. The aura they released was so intense, even those who saw them were briefly entranced, like a minor illusion. And Gue Yilang was clearly caught off guard. In an instant, 7 massive serpents tightly coiled around Yilang, relentlessly crushing his body. The constriction of these giant pythons was no match for a mere elite Jonin, but he had already consumed the poison pill. Activated by this elixir, his power was now approaching peak Jonin level. As Gue Yilang braced himself, an invisible shockwave erupted instantly, even creating a small sonic boom. The serpent's corpses fell to the ground, yet Gue Yilang's aura continued to surge. Deshiwan glanced once more at me, lying collapsed. He knew he couldn't delay any longer. The next second, his hands flew through seals. The chakra within him drained at an unprecedented rate. Doryu Inryu, yes, Deshiwan, a ninjutsu prodigy, had perfectly replicated the third Hokage's famed composite technique. Before Deshiwan, a massive earthen dragon rapidly coalesced. It opened its maw, spewing forth a torrent of mud. Not only that, the dragon then unleashed scorching flames in the next moment. 2 terrifying natural elements intertwined. A wave of destruction surging towards Gue Yilang. Gue Yilang wanted to dodge, but he was already locked by Deshiwan's killing intent. Moreover, the wounds from the Hidden Shadow Snake Hands severely limited his capabilities. It seemed he had to take this head on. The immense energy unleashed a devastating impact. The resulting deafening roar made Sia's heart sink in the distance. Yet, he forced himself to quicken his pace. The sound also roused me from my unconscious state. Using my last ounce of strength, I employed life return to assess my body. The poison had spread. Without immediate treatment, my life was in grave danger. I chanted inwardly, extract reward. The moment Sia struck me, I'd already devised a plan. To use the reward from patting Sia's head to break this deadlock. Ding, pat B rank, Ninja Sia. Please select 2 of the following rewards. Seeing the final reward, a weight lifted off my shoulders. If patting Sia didn't yield the detox method, I'd be at fate's mercy. I chanted inwardly. Select Master Pharmacological Knowledge, Advanced Mechanism Arts. Soon, the rewards were distributed. But the expected pain didn't come. I realized the poison was gradually destroying my sensory system. Yet the reward was already granted, meaning I now become a top pharmacological expert, not inferior to Sia. Sensing the toxins within me, I quickly deduced the venom's composition and knew how to prepare the antidote. But I couldn't muster any strength. Feeling icy cold all over, I knew, as a pharmacology expert, I was probably beyond saving. Suddenly, someone appeared in my sight. It was Dashiwan. With a thud, he tossed Gilong's head to the ground. Dashiwan hurriedly checked my condition, finding me still clinging to life. He actually sighed in rare relief. Seeing Dashiwan arrive, the last heavy weight in my heart finally lifted. Then, using all my remaining strength, I whispered how to save myself before falling unconscious again. Dashiwan didn't dare delay. His only option now was to trust me. Trust his boy, only 6 or 7 years old, yet capable of repeatedly creating miracles. Finally, after taking the antidote, my breathing gradually steadied, and warmth slowly returned to my body. Liliwa, you truly are a boy full of miracles. Carrying me on his back, Dashiwan set out on the road back to Konoha. Along the way, he meticulously cleaned up the battle traces to avoid complications. Though I survived, Sia's situation wasn't so fortunate. Lord Kazekage, send reinforcements. Sia's expression remained stoic, but his tone carried urgency. You said Gilong took the poison pill. His chances were already slim, and his opponent was Dashiwan, one of the Sannin. The third Kazekage paused, the implication clear. Yet Sia still pleaded. Lord Kazekage, please don't give up on Gilong. Before he could finish, enough. The third Kazekage's shout cut him off. Then the village leader's imposing aura erupted, making Sia's already pale face from exhaustion even ghastlier. Chio, listening nearby, spoke up. Enough, Kazekage. Sia is young and doesn't understand. The scroll has already slipped into my hand. Sia, you may leave. Sia still wanted to argue. Seeing even his own grandmother say this, his heart instantly grew cold. The light faded from his eyes as he slowly walked out the door. He remembered his parents. He remembered the ghost who resolutely stood before him. At this moment, Sia's eyes were utterly indifferent. Just you wait, third Kazekage. Meanwhile, in an unknown cave on the outskirts of Konoha, it had now been modified by Deshiwan into a temporary resting place. I, who had been unconscious the whole way, slowly woke up. Oh, isn't this our genius Genin from Konoha? Why are you in such a sorry state? Deshiwan's teasing voice drifted over, but I could hear a hint of happiness in it. Using my hands to prop myself up, I slowly stood. Master Deshiwan, have the enemies been dealt with? Deshiwan nodded, his voice hoarse. The red-haired brat escaped. The Jonin was taken care of. I nodded upon hearing this. Although I couldn't stop my intel from leaking, at least a major threat was eliminated. I'm satisfied enough. However, what surprised me most was you knowing the antidote. Deshiwan said with a puzzled, teasing tone. That red-haired kid is a master poison maker. Even I was at a loss against that poison. A formidable future threat. I thought I'd have to carry you to find Tsunade. Little Lihua, you truly surprised me. Hearing Deshiwan's sincere praise, I couldn't help but feel pleased. But I didn't explain. Instead, I began discussing this battle with Deshiwan. Soon after resting for a moment, Master and I continued our road back to the village. Meanwhile, in the Hokage's office in Konoha, after hearing the ANBU's mission report, the third Hokage took the secret scroll and read it carefully. How dare you? Danzo, how could you target Shomao? Rage surged in the third Hokage's heart. Summon Danzo to me, and at that very moment, Danzo also learned from root members about the mission failure. The scroll was stolen. Useless. Utterly useless. He slammed his fist on the massive desk, creating a shockwave. But after a moment's thought, cold commands were still issued. Recall the long-range surveillance on Hataki Shomao. Immediately dispatch 4 ANBU SWATs to guard the border between the land of fire and land of wind. Search for traces of the deceased Sunagator ninja as well. But just as Danzo was systematically arranging the aftermath, the Hokage's direct umbu barged in. Lord Danzo, the Hokage requests your immediate presence. Meanwhile, inside the Hokage's office, Hiruzen Sarutobi was locking horns with his old friend. After a long argument, Danzo said furiously, Hataki Sakumo's power is too great. He's an unstable element for Konoha. I did this for Konoha's sake. Nonsense. Hiruzen was now truly enraged. Effective immediately, Root's budget is cut by 20%. Root personnel reduced by 30%. What? Hiruzen, you'll regret this. Danzo, I'm Hokage. These words struck like a hammer, hitting the most vulnerable spot in Danzo's heart. Danzo then stormed out, slamming the door. he thought viciously to himself. Hitaki Sakumo, Uchiha Fugako, Orochimaru, I remember you all. This isn't over. Though undercurrents surged in Konoha, on the surface, it prospered and was livelier than ever. For the much-anticipated Chunin exams were underway. Congratulations to Kakashi for becoming Konoha's youngest Chunin, the examiner said excitedly. How could such a historic moment not be thrilling? Yet Kakashi's expression remained as calm as still water. He looked around at the spectators and said, Uchiha Fugaku, I become a Chunin. Come and surpass me. The entire arena erupted in an instant. Kakashi had openly challenged Uchiha Fugaku. Geniuses truly do recognize each other. Meanwhile, I, who was the talk of the town, was on the road back to Konoha with Orochimaru. But we didn't know this clash with Sunagakure would trigger major upheavals across the great nations. Back in the Tsuchikige's building in the land of Earth, a short old man in the Tsuchikige's robes sat in the main seat, the third Tsuchikige, Inoki. He listened intently as a Wadikure Umbu reported on Shinobi World. So, Sunagakure has a bone to pick with Konoha now. Excellent. Relay my orders. Stir up trouble between Sunagakure and Konoha. The murkier the water, the better. Just as the IWA Umbu was about to leave, Inoki added, Wait, he said a young man from Konoha shows remarkable skill. What's his name? The Umbu pondered. Uchiha Fugaku. Hearing the surname Uchiha, Inoki's gaze instantly turned fierce. As if remembering something, he looked at the Umbu and continued. No matter what method, investigate information on Yuji Bolihua. And right now, being watched from all sides. I just returned to the village with Deshiwan. You two work hard. The third Hokage smiled. Given the special circumstances, even though the mission objective wasn't fully met, I'll still count it as completed for you. Little Lihua, you completed an A-rank mission on your first try. The third Hokage said to me with a smile. I scratched my head and looked at Deshiwan. I was just helping out. The main force was still teacher Deshiwan. All three of us laughed. Then Deshiwan patted my shoulder. All right, little Lihua, you go on ahead. The teacher and I have something to discuss. I tactfully took my leave. After all, I knew Deshiwan still had things waiting for him. And Yuan Feirizhan knew his student well. If Deshiwan specifically wanted to tell him something, then it must be very important. But he never expected the opening to be a bombshell. Little Lihua seems to have a high-speed movement ninjutsu. Deshiwan pointed directly at my trump card, and I never imagined, despite being extremely cautious, I still underestimated the intelligence of Deshiwan and the others. I carefully examined Sha's escape route. There were only his footprints along that path. But Lihua's footprints appeared out of thin air. Hearing this, the third Hokage stroked his chin. That is strange. Did Lihua show this ability during your training? Not at all. Deshiwan shook his head. So the kid is intentionally holding back. Most likely, though I don't know why. But the strength little Lihua has shown probably isn't his true power. Yuan Feirizhan nodded and said, I understand. Then Deshiwan chatted a bit more with the third Hokage, and left the Hokage's office. Meanwhile, having just returned, I gathered with my companions for a meal, and told them the parts of the mission I could share, spicing it up for everyone, making it sound exciting. And soon a year passed in a flash. During that year, I followed Deshiwan on 1 A-rank mission, 25 B-rank missions, and soloed 10 C-rank missions, gaining rich combat experience. Not only that, as I grew older, my chakra reserves steadily increased, now faintly reaching Jonin level, and my overall strength. He's reached elite Jonin level. By the way, after Kakashi's long-distance call during the Chunin exams, I finally responded to Kakashi, and successfully became a Chunin, ranking first. This caused a sensation in Konoha for a time. After all, 2 genius ninjas appearing in succession. It's hard not to make the villagers of Konoha rejoice. But this made other hidden villages jealous. In Sunagakure, Granny Chiyo, looking at the intel before her, was filled with rage. Damn Konoha! Hitaki Kakashi and Yuji Bariho. One day you'll pay the price. Meanwhile, Inoki of a Wadikure floated in the air, carefully reading the intel about me, gathered by the Umbu over the past year. The key intel was all blocked by Saratobi Hiruzen. The IWA Umbu, kneeling, nodded. Yuji Bariho's strength is truly astonishing. This child must not be allowed to live. Yet I, the center of all this, felt nothing. Because during this year, I even managed to pat Shoumao's head. Shoumao is usually swamped with official duties, leaving early and returning late, so chances to meet him are rare. This time, I finally seized the opportunity. Hitting Hat Rank Ninja, Hitaki Shoumao. Please choose 3 rewards from below. Without hesitation, I directly chose Hitaki Sword Style and Major Physical Enhancement. S-Rank Ninja Sword. After a year of real combat experience, I fully realized the importance of strength and hidden cards. So, even though I can't use it openly, I still decided to learn the Hitaki Sword Style. As the rewards were distributed, I instantly mastered the Hitaki Sword Style to perfection, and a blood red M appeared in the system space. I took out the M and examined it carefully, feeling the cold touch of the blade, giving a light swing. I knew this was a peerless blade, not inferior to White Fang. System, does this blade have a name? Flame. A cold system voice echoed in my mind. Flame, huh? It matches the fiery red blade well. And with the final reward, the major physical enhancement being distributed, his constitution also completely reached the level of an elite Jonin. Feeling the surging power within my body, my heart was filled with a sense of security. But until this day, I finally encountered my 3rd A-rank mission in life. What? Go, security cure? I stared at my teacher in shock. It was as if I heard something out of fantasy tale. But Deshiwan replied nonchalantly, right? The Mizuki succession ceremony is about to begin. The Hidden Mist has invited the other 4 great ninja villages to observe. What of it? Is something wrong? That's when I remembered. Right now, the Hidden Mist doesn't have Mizuki yet. After being controlled by Taizu, the village of the Blood Mist, Yagura is just about to ascend to the position of Mizuki. I understood that with my own strength and status alone, I was absolutely unworthy of any ceremony in the Hidden Mist. The person the Hokage truly assigned was Deshiwan. My teacher was using this opportunity to take his disciple on a journey to gain experience. Understanding Deshiwan's awful intention, I quickly agreed, showing my gratitude. Deshiwan smiled knowingly. He began arranging the next steps, but we had no idea. On the other side, Danzo was in a rage at the root. Why? Why is the Deshiwan the one going to the Mizuki succession? Danzo raged impotently, venting his fury. But after finally calming down completely, Danzo suddenly thought of something. Could it be that Saratobi Hiruzen wants Deshiwan to become Hokage? At this thought, Danzo could no longer contain his rage. I've given my all for Konoha, and this is how I'm treated? Absolutely not. With that, he slowly closed his eyes, as if brewing some sinister plot. As long as the Deshiwan fails to master word release for a single day, I cannot move against him. But if I were to ruin the Deshiwan's reputation, forcing him to serve only me in disgrace, wouldn't that be the perfect solution? Thinking this, Danzo let out a sinister chuckle. Deshiwan, arrogant with talent, caused the death of the genius youth, Uchiha Bolihua, during a mission. Huh, that headline is perfect. Danzo suddenly commanded, relay my orders. The Root's intelligence division moved quickly, spread word that Deshiwan and his disciple had the Mizuki ceremony. One of the Root captains asked, sir, should we also leak their travel itinerary? But Danzo shook his head. No need. That would make it less believable. After all, people only trust what they find out themselves. Soon, 5 days passed. Shiwan and I set out on the road to the land of water. We had barely left the village. What Shiwan looked at me. Uliwa, let me ask you, how should we get to the land of water? I realized the teacher was testing me. After a moment's thought, I gave my answer. Shiwan nodded in satisfaction. Good research, but that's just theory on paper. I looked at Shiwan, confused, not understanding why he said that. I'm glad you studied the intel on the land of water. But you don't know, in these 5 days, news of our trip to Kirigakure has spread everywhere. My eyes sharpened. How is that possible? Every village's envoy should be top secret. Shiwan nodded, reaching into his ninja pouch for a map of the shinobi world. Regardless, to prevent trouble on the way, we can't take the usual route. I've decided to go via the land of iron. Shiwan pointed to the land of iron on the map. It borders the land of fire, and also has a port to the land of water. I nodded, agreeing with the Shiwan's plan. Also, for safety, we used a transformation technique, disguising ourselves as a tall and short samurai. This transformation was extremely skillful, hard to detect without Jonin-level eyesight. And so, Shiwan and I officially set off for the land of iron. Meanwhile, at Awagakure, the Tsuchigage's office, an ANBU knelt on the ground, awaiting the Tsuchigage's orders. The esteemed Tsuchigage, Inoki, studied the intel in his hand. Interesting. Every village's envoy is a closely guarded secret. Yet Konoha has made theirs public. The ANBU said, could it be Konoha's bait? But Inoki shook his head. If that were true, what would their goal be? I'm more inclined to think there's a traitor in Konoha. He wants to use us to eliminate these two. The ANBU said, surprised too? After all, you must know, Shiwan is the man that demigod Hanzo named one of the legendary three. But Inoki was non-committal, just gazing at Awagakure's strange peaks and valleys. He doesn't want to get involved. I'll make sure his hands get dirty. Let's see if he stays out then. Also, have Kuratsuchi prepare. She will represent Awagakure at the Mizukage succession ceremony. The ANBU nodded in acknowledgement. Then, secret orders were dispatched from the Tsuchigage's office, and all of Awagakure began moving like a precise machine. The same thing happened in Sunagakure and Kimogakure. However, the Hidden Mist Village, as the host, is an exception. At this moment, the Hidden Mist Village has abandoned its previous isolation stance, and the fourth Mizukage, Yagura Kakashi, though not yet officially inaugurated, has already begun working in the Mizukage's office. Lord Mizukage, please review this intelligence report. Jinjetsu, the most respected elder of the Hidden Mist, handed a report to Yagura with his aged hands. Yagura skimmed it and looked at Jinjetsu. So you're saying the Konoha envoys could become the primary target? Jinjetsu nodded slowly. Precisely. Shiwan and Yujiboli were allied with Suna a year ago. Suna will likely seize this chance to act. With Inoki's cunning nature, he won't miss a chance to get involved. Yagura set the report down and pondered. He knew this incident was a test of his capabilities as the new Mizukage. Mishandling it could have severe consequences. After a moment's thought, Yagura spoke slowly. Shiwan and Yujiboli must be protected. At the very least, not on our soil in the land of water. Otherwise, it will severely damage the Hidden Mist reputation. Jinjetsu nodded in approval. Then what must we do? Yagura decisively replied. Close certain ports under the guise of security. Dispatch the 7 ninja swordsmen for escort duty. Jinjetsu hesitated. Isn't that too excessive? But seeing the Mizukage resolve, he said no more. As he left, he added, should we eliminate them after they leave the village? It's a prime opportunity to weaken Konoha. Yagura silently nodded, and so all the hidden villages began to move simultaneously. Meanwhile, in the land of iron, a blizzard raged. 2 figures trudged towards the capital. It was me and Shiwan. Due to our detour, a journey that should have taken 10 days to the Fire Country port had already stretched to half a month. After another half-day's trek through the snow, we finally glimpsed the capital of the land of iron. But at the city gate stood 2 squads of samurai, inspecting all entrants. Special security measures. State your identity for inspection. If you're shinobi, declare it now. Otherwise, you'll be treated as enemies, the lead samurai shouted. His confidence stemmed not only from the formidable strength of the land of Iron's samurai, but also from its unique status as a neutral nation. And then, I whispered to the teacher in the line of people entering the city, what should we do? Shiwan looked at the checkpoint ahead. I saw the samurai using a special chakra detection device to scan each person individually. If it detects a ninja's chakra fluctuations, the device will sound an alarm. Interesting. I don't remember this procedure from before. Shiwan pondered for a moment. He responded in a hoarse voice. I'm not sure I can evade this device's detection, but revealing ourselves now would only make us targets. Therefore, we need to sneak into the city. Hearing this, I immediately understood. Suddenly, Shiwan raised his hand and pointed. A barely detectable strand of chakra shot into the shadow of an unlucky fellow being inspected. Hearing the device emit a sharp alarm, 2 squads of samurai instantly drew their swords. Don't move. Stop resisting immediately. The lead samurai quickly stepped forward and subdued the terrified, unlucky man. After a thorough body search, he found the man was actually an ordinary person. Strange. Could the device be malfunctioning? The lead samurai said, puzzled. After quickly resolving this farce, order was restored at the city gate, under the samurai's supervision. But no one noticed that 2 people who were originally in line had now swaggered right into the city, walking on the capital streets. Shiwan couldn't help but chuckle. I asked, teacher, what are you laughing at? Shiwan turned to look towards the city gate. Half the samurais lack strategy, and the lords lack wisdom. They rely too much on that device. I nodded in some agreement. After all, some tricks ninjas use can indeed mislead even a powerful samurai. But just then, another team of well-equipped, fully armed samurai suddenly appeared patrolling the streets. Their leader was someone I recognized. He wore fine steel armor and had bandages wrapped around his head. It was Mifune, the future chairman of the 5 Kage Summit. Seeing the famous Mifune himself leading a patrol, my mind was filled with questions. However, in the moment I was lost in thought. Shiwan had already entered a tea house. With a few words, he struck up a conversation with an old man. After some pleasantries, Shiwan casually asked the question, old man, do you know why security is so tight here now? Oh, you're an outsider? Then you should be careful. 5 days ago, an outsider died in an inn. And since that day, an outsider has died every day. This has caused quite a stir in the city. So much so that Lord Mifune is now personally overseeing the matter. At this point, I also stepped forward and thoughtfully poured tea for the 2. Then I asked, is there something strange about this case? Why hasn't it been solved after so long? The old man took a sip of tea and glanced at me. Young man, you don't know, but this case is really weird. When the incident happened, the innkeeper were all interests, but they all said they didn't see anyone come in. All the victims were killed with a single stab. There were no signs of a struggle in the rooms. Don't you think that's strange? Hearing this, Deshiwan narrowed his eyes slightly, thinking to himself, this matter indeed seems strange to ordinary people and samurai. But to a ninja, it's perfectly normal. After gathering useful information, Deshiwan took me out of the tea house. I looked at Deshiwan excitedly. The detective spirit within me was already burning brightly, and Deshiwan could see my excitement. But he said without mercy, don't even think about it. We're here on a mission, not to play detective. I pouted, accepting his words, and Deshiwan didn't delay. He took me straight to the port of the Land of Iron. Although the Land of Iron is perpetually covered in snow and ice, because a warm current passes near the port, it has become a year-round ice-free harbor. However, when the two went straight through the entire capital to the port, they received unexpected news. We're really sorry, you two. Due to a once-in-a-century blizzard, the ferry to the Land of Water is temporarily suspended. The route may reopen in 3 days. Please understand. After receiving this bad news, Deshiwan had no choice but to take me back to the capital. This should suit your wishes. Deshiwan patted my shoulder and said seriously, but we still need to be careful, even though we're not afraid. I don't want any unnecessary trouble. I nodded, fully agreeing with Deshiwan's point of view. Then the two returned to the center of the capital, ready to find an inn to stay at. But little did they know, when the two reached the ferry crossing, 2 pairs of eyes were already fixed on me. Meanwhile, back at the inn, for safety's sake, Deshiwan had only booked 1 double room. After settling in, it was late at night. I lay on the soft bed, my eyelids heavy. Seeing my exhaustion, Deshiwan said, you rest. I'll keep watch tonight. I was utterly exhausted, so I didn't argue and fell into a deep sleep. Deshiwan sat quietly, meditating, recovering his energy. Due to the recent serial killings, a curfew was in place citywide. The night was completely silent. Suddenly, on Deshiwan's neck, a strange, bloody line appeared. Soon, with a thud, Deshiwan's body fell to the floor. One down, from the darkness, a transparent ninja slowly approached the sleeping me. He raised his kunai, but the next moment, a sharp blade flash cut through the air. The ninja's hand, holding the kunai, was cleanly severed. The invisible ninja could no longer maintain his jutsu. His pained cry woke me from my sleep. Hearing a strange voice, I shot up from the bed. A finely crafted kunai instantly appeared in my hand. In a blink, I was in a combat stance. As the room's light suddenly turned on, the bright light revealed 4 figures in the room. Me on the bed, alert, Mifune holding his sword, the attacker missing a wrist, and Deshiwan watching with folded arms. Deshiwan clapped, looking at Mifune. The first samurai of the Land of Iron lives up to his name. Mifune slowly sheathed his sword, but still scrutinized Deshiwan and me. Are you Deshiwan and Yuji Bolihua? Why not show your true faces? Hearing Mifune so easily reveal our identities, my heart tightened. But his next words dispelled our doubts. Hiding your identities, entering the city by smuggling, heading straight for the ferry, destination the Land of Water. Only those matching these traits are the recently exposed Konoha envoys, Deshiwan and Yuji Bolihua. Hearing this, Deshiwan smiled, neither confirming nor denying. Mifune continued, causing chaos at the city gate. You were already in the wrong. But I do like to ask Mr. Deshiwan for a small favor. How about we let bygones be bygones? I rolled my eyes when I heard someone invite someone for the first time. The help is so justified. Deshiwan thought for a moment and nodded. Tell me what's the matter? 3 boats when a ferocious spirit came on my face. I need to find these ninjas' lair and let them die. Deshiwan's smell speech smile. I was just saying that. He turned to me and told me, Liliwa, you stay here. Be sure to watch this man. Then Deshiwan and 3 boats blink away. Go in search of the raiders' lair. I haven't let my guard down either. The house is full of traps, and still in the room and the assaulter. I left the mark of flying Thor on my body and tried to be foolproof. But after all this is done, the assailant fainted because of the loss of blood. I touched his head after hanging him with the drug. Ding 22 class, in Ninja Nakajima, awards please choose 3. Looking at the camouflage hidden technique in the reward list, I was shocked. This ninjutsu is not common, because it was the only time in the original. The appearance isn't a task of God, no bridge. In Murakami Ninja relies on skill. He took Lin and cut Kakashi. You know, Kakashi had just been promoted. How can stealth technique that can't even be seen through? And that explains why this ninja many times quietly into the hotel to kill. I took my mind back and looked closely at the reward table. 2 key messages were obtained from this. One is that this ninja definitely didn't come alone. If you want to find me and the serpent accurately, Maru's residence was not discovered by the 2. You can't do it without a strong intelligence network. And the second is that this organization is likely. After all, there's no organization can be willing to give up a bear on, so it seems. The seemingly easy task of staying behind is full of danger. I touched my chin and said to myself, and judging from the reward, the probability that this organization is Yinin Village is very high. After all, so many slow ninjas broke out. I didn't worry about the LQ reward when I thought about it. Instead, they immediately fortified the defense trap. After perfecting the trap in the room, only then did I begin to choose the reward. I chose to crack the soil and turn my palm to camouflage. The medium range enhancement award for physical fitness has been issued. With a cold sound of the system, a familiar pain surged through my body once again. It was already the dead of night. I watched the unconscious Nakajima warily. Then, I simultaneously activated my simple stage mode. I remained on high alert, scanning the surroundings. I could faintly hear the sound of fight not far from here. It must have been Deshiwan and Mitsufian leading a team to hunt down the thief. But right then, something unexpected happened. I clearly sensed 5 figures abruptly enter my perception range. An enemy attack. Thinking this, I quickly assumed a defensive stance. The intruders knew they had been discovered. Yet, they weren't in a hurry to act. I saw 4 of them swiftly move to the 4 corners of the inn. They shouted in unison, Earth style, Earth core. Then, their chakra poured out like a waterfall. The entire inn began to sink, along with the surrounding ground. I felt the world turn upside down, struggling to keep my balance. But when I looked out the window, I saw the whole inn completely surrounded by earth. A rough observation told me the ground had sunk to a depth I couldn't easily escape from. On top of that, 4 ninja were guarding above. I couldn't leave without defeating them. But just then, a 5th ninja suddenly appeared in my perception. He was searching the inn meticulously. Soon, he pinpointed my location. The intruder violently kicked my room's door off its hinges. However, the next second, a flash of fire and an explosion rocked the sky. I glanced at the doorway. Turns out, I had placed 50 explosive tags there. That arrogant jonin had both his legs blown off. burned all over. He lay on the ground, barely alive. But I had no intention of taking prisoners. Guarding a jonin was already my limit. I quickly performed a head pat. Then, I ended his life with a kunai. Without a moment's hesitation, to prepare for the coming battle, I decided to grow stronger through combat. After quickly reviewing the head pat rewards, I chose a slight physical enhancement and 2 ninjutsu. As the rewards were swiftly granted, I felt my strength increase a bit more. But I didn't let my guard down. I knew the real, brutal fight was just beginning. Meanwhile, the 4 jonin, guarding above since their comrade's death. Without another word, they quickly leaped down. I too decisively left the inn-room. I moved Nakajima to an open space on the street outside. At this moment, the 4 players fell quickly in front of me. I put on a fighting posture, and I looked at the 4 in front of me. Heart suddenly alarmed. I saw these operators were all dressed in a unified rock system. Show a silent expression to keep Nakajima behind. I know a war is on the verge of breaking out without the slightest hesitation. For names of Yin went straight to me. Can look at their own and rock endurance distance constantly closer. I did not panic. A special handle of excellent bitter no moment appeared in my. I saw my right arm with a wave of strength. That handle is as bitter as lightning. The 4 men flew towards the rock. But my purpose is more than that. I saw my hands fast. With one I've had since crossing. But I have never dared to use ninjutsu. The sword shadow in my hand. I saw the original lonely bitterness change 10 in an instant. 10 changes, 100 changes, 1,000. The pain of black pressure is like a steel waterfall rain rushing to 4. And Rocket Bear completely did not think, although they have attached great importance. But I still didn't expect this teenager in front of me. Actually from the beginning revealed such a strong, solid rock. But at this time I also is not good. The instant use of chakra consumes so much patience. Let me know more to check. Carrot once again released other ninjutsu, but this sky of bitterness. It's enough for this group to endure a pot of drinking. Faced with this situation, the 4 people exchanged their eyes instantly. Then the rapid seal, Earth done, Earth flow city wall. Despite the release of large-scale geodynamic nuclei, but they still have enough. I saw a wall dozens of times larger than an ordinary Earth flow wall. Rising fast in front of 4 people will stop all the suffering. Looking at the bitterness deeply embedded in the Earth wall, there was a chill in the hearts of the 4 men. They had to solve their opponents quickly, but they don't know the bitterness of these embedded Earth walls. I'll have my flying Thor mark. At this time has been lingering in the crowd. The sound of fighting in perception gradually stops, I understand. The mission of Bishiwan and 3 ships is coming to an end, and the expressions of the 4 players have become particularly dignified. For a quick fight, they quickly printed and clapped their hands to the ground. With the last chakra, unreserved, pouring into the earth in front. Earth done crack earth turned palm voice just fell. I instantly felt the ground under my feet, as if it had lived for a while. It started shaking violently. I couldn't be reckless. Immediately channeled chakra, flying thunder, god technique activated. With a flash of crimson light, the ground beneath my feet instantly compressed inwards. It crushed and sliced everything within range like a meat grinder. Feeling the intense D from the earth-splitting palm, the 4 rock ninja slowly let out a sigh of relief. They didn't believe anyone could survive such a fierce attack. But reality often defies expectations. With the hum of a blade being drawn, the massive earth wall that gave the rock ninja endless security was suddenly slashed with a huge gash, accompanied by a thunderous roar. The huge earth wall was cleaved clean in 2. A figure slowly walked through. I was holding a flying thunder god kunai in my left hand, and a ninja sword reflecting a crimson glow in my right. Seeing the endless killing intent and coldness on my face, the lead rock ninja's face turned ashen. He couldn't understand. Facing such a massive, earth-splitting palm, even a jonin would surely perish. So how could this kid appear before him completely unscathed and still have the strength to slash the earth wall? But his years of mission experience told him. Don't ask why, ask how. So he quickly assessed the situation. Execute plan C. As he finished speaking, the 3 jonin drew kunai. They prepared for close combat, charging at me fast. We engaged in a fierce clash. I knew in my heart, even though my body had been constantly strengthened, facing 3 jonin at once would still be tough. But with the Hitaki sword styles boost, things will be different. I tightened my grip on the flame. The essence of the Hitaki style flashed in my mind. With each step, an enemy fell. Amidst the clang of metal, I severed the last enemy's neck. But right then, I suddenly snapped back to reality. Wait, why only 3 jonin? I whipped my head around. I saw the rock ninja captain using the precious time his teammates bought him. Had already reached Nakajima. Facing his former comrade, he thrust a cold kunai with force, intending to silence him, to prevent intel leaks. Not on my watch. I frantically circulated chakra. And then, the flying thunder god mark. I left on Nakajima earlier proved its worth again. The rock captain's head was severed with 1 slash. But I couldn't feel any joy, because at that moment, Nakajima's body slowly collapsed too. At the last moment, I managed to behead the rock ninja captain. But his kunai still struck true. Now I stood alone on the empty ground outside the inn. Then, Deshiwan's mocking voice suddenly echoed from above the pit. Oh, such a fierce battle. Beside him stood the stern Mifune. Neither was in bad shape, but both were covered in dust and enemy blood, leaving the samurai to handle the scene in a deserted corner. Mifune, Deshiwan, and I exchanged silent glances. Who do you think sent these ambushers? Mifune broke the silence first. I believe the rock ninja. Their attire and jutsu are very similar. The system backs this up. I stated firmly. Deshiwan nodded in agreement. Mr. Mifune and I thought the same first. But when we reached their hideout, it was set up too much like a rock ninja base. Mifune continued. Yet if rock ninja were to ambush, why not disguise themselves? That question stumped me. It sounded like, you predicted my prediction of your prediction. A real tongue twister. The key is what level these ambushers are playing at. Deshiwan spoke calmly. I reviewed their intel. It only covers what's already common knowledge among the major ninja villages. More like a disguised rock base. We pondered a bit longer, and realized that without new intel, this is an unsolvable puzzle. So Mifune said, regardless, it's my responsibility you were attacked in the Land of Iron. I'll send a written report to Konoha. Deshiwan nodded, approving the approach. The matter was temporarily settled. In the following days, Deshiwan and I rested well in the Land of Iron. Soon, 3 days later, the ferry, halted due to weather, resumed service. It was time for Deshiwan and me to leave. But just as we were about to board, Deshiwan subtly tapped my shoulder and whispered, 3 o'clock and 7 o'clock. I discreetly glanced in those directions, and indeed spotted 2 groups. The moment I looked their way, they noticed me too. Clearly, our identities were already exposed. Their trouble, Li Huo murmured. Deshiwan replied coolly, we'll handle it as it comes. a fairy carrying many powerful figures slowly departed. Facing the turbulent sea before him, Li Hua had no idea what awaited him.
Deshiwan sent an urgent situation report.
The attackers' identities are unknown. Yuan Fei Rijan carefully analyzed the intel from 3 ships. An idea struck him.
It seems everyone in the ninja world knows about Deshiwan.
Why did the 3rd Hokage immediately summon Danzo? Then, in Hokage's office,
Yuan Fei Rijan and Danzo had a fierce argument.
Old fool, my people are right under your nose. You accuse me of harming us.
Then tell me why classified village information
Is known throughout the ninja world. What's it got to do with me? Danzo stiffened his neck, weakly defended himself. After all, they were friends for years. As for Danzo's little schemes, Yuan Fei Rijan saw right through them. Still not giving up. From today, Root's budget is cut by another 10%, and 10% staff reduction. You'll regret this, Hokage.
with that signature ending.
They parted ways once again in discord. Meanwhile, in Iwabikure, Inoki sat behind his desk, listening to his subordinate's mission report. Unbelievable.
An entire Umbu squad was wiped out. Inoki, mourned the fallen Iwanin. Reportedly,
The 3rd Hokage was furious upon learning this, and immediately summoned Danzo. Hearing this, Inoki's mood instantly improved. That monkey, Yuan Fei Rijan, is quite capable. Found a mastermind behind this, didn't we? Konoha's mole is best caught by Konoha's own people. Indeed, this was Inoki's blatant open scheme. Through spies, he learned Li Hua had changed course to the Land of Iron. Inoki dispatched an Umbu squad in advance to create chaos in the capital,
forcing Mifune to intervene personally, then openly stealing. Inoki knew unmarked attackers were hardest to trace.
Mifune, unable to determine the truth, would inevitably report to the 3rd Hokage, and once suspicion was planted in the Hokage's mind,
He could effortlessly let the mysterious violent organization that dares assassinate geniuses
coil like a venomous snake around the hearts of Konoha's villagers. Then,
it would surely impact Konoha's public opinion.
things unfolded exactly as Inoki predicted. In the following days, news of Deshiwan and Li Hua's ambush spread like wildfire in Konoha. Some rumors even pointed directly at Danzo, claiming he masterminded and planned the ambush, although the villagers were unaware of the Root's existence.
Many noble clans knew it all too well. Led by the Uchiha clan, even the Hitaki clan, which had always supported the Hokage.
And the Inoshikacho trio did not stand firmly with Hokage this time. The entire Leaf village was shrouded in a shadow of suspicion and mistrust. In the end, the 3rd Hokage had no choice but to step forward personally, clarify the matter, and announce a thorough investigation into the mole. Once again, Root power was diminished.
Clearly, Onoki's plan had achieved the desired effect.
However, Onoki did not intend to take further action because he knew his actions had completely enraged the old lion of the Leaf. If he schemed to harm them further, it might bring immense trouble to the Hidden Stone. Onoki, chuckled while handling documents. Better quit while you're ahead. Besides, the methods of other hidden villages haven't even been used yet. The sea was rough, a ferry cutting through the waves, sailing toward the land of water. Ugh, a retching sound caught everyone's attention. Liu's face was pale, his steps unsteady and weak. If not for Deshiwan supporting him by the side, he would have likely collapsed right on the deck. Oof. From the cloud camp, a tall, burly man snorted coldly, as if mocking Li Hua's pitiful state. With skills like that, you should just go home to your mommy. Hearing this, Deshiwan looked up at the burly man. His eyes narrowed slightly, a hint of coldness flickering within. Then he lowered his head to look at Li Hua. At this moment, Li Hua was holding onto the railing, gazing at the turbulent sea. His expression was impassive, as if he hadn't heard the taunt at all. Apologies to you both. A rough voice boomed like thunder. It was the young man in cloud uniform. Without any hesitation,
He bowed. I apologize for my earlier behavior, ignoring them.
Li Hua and Deshiwan sat on the deck, quietly resting, standing up straight. Ting Lei and exchanged a glance. In their originally fierce eyes, a sly glint actually appeared. Because from the incident just now, they had already obtained the information they wanted. First, relation was massive. This can be seen from Deshiwan's various actions. Second, Uchiha Li Hua's temperament far surpassed that of his peers.
This will play a crucial role. The people of the Hidden Cloud Village
May seem rough and simple, but if you take them for fools, you'll pay a heavy price. As the ferry continued its voyage, an island became faintly visible. Could this be the land of water? Li Hua asked. Have we arrived after just a few days of sailing? She was about to enlighten his disciple when the captain came out and said to everyone, honored guests, we rest and slide in hot water for 3 days. During these 3 days, everyone can make their own arrangements. In 3 days, we set sail on time. So we've reached the land of hot water. Deshiwan continued. Hot water means hot springs. It refers to bathhouses, as the name suggests. Here, the land of hot water is a nation of hot springs. And its hidden hot water village, due to its pacifist stance, is also called the village that forgot war. In short,
a few words sparked Li Hua's growing curiosity.
As the ferry slowly docked, Li Hua and the others stepped onto the land of hot water. Upon entering the capital, Li Hua felt the rising steam. It was a climate completely different from the land of iron. Strolling with Deshiwan, they experienced the unique local customs. As dusk fell, they looked for an inn. Li Hua and Deshiwan chose to soak in the hot springs first.
Deshiwan specifically chose a private spring
for a better experience, feeling the night market of the land of hot water. Deshiwan said leisurely, Little Li, do you know what secret the land of hot water hides? With that, a gleam flashed in Deshiwan's eyes. Meanwhile, in an izakaya, the group of men in black were discussing something with AI. Chapter 51, The Jashin Cult. The schemes of Suna and Kimo. In a hot spring, amidst the noisy crowd outside, only Li Hua
heard Deshiwan's whisper.
Seeing the gleam in Deshiwan's eyes,
he said, this is what I learned during the Second Great Ninja War.
Reports say a small faction has emerged in the land of hot water, using religion as a cover for killing. Deshiwan's expression was calm, though speaking of bloody matters.
For a seasoned ninja,
it was routine. Due to the numerous wars, there was no time to deal with it. But later, I heard this organization was researching. At this point, Deshiwan couldn't hide his excitement. He lit his lips. You see, the human body is the most fragile thing. I've devoted all my energy to learning every ninjutsu in the world, all to develop an immortality technique.
Li Hua nodded.
Deshiwan's grand ambition, whether in his past life or now. Lihua understood. So, teacher, you mean? Deshiwan continued. Originally, I didn't believe it. In recent years, more and more intel suggests that the land of hot water.
Since we're here now,
Why not? Lihua understood Deshiwan's meaning, and he knew even more clearly than Deshiwan the origin of this immortality. But he played dumb. Teacher, this organization's name is the Jashin Cult. Meanwhile,
in a bustling corner of the city, a crowded izakaya. Yet within this ordinary scene,
a startling sight unfolds. A group of burly, dark-faced men sit with figures in black cloaks and masks.
a jarring combination.
It begs the question, you called us here, yet you hide your faces. What is your purpose? At the table, Ting lays patience snaps. He demands impatiently. His gruff voice rumbles like thunder, echoing in everyone's hearts. Facing his question, the mysterious figure across nods slightly. Then, without hesitation, he raises his right hand and removes the black mask and cloak. Revealed are uniforms of Sunagakure shinobi, complete with headbands.
No doubt, these intruders hail from the Sand Village.
AI's face darkens, a fierce glint in his eyes. He snarls, you went to such lengths to find me. What for? Unexpectedly,
Since removing his mask,
the student captain has fallen silent, as if mute. He simply picks up his cup and takes a quiet sip of sake.
suddenly, a dazzling bolt of lightning erupts,
Crackling arcs of electricity snake forth rapidly, leaving charred marks in their wake.
Seeing this,
The student ninja finally sets his cup down. This display, fierce as it seems, is actually within both sides' control. The Cloud Ninja understand. The Sand arranged this meeting to discuss cooperation. Whether Ting lays in patience, or AI's lightning release, it's all to test the Sand's resolve.
to gauge their intent, we wish to propose an alliance. The Suna captain
Finally opens his lips, uttering a low voice. The goal of this cooperation is to utterly erase Deshiwan and Yuji Bolihua. Hearing this, AI is momentarily taken aback. He hadn't anticipated the Sand Ninja would be so direct in stating their aim. But since the other side is blunt, AI drops the pretense as well. He asks, equally forthright, what's it for us?
The answer comes without hesitation, to severely weaken Konoha.
Isn't that enough?
AI shakes his head firmly. No, Konoha.
Possesses formidable power. Provoking such a strong opponent recklessly would likely bring more harm than good to Kimobikure. Having said this, AI quietly watches the Suna captain, awaiting his further response. Farewell. The Sand Ninja captain's face darkened as he stood up, making as if to leave. But surprisingly, AI made no move to stop him at all. Instead, he sat there leisurely, looking utterly confident. As the Sand Ninja was about to leave, the situation seemed to be at a deadlock. Just then, the Sand captain suddenly stopped. Hesitating for a moment, he turned back and returned to his seat. Gnashing his teeth, he said, fine, we can consider accepting your terms. At these words, a flicker passed through AI's previously calm eyes.
You've really gone all out, AI said. Discuss the terms.
With a professional. With that, from behind AI emerged a pale-skinned, blonde-haired youth, standing out among these burly dark men. Clearly a sensory ninja. AI continued.
My condition is just one.
Only Yuji Bolihua. The reason is simple. Deshiwan is too powerful. His status too high. Assassinating him rashly has consequences they can't bear. Clearly, the Sand Captain understood this too. He decisively said deal. Subsequently, the Cloud and Sand Ninja formed a temporary alliance. Their target, Konoha's most talented ninja. Midnight, all was silent. Outside the capital of the land of hot water, a dense forest was shrouded in darkness, appearing eerie and mysterious. Suddenly, two shadowy figures darted through the woods like phantoms, stirring a faint rustle of wind. Lihua,
Who had just ended his hot spring trip, and his teacher.
Deshiwan. Lihua closely followed Deshiwan's footsteps, his heart filled with doubt. Sensei, are you really sure you know the Jashin cult's hideout? Deshiwan glanced back at Lihua without turning his head. He replied flatly, no, I don't. Hearing this answer, Lihua stumbled underfoot, tripping over a branch lying across the path and falling down. Clambering to his feet awkwardly, he asked somewhat angrily, you don't know, and yet you dragged me out in the dead of night like a headless fly. Deshiwan stopped walking. Spreading his hands, he said, if we just stay in the capital, we'll never find the Jashin cult's hideout. Hearing this, although Lihua was still dissatisfied, he understood Deshiwan's point had some merit. So, he brushed the dust off his clothes and continued following Deshiwan. After a long journey, the sky gradually began to brighten. They arrived at a village far from the capital, watching the wisps of cooking smoke rising from the village. A slight smile appeared at the corner of Deshiwan's mouth. A faint, almost imperceptible smile crossed his face as he whispered, let's go into the village and ask around for information. Maybe we can find the news we're looking for here. With that, he strode toward the village. Seeing this, Lihua quickly followed behind. Little did they know, back in the capital, Konoha and Sand Shinobi are frantically searching for the two of them. AI, what's your plan?
Deshiwan won't just let you kill him easily.
The Sand Shinobi captain snorted coldly. It won't be that easy. All God Shinobi need to do is lure Deshiwan to the designated location. Chapter 52, Investigation of the Evil God Cult. Just as Lihua and Deshiwan got close to that seemingly peaceful village, they both keenly sensed something was off. Lihua spotted two fully armed men standing at the village entrance. They wore crude armor, and great sharp broadswords tightly in their hands, looking like they could jump into battle at any moment. Not only that, all kinds of weapons were neatly arranged at the village entrance. These weapons glinted with cold light, exuding an eerie, chilling aura. Looking further into the village, the curling smoke they saw earlier didn't just rise from the chimneys of ordinary villagers' homes. Even the blacksmith shop was shrouded in thick smoke. Think about it. How could an ordinary village have so many weapons? And the blacksmith shop is this busy? This is really far too abnormal. Even though Lihua and his companion have seen countless kunai, shuriken, and other weapons in their day-to-day lives,
They were still incredibly shocked.
that this tiny little village could hold so many weapons. Liu clicked his tongue. This village really is brimming with martial preparedness. I wonder what exactly is hiding inside it. Meanwhile, Deshuan beside him remained exceptionally calm, his deep, dark eyes fixed on the village ahead, as if he had already seen through the trickery hidden within. Deshuan spoke calmly. We only have a short amount of time. We can't afford to waste too much energy here. Since the situation is unclear, we have a choice to go in and investigate ourselves. Hearing this, Liu quickly turned to look at Deshuan. Their eyes met. In an instant, they both understood what the other was thinking. At that moment, Liu took a deep breath, and every muscle in his body tensed up, like a fully drawn bow, ready to strike at any moment. He stared intently ahead, waiting for Deshuan's order to charge into the village with overwhelming force.
Deshuan's cold, sinister eyes flickered slightly.
He quickly wove hand seals, and the chakra around his body surged rapidly, as a powerful wave of chakra rippled out. Every villager in the village saw a blank expanse at the same moment. Everyone instantly fell into a deep slumber, collapsing to the ground as if consciousness had left them.
Nirvana Temple Technique. Liu's eyes suddenly sharpened.
Deshuan's heart-stopping, powerful aura.
Deshuan's heart-stopping, powerful aura. He knew Li Hua was also a master of the Nirvana Temple Technique, but the move he just unleashed was truly terrifying and formidable. It requires an immense amount of chakra as a foundation,
and demands superhuman precision in chakra control.
Yet, Deshuan wielded this technique with such mastery,
effortlessly, as if everything was under his control, truly worthy of the Sannin title. But to think, Liu's figure moved like a ghost, darting through every corner of the village. His sharp gaze swept the surroundings like a hawk's. Not a single house, not a single corner escaped his notice. Finally, at the edge of the village, before an ancient shrine, Liu was stopped. The shrine looked old, devoid of any human presence. But it wasn't dusty. Clearly someone entered often. Li Hua, however, sensed keenly that something unknown seemed to be hidden within.
He cautiously pushed open the heavy door,
stepping inside the shrine. Yet the interior seemed completely normal. After a thorough search, he found a seemingly ordinary floor tile, and beneath it, following the stairs beneath the hidden door, Li Hua arrived at a concealed basement.
The basement reeked of decay and malevolence.
Its walls were covered in grotesque, terrifying masks and diagrams. In the center of the basement stood a massive stone altar, carved with strange runes and patterns, clearly a place for the Jashin cult's secret rituals. And piled around the altar were mountains of heretical scriptures.
Gently, he opened the thick Jashin cult documents.
Reading carefully, he discovered with shock, although the Jashin cult at this time had not yet successfully created a true immortal body like Titans, various signs indicated they were delving into this field,
even making some progress.
What was more shocking was the Jashin cult's reach. It had infiltrated even the remote villages far from the land of Hot Water's capital. These villages, once peaceful and harmonious, where villagers lived tranquil lives,
were now shrouded in the cult's shadow.
Some, under the cult's corrupting influence, had gradually lost themselves, and thus horrific, brutal killings began to occur one after another on this once peaceful land.
The shocking reality was,
a small war has quietly broken out between the villages.
The reason this village is so heavily armed and on high alert is precisely because of this.
After getting the information he wanted, Li Hua immediately pulled a sealing scroll from his ninja pouch.
He channeled chakra, sealing the useful data. Suddenly, a commotion erupted at the village entrance.
His heart sank. This is bad, he thought. He quickly leaped onto a roof to look toward the gate. A group of men with ferocious faces
and wild expressions had appeared.
Each one tightly gripped a massive steel. The sharp blades gleamed with a chilling cold. They shouted at Deshuan without any restraint, unaware their death was near. Seeing this, Li Hua's heart tightened. He rushed toward the village at top speed.
He stared coldly at these arrogant fools. Yet, Deshuan wasn't angered by their rudeness.
Instead, the corner of his mouth lifted slightly, revealing an inscrutable, playful smile. What are you smiling at? If you dare harm a follower of Lord Jashin,
you will die.
The leader, still ignorant of the danger, threatened. But when Deshuan heard the name Lord Jashin, his eyes suddenly lit up.
After searching for so long,
he had finally found a lead on the Jashin cult.
The group standing before him now
was exactly the target he'd been seeking. Just then, Li Hua ran up, panting heavily, and quickly relayed the crucial information he had obtained. Deshuan listened then, nodded slightly, indicating he understood. He then slowly raised his head, his gaze falling once more on the Jashin captain, who was still ranting and raving. In a tone so flat, it was almost devoid of emotion, he said, "We have long held reverence for Lord Jashin.
We came here hoping to join the Jashin cult."
The Jashin followers noticed the confusion and surprise in their disciples' eyes.
Since the village yielded no useful clues,
we might as well go to their lair and investigate.
It was just another ordinary adventure.
Li Hua was inwardly amazed by his teacher's courage and audacity. This bold, high-skill style truly inspired him, leaving him momentarily speechless. However, the Jashin cult captain, he's no fool. His sharp eyes are fixed on Li Hua and Deshuan. A vicious look crosses his face as he coldly demands,
"You claim to want to join the evil god cult. So why did you knock out my followers?"
Hearing this, Li Hua quickly tries to smooth things over.
"We didn't know they were followers of the evil god." "Boss, in my opinion,
these two are not to be trusted." The leader nods slightly, agreeing with his subordinate view. Li Hua and Deshuan, Of course, hear every word of his muttering. Tensions rise sharply between the two sides, and a fierce battle seems imminent. But then, unexpectedly, the captain says, "I agree." Everyone freezes in place. The captain then grins menacingly, but he must leave a drop of blood. Chapter 53, The Life Link Technique. The Cloud Ninjas move. Hearing this, Li Hua immediately raises a hand, stopping Deshiwan from stepping forward. His expression instantly turns grave, as if sensing the secret about to be revealed is no small matter. Seeing this, Deshiwan notices his disciple's unusual reaction. His eyes flicker as he ponders to himself. What secret does this drop of blood hold that could make the usually calm Li Hua look so? Though Deshiwan has seen countless ninjutsu and secrets, and is widely knowledgeable, he too feels puzzled and confused by the evil god cult's demand. Frowning, he wonders what technique do those cultists plan to use with this blood? Li Hua lowers his voice, speaking in a whisper only Deshiwan can hear, and slowly explains. The technique is called deadly mimicry. The primary condition for casting it is to obtain a single drop of the opponent's blood. Li Hua's voice is low. Then, the caster must lick the blood, establishing a strange connection with the opponent. This way, when the opponent attacks, if the caster can quickly step into a pre-drawn magic circle, they can unleash the terrifying power of deadly mimicry, transferring all damage they receive, whether ninjutsu or physical, back onto the opponent. Pausing slightly, Li Hua adds, but there's one crucial point. The spell's effect only applies to damage received after entering the circle. If the body is injured before stepping in, even if you enter the circle later, it will have no effect on the opponent. Hearing this, Shamaru looked deeply at the gloomy figure from the evil god cult, immediately understanding that once this drop of blood was handed over, it meant the enemy would possess a means to take their lives at any moment. And the evil god cult's squad leader, his face shrouded in gloom, now flickered with a chilling, sinister light. Slowly, he drew two long iron spikes from his sleeve, his tone icy as frost. "Behave. I'm taking a liking to your talents. I'll take you both back to headquarters. Place a drop of your blood on these spikes. Otherwise, forget about coming with me." Faced with this sudden threat, the Shamaru fell silent for a moment, seeming to weigh the pros and cons, the risks. After a short while, he raised his head and stepped forward, extending his pale hands. Without hesitation, he let a drop of his own blood fall onto the cold iron spike. Returning, he said calmly to Li Hua, "This technique seems powerful, but in reality, with sufficient vigilance, it poses no real threat." Li Hua pondered these words carefully in his heart, gradually freeing himself from the near-invincible image of Fei Duan from the original story. He realized the current evil god cult followers did not possess immortality. Therefore, when using death mimicry, they would surely avoid vital areas, lest they suffer the same injury themselves. Moreover, given to Shamaru's strength and cunning, successfully performing this technique in front of him would be incredibly difficult. Thinking this, Li Hua hesitated no longer. Resolutely, he stepped forward and let a drop of his own blood fall onto the cold iron spike as well. They had assumed the squad leader would lead everyone back to the evil god cult headquarters, but they hadn't expected his extreme caution. Not only did he leave 3 followers behind as a backup plan, he also cleverly utilized the nature of death mimicry to construct a life-for-information communication system. The leader had 2 of them draw the death mimicry seal at the village entrance, then took Li Hua into Shamaru's blood and stepped into the array. Instantly, a black and white pattern covered their bodies, as if marked by some mysterious power. Seeing this, Li Hua was about to intervene, but the leader stopped him with a look. The leader calmly took a drop of the 3rd follower's blood and placed it on his own iron spike. At that moment, Li Hua and Shamaru instantly understood the leader's scheme. If the leader met with misfortune on the road, he only needed to draw the array in time, and they would die through the death mimicry link with the leader. Seeing their companion die, the other 2 followers would then, he would immediately choose to end his own life, to kill Li Hua and Deshiwan. Li Hua and Deshiwan exchanged a glance. It's more complex and difficult than they anticipated, but the captain's plan is ultimately full of holes. First, he made a fatal mistake. He exposed the general location of the evil god cult's lair, because the dead soul possession technique fails if they're too far from the lair. So, from the moment they planned it, they revealed their most crucial piece of information. This undoubtedly became the plan's biggest flaw. Secondly, the captain overlooked something even more critical. His opponents are 2 battle-hardened ninjas. Li Hua silently drops his own wallet on the ground, then uses picking it up as cover to cleverly place a flying thunder god mark on the ground. The moment the captain announces their return to headquarters, a sly glint flashes in Li Hua and Deshiwan's eyes. Shortly after everyone sets off, they use shadow clone jutsu to slip unnoticed deep into the jungle, returning to the previous village. Those shadow clones act as their eyes and ears, constantly monitoring the surroundings. At the slightest disturbance, they'll immediately act to protect the original bodies. As Li Hua and Deshiwan close in on the evil god cult's headquarters, a crisis is quietly brewing. The Cloud and Sand ninjas in the capital have finally discovered traces of the 2. When Li Hua and Deshiwan hastily left the capital, they tried to erase their tracks with shadow clones, but due to the urgency, those traces weren't completely wiped. Finally, an incomplete footprint, like a faint signal, guides the Cloud and Sand ninjas to their trail. AI stares at the half-obscured footprint before him. In this desolate wilderness, this half-footprint is undoubtedly the most crucial clue. After them, orders, the Cloud and Sand ninjas spring into action, chasing after Li Hua and Deshiwan's trail. Chapter 54, Mutation. The evil god cult members seem completely unconcerned about the duo, escaping or memorizing the route. They swagger, commanding them to head towards their headquarters, not even bothering with blindfolds. Li Hua thinks to himself, just as he suspected earlier, the headquarters of this mysterious cult isn't far from the village. Before long, the group passes through the dense jungle, and a massive, ancient tree appears before them. The ancient tree towers into the clouds, its trunk astonishingly thick. Even a dozen Li Hua holding hands could hardly encircle it. At that moment, the captain calmly drew a sharp, gleaming dagger from his waist. Then, without hesitation, he slashed his own wrist. Instantly, blood gushed forth like a breached dam. The crimson liquid flowed ceaselessly, dripping, splashing onto the ancient tree's roots. Something astonishing happened. As the blood continued to fall, the center of the ancient tree began to grow ethereal. Slowly, a faint, flickering silhouette appeared before everyone. It was a staircase extending infinitely downwards. This stone staircase was so long its end was unseen, and its width was extremely limited, barely wide enough for one person to squeeze through. From that mysterious entrance, a constant, chilling aura emanated, a bone-piercingly cold breath, along with a strong, pungent smell of blood. Yet, facing such a bizarre and terrifying scene, all the cultists present remained exceptionally calm, as if this sight was commonplace to them. Each wore an expressionless, accustomed look. "Let's go," the captain said coldly, turning his head. After a glance at those behind, he led the way onto the dark, profound stone steps. Li Hua and the others didn't hesitate either, descending one by one, though. Before going down, Li Hua touched the ancient tree's trunk once more. Thump, thump, thump. Li was flying thunder god mark, was silently placed on the trunk once again. The cultists weren't as Li Hua imagined. Upon entering the staircase, they arranged themselves as followers. Li Hua, follower to Shiwan, were constantly surrounded by cultists. As Li Hua carefully descended step by step, the surrounding light seemed pulled away by an invisible hand, gradually vanishing without a trace. Moreover, the stone steps underfoot were highly irregular, uneven and narrow. For first-time visitors, this was undoubtedly a severe trial. A slight misstep could trip one on the abrupt steps. Knowing this seemingly trivial layout was, in reality, the cult's design. The purpose of this line of defense is to prevent outsiders from easily breaking in. Although this defensive method is cheap and simple in principle, it is surprisingly effective. The deeper you go, the chill continuously assails from all sides. The temperature keeps dropping. The cold seems to penetrate the skin, reaching the bones, making one shiver. Time passes quietly in this long, silent descent. After who knows how long, a faint light finally appears ahead. After completely walking down this rugged stone staircase, he and Shiwan finally step into a spacious, vast chamber. However, when they see the full view of the stone room, a wave of disappointment wells up in their hearts, because they know this is not the true high command of the evil god cult. The setup here is quite crude. In the center of the stone room stands a massive stone throne. But this throne is not of the usual design. It is formed by stacking weapons into the shape of a throne. This throne is enormous. A single glance tells you it was not meant for humans. And on either side of the throne are neatly arranged rows of ordinary stone stools. These stone stools are what the evil god cult followers truly use daily. Apart from those two types of objects, everything else is piled up haphazardly in the corners of the stone room. Looking around, you can see all sorts of items already covered in rust. Some blades are curled, some handles are broken, and there are scrolls not yet rolled up, spread open carelessly as if hastily abandoned. And those tattered books, missing pages, leaning against the wall, or half buried under clutter. In short, besides these things, there is nothing else worth mentioning. Seeing this scene, Dishawan and Li Hua can't help but exchange a glance. The moment their eyes meet, they catch a glimpse of a hard-to-conceal disappointment in the other's eyes. They were originally full of anticipation, having gone through countless hardships to find this place, thinking they would make a major discovery. It's just a small to medium-sized outpost. That's all. At that moment, the captain walks over. "This is our headquarters," he says. He also points to the uniquely shaped throne in the center of the stone room. "It was specially made for the evil god," the captain says proudly. Dishiwan asks some more details about this small outpost. "This outpost only has a few people you see here, and there are monthly many documents from the village." The captain continues, completely unaware that the air around is gradually growing colder. "I guess you've asked all you wanted to ask, right?" Finally, the captain stopped talking. He turned to look at Dishiwan. A hint of cunning flashed in his eyes. At the same time, his right hand behind his back made a subtle movement. He discreetly gave a signal. Several hidden cultists of the evil god cult, upon receiving the signal, emerged silently from the shadows like ghosts, slowly surrounding them. Then, something unexpected happened. Blood suddenly began to flow again from the captain's barely healed wrist. Yet, his face remained completely expressionless. He didn't even flinch. It was as if the injury wasn't his own. He quickly crouched down. Without hesitation, he smeared his flowing blood on the ground. His movements were skilled and fluid. In an instant, a strange and complex blood pattern appeared. It was a ritual array for the dead demon consuming seal. Immediately, a powerful and evil chakra erupted from the array, instantly enveloping the captain's entire body. His skin rapidly turned black under the chakra's corrosion. "It is time for you two to worship the great evil god, and officially become true believers of the evil god." The captain looked up, a trace of madness in his gaze. Meanwhile, elsewhere, after a long journey, the Cloud and Sand ninjas finally reached the previous village. As they approached, their sharp senses quickly detected something amiss. 3 figures with strange auras from the evil god cult were at the village entrance. What surprised them even more was that they also sensed, deep within the forest, the presence of the Shiwan and the shadow clones in there. AI instantly assessed the situation. Judging by their position and hostility, it was clear these people were connected to Li Hua and to Shiwan. If they were allies or unrelated, they wouldn't be positioned there so defensively. Li Hua used chakra to create shadow clones to monitor them in secret. This meant the cultists must hold something very important to Li Hua and to Shiwan. However, with only these 2 pieces of limited information, accurately judging the complex situation before them was far from easy. As everyone pondered, AI decisively said, "Since then just destroy those shadow clones directly. That way, the tongue users will definitely come to deal with this side. Hearing AI's words, the Suna ninjas were slightly stunned at first, but after a brief thought, they realized there was indeed no better alternative, so they all nodded in agreement with AI's decision. However, the Suna leader seemed to have noticed something. After exchanging a few words with AI alone, he led the Suna ninjas away in a body flicker.
Li Hua suddenly sensed the death of his shadow clones.
He raised his hand slightly, stopping Dash, who also wanted to act, signaling an unexpected change. Chapter 55, Separated Battlefield. Their respective battles. A faint trace of suspicion arose in Dashawan's heart, but this doubt didn't make him stop. Ignoring the threatening gaze of the evil god called Captain, he walked straight towards Li Hua. Upon approaching, Dashuan asked what had happened. Li Hua's expression was unusually grave. He quickly relayed the information from his shadow clones to Dash. From the current situation, it's most likely that the Cloud or Sand ninjas found the villages. However, my shadow clones were instantly defeated before they could see the specifics of the ambush. They were instantly defeated by the opponent.
He did not show excessive panic.
On the contrary, he calmly continued asking for more key details. So, what is my shadow clone doing right now? Li Hua thought for a moment, then replied, it seems to have successfully attracted and pinned down a portion. As he spoke, a flash of recollection flickered in his eyes. Hearing this, Dashuan nodded calmly, indicating that, in that case, the situation hasn't deteriorated to a point beyond salvage. Yet, the moment his words fell, his expression suddenly turned extremely serious.
With a loud bang, a huge gap was blasted open.
It must be known that this stone chamber was originally buried deep underground, with only one passageway formed by ancient trees for access. The current situation is truly shocking. With the tremendous noise, countless dust particles spread, obscuring everyone's vision. In this critical moment,
beside him, Dashawan's entire body tensed instantly.
Then the whole person vanished without a trace. Seeing this, Li Hua immediately understood. In such a dire emergency, they couldn't just wait passively. They must act swiftly to have a chance of survival. During the past year of rigorous training, Li Hua and Dashuan had developed excellent teamwork. Simple Sage Mode, activate. Li Hua uttered softly. Then a powerful surge of natural energy flooded into his body.
A cult that posed a great threat to his life. He moved like a ghost, charging at those cultists.
His blade gleamed coldly. Each swing cut through the air with a sharp whistle.
The sickening sound of steel piercing flesh. These cultists, once fierce and menacing,
their lives were now being reaped.
Blood sprayed, screams echoed.
Yet, the Shuan on the other side remained still. Despite this, Li Hua dared not relax. He focused completely, straining to sense through the swirling dust for any other hidden threats.
He knew, right now, his only choice
was to complete this crucial task with all his might. That was the best plan, but who could have known?
Just as Li Hua cleanly finished the last cultist, a powerful force suddenly slashed through his. Blood gushed from Li Hua's abdomen like water,
splattering everywhere. Ugh! Li Hua grunted in pain. His body trembled uncontrollably. Instinctively, his hand went to the wound,
trying to stem the torrent of blood.
He quickly assessed the situation.
This sudden attack wasn't from the Shuan.
Up in the gap above the stone chamber, a group of shinobi in Suna attire had appeared unnoticed. 7 in total, each one powerful, formidable jonin.
They began rapidly gathering dense chakra.
The immense energy seemed to stir the very air. Their hands blurred, forming hand seals with fluid speed. A seamless practice motion. As the seals completed, countless razor-sharp wind blades materialized before them. These blades carried a fierce, cutting intent. Like lightning in a storm, they shot down into the stone chamber, one after another. So dense, there was no way to evade. As if intent on raking the entire chamber clean, leaving not a single inch untouched. And the wound Li Hua had just suffered came from one of those impossibly fast wind blades.
It had passed through him like a phantom,
leaving a deep gash.
But Li Hua had no time to tend to it now.
No time to deal with his own injury, because the enemy before him, though gravely wounded,
was not yet dead, from where his own blood now flowed.
Crawling hard, Li Hua knows the situation is critical. I dare not have the slightest negligence and carelessness.
So he did not hesitate to burst out all the body,
straight as a ferocious beast. Rust to the enemy only to hear a muffled bang. Li Hua hit the enemy hard with a thunderous force, successfully sent it to the yellow road.
But who would have thought it was just such a decisive?
But once again, Li Hua exposed his position. Although with its own keen perception and unique paper, Li Hua has extremely cleverly avoided most of the shots. But after all, it's still 100. All of a sudden, I only heard a loud pop. A stream of warm blood from Li Hua's neck.
It turned out that there was another blade of wind coming in.
Ruthlessly cut Li Hua's neck. Fortunately, the blow only cut the skin. It has not touched the vital artery. Otherwise, the consequences will be unimaginable. At this time, Li Hua has lost a lot of blood in ice hands and feet.
After fading, he used his last strength.
Jumped back into the dust. And he took out a handful of military grain pills from the bag. Put it in the mouth when an ordinary ninja gets hurt. Taking Bingliang pills will not cure the injury. But Li Hua has life to return. He took the huge amount of nutrients he carried in the barn pills. Rapid digestion. Li Hua's crazy use of life return. His wounds have also changed dramatically.
The wound on Li Hua's abdomen and neck quickly pops up. It then began to heal again at an alarming rate. Scab went a round of wind blade volley after. Li Hua's wound has also healed in 7788. The smoke and dust in the stone chamber gradually dissipated, revealing a dignified look, and the evil gods who were already dying before him. Chapter 56, Flying, Thor exposed. One-sided cloud endured in smoke and dust everywhere. A moment that obscures the sky. The Shiwan like ghosts. A flash of body instantly disappeared in place. His figure is as fast as lightning. In the blink of an eye, he was galloping in the direction of the captain. However, despite the rapid Deshiwan of action, but it took him some time and material to find the captain. Finally, Deshiwan found the trail of the captain. I saw him not hesitate to cast a blink. Rush like a blast to the captain. Its speed is staggering. At this time, the captain also noticed the Deshiwan's force. The moment they met, the captain's sharp eyes immediately spotted Deshiwan. He precisely gauged Deshiwan's instantaneous speed. The captain knew he was no match for Deshiwan. Facing such a formidable foe, the captain steeled his heart. A flash of resolve crossed his eyes. He glared fiercely at the nearby Deshiwan. A ferocious grin spread across his face. Without hesitation, he mustered all his strength and swiftly stabbed his own thigh with the iron spike. A dull, wet thud sounded. The sharp spike plunged deep into his thigh, pinning him firmly to the ground. Blood sprayed instantly, staining the earth red. Then began a heart-stopping battle with Deshiwan. Seeing the captain wounded, Deshiwan held nothing back, attacking full force. Each move deadly, launching relentless assaults, until finally, after the fight, the dust slowly settled. But the captain was now gravely injured, his breath faint beyond doubt. The third cultist at the village entrance must also be hurt. The other two will act swiftly. Deshiwan's usually inscrutable, grim face now bore an unprecedented gravity. It seemed heavy enough to crush him out. Li Hua keenly noticed the subtle shift in Deshiwan's expression. This was Li Hua's first time seeing Deshiwan show such a state. Unlike at the story's beginning, Deshiwan was cold and ruthless, having cast aside all emotional bonds. Now, Deshiwan was clearly different. Instead, he buried his true feelings deep within, rarely letting them show, especially during the Second Shinobi World War. Nawaki's death was like a demon's claw, tightly gripping Deshiwan's heart, making him unwilling to recall it. Yet despite this, Deshiwan and Li Hua remained calm. Deshiwan suddenly turned to Li Hua. He didn't explain the details, as in this moment. Any extra words were a luxury and a waste. He spoke rapidly to Li Hua. It just happened. With your ability, you might still make it, right? As he spoke, Deshiwan's narrow eyes rarely revealed a faint, almost imperceptible glimmer of hope. In fact, during their first mission together, Deshiwan had mentioned this in his report to the Hokage. He had specifically noted it. Based on the traces at the scene, Yuji Li Hua seems to have some kind of fast-moving ability. Deshiwan asked Li Hua. The purpose of the chakra is to perform the legendary forbidden jutsu, the eight-headed serpent. At this time, he had not yet fully mastered this technique. If he rashly forces its use, it will likely cause unimaginably serious consequences. It could even inflict irreversible, massive damage on himself. But if Li Hua's mission fails this time, then there seems to be no other way to break the current deadlock. All these thoughts, which seemed to take a long time to process, actually happened in an instant. The Sand Shinobi 7-man squad also didn't hesitate for a moment. As the dust gradually settled, they swiftly aimed their sharp wind blades, all at once, at Deshiwan and Li Hua below. In this critical situation, Li Hua's brain started operating at an astonishingly high speed. Full of anxiety and unease, he knew that the more critical the moment, the calmer he needed to be. So he desperately searched for a way to break through the current predicament. Finally, he realized that in the current situation, he had the strength to stop the two Jashin cultists at the village entrance. With that thought, Li Hua no longer had any hesitation. Just as he made up his mind and prepared to take action, he saw wind blades carrying lethal force, like a sudden storm, descend from the opening above, roaring towards him. At this critical moment, a crimson light suddenly flashed. In the next second, the spot where Li Hua had been standing was sliced apart by countless sharp wind blades, shattered into dust. But Li Hua had already vanished with the light. Orochimaru instantly breathed a sigh of relief. The flying thunder god technique, truly surprising. Then, with a relieved demeanor, Deshiwan looked up at the Sand Shinobi squad with a playful gaze. The problem of taking down the two Jashin cultists below didn't cause him the slightest worry. With deep trust, facing the roaring wind blades, sharp enough to tear through steel, Deshiwan didn't retreat at all. Instead, he revealed a meaningful smile. He allowed those wind blades, capable of tearing steel, to cut his seemingly fragile body into countless pieces. Witnessing Li Hua's disappearance, the Sand Shinobi immediately fell into chaos and shock. They never expected that. The big shot they had meticulously planned for the Cloud Shinobi to contain ended up becoming theirs in an unexpected way. This sudden turn of events completely threw them off balance. Just as the Sand Ninjas were stunned, the Deshiwan that was cut into countless pieces by the wind blades dissolved into wisps of earth and merged with the ground. The real him had already silently circled behind the Sand Ninjas. His figure, under the setting sun's afterglow, appeared exceptionally cold and, "We have enough time now." Deshiwan's voice was sinister, every word oozing terrifying killing intent, accompanied by a crimson glow. Li Hua's figure reappeared in front of the two Jashin cultists, having witnessed their third comrade fall. These two cultists should have followed the plan without hesitation, initiating the dead demon consuming seal through suicide, to perish together with Li Hua. However, faced with the threat of death, The fear in their hearts still caused them to hesitate for a moment. Right at that moment, Li Hua appeared just in time. His eyes were as sharp as a hawk's. Piercingly fixed on the two enemies, his nerves stretched to the limit. All the power in his body seemed to be gathering for the impending explosion. Just as the two cultists made up their minds, the moment the iron spikes were about to pierce their chests, Li Hua, like a bolt of lightning, appeared before them. His speed was so fast that the two cultists only had time for a flash of astonishment in their eyes. Without the slightest hesitation, two powerful whip kicks swept through like a storm, carrying an aura of total destruction, kicking the two cultists hard. Their bodies fell powerlessly to the ground, losing their combat ability on the spot. Meanwhile, on another battlefield, fighting against 7 Sand Jonin, Rant's body suddenly swayed as if struck by an invisible force, hurling him dozens of meters backward. His body tumbled through the air, dust flying everywhere, clearly suffering a significant impact. At this moment, Li Hua also felt a powerful shockwave from within, involuntarily spitting out a mouthful of blood. Immediately after, an intense pain surged from his abdomen, as if thousands of steel needles were stabbing him simultaneously. Gritting his teeth in his excruciating pain, Li Hua thought, damn, that kick of mine was really hard to take. His hands trembling. He pulled out a handful of soldier pills from his chest. After a second thought, he stuffed them into his mouth, chewing as he struggled to stand up. His gaze swept over the dead demon, consuming seal array on the ground. Bearing the intense pain in his abdomen, he used his hand to destroy the array. However, just as he let out a sigh of relief, an even more terrifying crisis quietly descended. A dazzling flash of lightning suddenly erupted behind him, like an angry dragon raging through the night sky. The lightning crackles with devastating power. It envelopes Li Hua in an instant. His figure flickers faintly amid the thunder and lightning, as if he could be consumed by this overwhelming power at any moment. Chapter 57, Gloomy Rage Thunderaxe. Crimson flashes of lightning, each strike terrifying enough to shake heaven and earth. One unleashed attack is none other than the leader of Young Ninja. Young Hei, with a speed as swift as a lightning bolt, has silently appeared behind the unsuspecting Li Hua. Lifts his right foot high. It seems as if endless heavenly thunder is coiled around his soul. Lightning roars within it, roiling with terrifying power capable of destroying all things. Gloomy Rage Thunderaxe. A's rough, bold voice rings out like a clap of thunder at this moment, echoing through the night sky, sounding extraordinarily menacing. It strikes fear into the heart. Having just gone through a life or death battle, Li Hua's mind had just loosened up, ready to catch his breath, when he suddenly sensed an extremely violent chakra behind him, surging toward him like a tidal wave. Even just the terrifying aura it exudes is enough to make every hair on Li Hua's body stand on end, and an unprecedented sense of crisis rises in his heart. Li Hua clearly understands with the current distance between him and A, he uses ordinary patience. There simply isn't enough time to dodge this fatal strike. But fortunately, Li Hua is no ordinary person. At the very moment, he slams his right foot down. The devastating strike crashes down on the spot where Li Hua was originally standing, turning the entire night sky as bright as day, yet hidden beneath the cover of countless bolts of lightning. A flicker of red vanishes like a ghost in the blink of an eye. It's the afterimage left by Li Hua when he used the Flying Thunder God technique to teleport instantly. Almost at the same time, Li Hua reappears at the spot he marked with the Flying Thunder God technique. Because of the Sand Ninja's violent attack, the original Flying Thunder God mark on the ancient tree was destroyed, which leaves Li Hua with very few locations he can teleport to right now. With the amount of chakra he has left, he can only teleport to that previous spot, or realizes he didn't hit a solid target. He reacts instantly, waving his hand sharply. 3 Kimo ninjas appear behind him in an instant. All of them are powerful Jonin, for iron tower-like brutes stand there, like 4 towering mountains exuding suffocating terror, as if they could swallow the entire whole world. Faced with this sudden turn of events, Li Hua understood in his heart. A more intense battle was about to begin. Li Hua knew that facing the formidable Cloud Ninja delegation, especially with the Rake's son among them, a powerful young man like A direct confrontation would be foolish. Not only essential, but also had the support of the entire Land of Lightning, from both a strategic and strength perspective. The best response now was to buy time. If he could just wait for Deshiwan to handle the Sand Ninja's threat and come to his aid, the Cloud delegation would naturally choose a safer course. Yet another fire burned in Li Hua's heart. Since starting this journey, whether it was the cunning rock ninjas, the Sand Ninjas, sudden ambushes, or the aggressive Cloud Ninjas now, they all saw him as an easy target, setting traps and pressing him at every turn. These provocations fueled his rage. Bit by bit, his anger built until the young A ignited it all like a fuse. Li Hua suddenly straightened his back. His violent chakra surged like a stormy sea, churning wildly. He said coldly, "When will this end?" However, the young A was not intimidated by Li Hua's threat. Instead, it only fueled his killing intent. He stomped the ground, his muscles tensing like springs, launching himself into the air like a moon, with the sound of the earth cracking beneath him. He concentrated his lightning release chakra to the limit, forming a high-intensity current around his right hand. Using his hand as a blade, lightning flashed, dazzling bright. Lightning beast tearing slash. With A's roar, he descended like a thunder god, with an unstoppable force, diving towards Li Hua, his hand blade carrying destruction. Bound to split Li Hua in two. In the original story, this move was a glorious feat from A's youth. He could sever the 8 tails left horn with one hand. However, at this moment of life and death, a sudden change occurred. A pair of powerful, pale hands appeared like ghosts in A's path, firmly catching his killing blow. Dark release, absorption hole. Li Hua's voice was calm and firm. This technique not only neutralized A's attack, but began to drain the chakra from A's body. The young A's face instantly paled. He was shocked to discover his chakra was draining at an alarming rate. And this was Li Hua's seemingly ordinary right hand. In that split-second snap, Li Hua's left hand suddenly accelerated. Without any warning, he gave AI a resounding slap, then quickly patted his head. In that moment, the air seemed to freeze. It was so quiet, only the sound of heartbeats could be heard. AI stood there in shock, staring at Li Hua in disbelief, while Li Hua looked back with an almost mocking gaze. Head pat, a ranked ninja, young AI. Choose 3 of the following rewards. Physical attributes. Greatly enhanced thunder release. Chakra mode, Chidori, lightning blade, thunderbolt, thunderclap. Faced with a dazzling array of rewards, Li Hua wasn't ecstatic because he knew he would face AI's frenzied assault and had to prepare immediately. System, I choose greatly enhanced physical attributes. Thunder release, chakra mode. Chidori, lightning blade. Rewards distributed. In the past, reward distribution was always accompanied by unbearable, piercing pain for Li Hua. However, this time was completely different. He had fully absorbed AI's astonishingly powerful thunderclap level. This power, a torrent of chakra, flooded through Li Hua's rings, filling him with his wild chakra torrent. This power raged wildly within his body, bringing an unprecedented sense of strength, and also made his sense of pain become dull and distant. Damn it, AI let out a deafening roar. He strained with all his might, muscles tensed, and broke free from the ironclad grip. As a ninja renowned for his physical prowess, AI had always been confident in his strength, but at this moment, he was shocked to discover that Li Hua's physical attributes had undergone a qualitative leap in a short time. It was as if he had become a completely different person. His strength was beyond imagination. Seeing AI in trouble, the three cloud ninjas nearby naturally couldn't stand idly by. They acted swiftly, each unleashing their skilled thunder release ninjutsu, intending to combine their efforts to rescue AI from danger. However, these attacks, imbued with powerful electricity, were like mud oxen entering the sea before Li Hua, easily absorbed completely by his left hand. It was as if his left hand was a bottomless pit, capable of devouring all thunder release power. Ninjutsu is meaningless before me. Li Hua's voice was cold as ice, devoid of any emotion. Since you're so eager to kill me, then show me your real skills and try. Having said that, he closed his eyes and focused. The chakra absorbed through dark release like a tidal wave. He channeled it into his right hand. In that moment, Li Hua's right hand seemed to transform into a vessel of power. A chakra force capable of shaking heaven and earth erupted from it, like a volcanic eruption, unstoppable. Boom! Accompanied by a deafening roar. Earth trembles violently under Li Hua's attack. A deep gully was instantly plowed. The earth is flying, and the trees are in the aftermath of this force. As helpless as the autumn wind sweeps the fallen leaves, the power of this attack, even with the small tail beast Jade, is not inferior. Li Hua stands in place after the attack. Under the effect of the return of life, he quickly recovered and was in attack. His right hand was trembling slightly, his already dark arm. At the moment, there are even more signs of carbonization. Other clouds endure them in this powerful chakra rush. Has long lost its fighting power. Can only look at the eyes of everything. Full of shock and powerlessness, Chapter 58, The Battle of 10,000 Snakes. Ninjas, set people free characters. At the moment, in the branch of the cult, Deshiwan like a grim statue, standing quietly with 6 sand-bearing heads in his hands. Eyes revealed a heart-pounding chill. The blood on these skulls has not dried up. They silently tell the story of the brutal battle just now. Opposite him, the last remaining sand endure, eyes gazing emptily at this callous tongue in front of you, hearts filled with fear and despair. He witnessed his 6 companions one by one. That sense of powerlessness and despair made him lose his resistance completely. However, just at that moment, Deshiwan suddenly felt an unusual chuck. This force is powerful and strange, but with a faint familiar breath. His eyes instantly fiercely. The whole body exudes an indescribable sense of oppression, as if even the surrounding air is solidified. He quickly perceived, this chakra belongs to Li Hua. But what worries Deshiwan is, Li Hua's amount of chakra is so large. This is far beyond his previous understanding. This kind of abnormal situation raised a hint of alarm in Deshiwan hearts. Without the slightest hesitation, Deshiwan act as quickly as ghosts. In the blink of an eye, the head of the last enemy will be removed. He moves cleanly and without the slightest slopping. Then the Deshiwan body flash, like a swift wind, gallop toward where Li Hua fights. He was still carrying those 7 heads in his hand. AI stood up hard and gasped. At the moment, he has no majestic and evil spirit just now. Instead of a face of exhaustion and embarrassment. And it's just as hard to endure the 3 clouds behind him. Their fighting strength is nearly gone, covered in wounds, and the one who started it all, Li Hua, stands unharmed, untouched. Yet only Li Hua himself knows. His own condition is dire. That last attack, though powerful, drained most of his chakra. And the chakra inside him was too volatile, damaging his meridians severely. They ache now, as the standoff continues. The tension reaches its peak. Deshiwan's figure appears like a black lightning bolt on the battlefield, tipping the scales of victory. He shatters the battlefield's balance instantly. Thud! With a dull sound, Deshiwan tosses 7 sand ninjas' heads to the ground, spreading an indescribable despair and fear. Deshiwan stands by Li Hua's side, placing a hand gently on his shoulder. He carefully checks Li Hua's condition. His eyes reveal an unnameable complexity, a mix of worry and anger. The more he checks, the darker Deshiwan's expression grows. In a hoarse, cold voice, he says, "Speak. How do you wish to die?" As the words fade, a terrifying killing intent radiates from him. This intent feels like it could freeze all life. 2 cloud ninjas faint on the spot. Their bodies tremble in fear and despair, utterly unable to withstand the horror Deshiwan emits. Meanwhile, AI's originally dark, large face, battered by Deshiwan's overwhelming presence, turns deathly pale. Yet even so, his tall, sturdy frame remains straight as steel, refusing to bend or retreat an inch. AI musters his last bit of chakra, forming his lightning armor. He grits his teeth, eyes blazing with furious flames, glaring fixedly at Deshiwan not far ahead. He roars, "Enough talk. Bring it on, if you dare." Facing AI's defiant challenge, Deshiwan's lips curl slightly, revealing a dismissive sneer. He pats Li Hua's shoulder lightly. Then, Deshiwan's figure vanishes like a ghost, disappearing from sight in an instant. Seeing Deshiwan vanish suddenly, AI's pupils shrink to pinpricks. He thinks this is bad, not daring to waste a moment. He turned around in a hurry, but when he looked back, the sight before him made him gasp in shock. Deshiwan had somehow appeared right behind him, holding 2 heads still dripping with fresh blood.
Crimson droplets splattered everywhere, staining Deshiwan's pale face, making him appear even more sinister and terrifying. It was bone-chilling. The two unfortunate cloud ninjas, their heads severed from their bodies, still wore expressions of utter horror from their final moments. They clearly hadn't expected Deshiwan to strike so swiftly, leaving them no chance to react, losing their lives just like that. Witnessing this tragedy, AI's eyes blazed with fury. An uncontrollable rage surged within him. He threw his head back and roared, "Lightning release, lightning," as his roar echoed. Intense chakra began to gather wildly all over AI's body. This chakra was like brilliant bolts of lightning, crackling and coiling around him. At the same time, AI raised its powerful right arm high, his entire body launching forward like a cannonball, charging toward Deshiwan with incredible speed. He aimed to use his immense arm strength and this lightning power to deliver a fatal blow to this fearsome foe. Seeing this astonishing scene, Deshiwan's lips curled slightly upward, forming a chilling, sinister smile. He showed no fear of the raging lightning that could tear anything apart, simply watching as it mercilessly struck his body. However, the very next second, something astonishing happened. The body ravaged by the lightning didn't shatter as one might expect. Instead, it instantly turned into a pile of mud, and Deshiwan silently appeared behind AI. His eerie voice, as if from the depths of hell, coldly stated, "In your next life, remember this lesson." These words were like a death sentence, sending a piercing chill down AI's spine. Before the words faded, Deshiwan's hands moved like lightning, forming a series of complex hand seals. With the final seal completed, he slammed both palms heavily onto the ground. Instantly, an intricate summoning array, like a vast scroll, unfurled across the earth. Multiple snake hands. Immediately after, a chorus of low, hissing roars arose, as the surface, cold and terrifying, began to pour forth endlessly from the array. These giant snakes all opened their bloodthirsty maws wide. Their sharp fangs gleamed with a chilling light. They surged towards AI with an overwhelming force, as if trying to swallow him whole in one gulp, and tear him into countless pieces, just as AI is about to meet his end in the serpent's jaws. At the critical moment, a strangely shaped great sword suddenly appears out of nowhere, forcibly blocking the onrushing horde of snakes. Its hilt is very long, and its blade is as broad as a door plank. Thick, solid, and surprisingly, one side of the blade is a regular edge, while the other edge is densely covered with explosive tags, as if containing endless destructive power. At this moment, a loud voice suddenly rings out. "Explosive sword technique, launch!" With this command, all those explosive tags detonate simultaneously. For a moment, flames shoot skyward, and deafening explosions fill the air. A powerful shockwave sweeps out in all directions. Everything is engulfed in raging flames. The shockwave continues its devastating sweep outward. The ground trembles violently. Rocks fly. Trees are uprooted. Even distant mountains seem to teeter on the brink of collapse, as if the entire world is about to shatter at this very moment. Deshiwan's sharp eyes recognize the blade the instant it appears. He instantly identifies it. "Explosive sword, Kabaku," he exclaims inwardly, shocked. His expression turns extremely grave. Without a moment's hesitation, he flashes away like a ghost, swiftly returning to Lihua. And with bewildering speed, his hands rapidly form seals. As he utters a low cry, summoning Rashomon, a massive, thick Rashomon gate abruptly rises from the ground, standing before them like an impenetrable wall. The gate is carved with vivid depictions of hellish Yama-kings, mocking the futility of the enemy's attack with cold indifference. This is the first time one has used this powerful technique in front of Lihua. Yet, facts soon prove his decision absolutely wise. Because at this very moment, AI and the last remaining Cloud Ninja, caught near the explosion's epicenter, are already severely wounded by the violent aftershocks of the blast. Their bodies are sent flying, like kites with cut strings, crashing heavily to the ground, raising clouds of dust. And the explosive sword that triggered this earth-shattering blast is sent soaring high into the air by the explosion's immense force, then lands firmly in someone's grasp. It's none other than one of the 7 ninja swordsmen, Mori Jinpachi, and in the shadows behind him, 4 more figures stand distinctly, each holding a uniquely shaped ninja sword in their hands. The plot is getting more and more interesting. Chapter 59. Heading to the land of water. Makes room on the deck, I think. This farce should end now, Jinpachi shouted loudly. His voice echoed across the empty grounds. If anyone still wants to make trouble, we are willing to oblige. With this loud shout, 4 figures originally hidden in the shadows slowly walked, step by step, approaching Jinpachi, and finally stood side by side with him. One of them had a fierce-looking face, an exceptionally burly build, standing there like a small mountain. He tightly gripped a huge broadsword in his hand, Samahata exuding a terrifying aura. This person was none other than Fuguki Suegazan. The appearance of another person was completely different. He had chestnut-colored long hair, casually draped over his shoulders. His figure was slender and agile, like a nimble leopard. He wielded a long sword. The sharp blade of Nuabari made one dare not look directly at it. This was Orochimaru. Looking at the third person, his arms were astonishingly thick, muscles bulging high, full of explosive power. Such strong arms easily carried the blunt sword. Kabutowari steadily on his shoulder. This person was Jinin Akabino. The last person was Juzo Biwa, holding the executioner's blade. This great blade in his hand was full of killing intent, as if ready to sever any enemy blocking its path at any moment. Seeing this scene, everyone present was astonished. Who would have thought that 4 of the 7 ninja swordsmen would appear at once? Then Orochimaru spoke. The Sand Village and the Stone Village have already arrived. We now invite the envoys from the Cloud Village and the Leaf Village to follow us. Hearing this, Orochimaru and Danzo immediately understood. So, apart from the Cloud Village, these were all Ombu members dispatched by their respective villages. and the real delegations from these villages had probably already set off in advance, arriving at the mist village one step ahead. Facing the tense, sword-drawn situation before them, a cold glint flashed in Orochimaru's narrow eyes. Like a venomous snake, he glared fiercely at A. However, after just a moment, his hand, which had been raised ready to attack, slowly lowered again. This did not mean Orochimaru felt fear towards the 7 ninja swordsmen. Given his strength and personality, he would not easily fear anyone. It's just that, whether it was himself or him, was wholly observing side. Everyone knows perfectly well that if they kill AI right in front of the 7 ninja swordsmen, it will lead to a series of serious consequences. First, this would undoubtedly provoke the powerful Cloud Village. It would draw their endless wrath and retaliation. Second, it would also strongly displease the Mist Village.
It could shatter the fragile peace between the 5 great shinobi villages.
This matter is far from over. Deshiwan hissed these words through gritted teeth.
His voice was as cold as ice.
With that, he and Li Hua turned and left without a backward glance. They followed the departing 7 ninja swordsmen without hesitation. Together, they moved further and further towards the capital. As for the 7 ninja swordsmen, they completely ignored the severely wounded AI and the other Cloud ninja on the ground. They showed no intention of helping at all. In truth, they had their own calculations. Before the full truth is known, remaining neutral and not choosing sides is the wisest course. In the fierce battle just now,
they didn't directly help AI, but in a way, they indirectly saved his life. If they rashly helped these Cloud Ninja now,
it might anger the unpredictable Shiwan beside them. That would bring them unnecessary trouble. So, the badly injured AI could only grit his teeth. He endured the excruciating pain. With great difficulty, he dragged his fellow Cloud Ninja, who was also seriously injured. He followed far behind Shiwan and the others. With every step, he felt his body was about to give out. He could collapse at any moment. AI's heart was filled with uncontrollable rage. His eyes seemed to spit fire. He wanted nothing more than to charge forward, to fight Shiwan to the death, to avenge the humiliation he had suffered. Unfortunately, his body was already on the verge of collapse. It was battered and bruised, unable to bear anymore. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't muster his chakra to fight again.
Meanwhile, the other injured Cloud Ninja also wore a bitter expression. If Lord B were here to fight,
today would have been so humiliating. Enough!
AI cut him off roughly. The chakra inside B
was just suppressed by father. How could he come a fight? It's our own strength that's lacking. AI clenched his fists tightly.
His knuckles turned white from the force. His eyes
were like 2 burning flames. They blazed with an intense thirst for greater power. Yet, AI remained completely unaware.
Right when they were talking just now, a very small snake was quietly hiding in the nearby grass. It hid its body perfectly,
leaving only a pair of bright and cunning eyes exposed, listening quietly to every single word they said. Meanwhile, in a distant place, on Deshiwan's pale and eerie face, a playful smile slowly spread across it. His narrow eyes squinted slightly, emitting a chilly glint that sends chills down one's spine. He thought to himself, that unstable 8 tails. Such a perfect experimental material, I can't let it slip away easily. Just like that, a terrifying plot targeting the 8 tails Jinchuriki is quietly taking shape into Shiwan's mind.
After arduous journeys and countless soul-stirring battles,
of the 13 people who boarded the ship together, only a handful remain alive today. They dragged their exhausted bodies back to the capital and decided to take a short break here. During this precious day, everyone made the most of their time to rest and treat their wounds, to regain their strength and energy as soon as possible. Meanwhile, Shiwan followed Li Hua and tried almost all the signature delicacies of the land of soup.
After the meal, Li Hua's injuries actually healed miraculously.
At this moment, Shiwan was staring at him with a slightly curious gaze, but never asked anything about the Flying Thunder God technique. Regarding this question, both master and disciple seemed to understand it tacitly, and they unanimously chose to keep it buried deep in their hearts, becoming a secret between them that will never be discussed openly. One day passed in the blink of an eye. The group did not return to the ferry as originally planned. Instead, they chose to follow the 7 ninja swordsmen onto their ship. Night falls quietly. Bright moonlight spills over the glistening sea surface. The sea breeze carries the unique salty brininess of seawater, brushing gently across Li Hua's slightly pale face. Ugh, just as expected, he's been hit by the discomfort of seasickness again. Right now, Shiwan is immersed in the cabin, focusing intently on studying the scriptures of the Jashin cult. As for the Kimogakure ninja and the 7 ninja swordsmen, they've long since vanished without a trace, nowhere to be found. On this vast deck, only Li Hua is left leaning alone against the railing, gazing at the surging waves on the sea. Hey, guy from Konoha, this is way too dangerous. If you accidentally fall into the sea, I won't come save you, you know. Just then, a clear and melodious voice, as sweet as a nightingale's song, suddenly drifted into Li Hua's ears. He turned his head upon hearing the sound.
A little girl around his age was standing gracefully over there.
This little girl is extremely cute. A pair of large, clear green eyes blinked. Chestnut brown hair cascaded down in a crisscross pattern. The slightly curled ends danced lightly in the breeze. Her rosy lips were as luscious as ripe cherries. Her delicate, fair skin was smooth as fine jade. Before Li Hua could react, the girl
grabbed him from the railing without hesitation.
Her movements were swift yet gentle. I'm Taromi May, and you? The girl asked, tilting her head. She smiled brightly at Li Hua. Her eyes held a hint of curiosity. Li Hua stared at the petite, cute girl before him, thinking to himself, she looks a bit like the mature, charming woman from the original. This action made Taromi May a bit shy. She said, then she placed a stack of documents in Li Hua's hands. This is the schedule for the Mizukage succession. Give it to your teacher. You little follower, she said before darting away, leaving Li Hua alone and confused on the deck. Suddenly, he turned tail and rushed back to the railing. Chapter 60, Arrival in Kirigiri.
Not wasting much time, Li Hua steadied himself on the rocking deck, then stumbled toward the cabin, forcing himself to move. His steps were unsteady, as if he might fall at any moment.
Finally reached it, he knocked gently on the door.
Hearing Deshiwan's voice inside come in, Li Hua carefully pushed the door open and entered. The Shiwan was sitting at a desk cluttered with books and scrolls, intently reading a text on the Jashin cult. He frowned, then shook his head slightly, seeming puzzled or dissatisfied by the content. Seeing his teacher engrossed in research, Li Hua didn't want to disturb him. He tiptoed toward his Shiwan, trying not to make a sound. But despite his caution, the Shiwan slowly looked up as he approached. His gaze was sharp as it fell on Li Hua. His eyes held a unique intensity, the focus and fervor that only emerged during research. Li Hua knew this was the Shiwan's research-obsessed side. This is the schedule for the Mizukage succession, Li Hua said. He quickly scanned the contents above, and just a moment later, he casually nodded, indicating he grasped the situation. Then he placed the file on a nearby table. Dropping his previously low, serious tone, he said to Li Hua with a hint of excitement, "Li Hua, I never thought the cult of the evil god truly delved into immortality." With that, he eagerly picked up a thick book from the side and handed it to Li Hua. Li Hua took the book, which emitted a chilling aura. A wave of cold air hit him. He even faintly smelled blood from its pages. After carefully reading the material, Li Hua's mind was in turmoil for a long time. A chill slowly crept up his spine. He could hardly imagine how this vile cult, to worship their so-called evil god and seek its cursed power, could be so depraved as to slaughter countless defenseless, unarmed, innocent civilians. The thought of those bloody, brutal scenes filled Li Hua with nausea and anger. Just then, the silent Dashiwan suddenly spoke up. Their research actually has a major flaw. His tone was firm and unwavering. While their modified bodies may possess so-called immortality, it only means they can't be easily killed by external force. They cannot solve death from natural aging at all. The Shiwan's gaze was sharp as a knife, as if he'd completely seen through the cult's secrets. He further explained, moreover, if a person lacks extremely powerful regenerative ability, even with an immortal body, if they encounter something extreme like being dismembered, they can only watch themselves head toward destruction, completely helpless. Li Hua listened intently to the Shiwan's every word. Shock surged within him like a tidal wave. He never expected that just from a quick glance at the related material, the Shiwan could so precisely point out Haiden's future flaw. This insight and analytical skill were truly astonishing. At this moment, Li Hua couldn't help but deeply admire the Shiwan's extraordinary combat intelligence. The Shiwan seemed to notice the utter shock on his disciple's face. The corner of his mouth lifted slightly, revealing a hint of barely perceptible pride. He paused briefly, then continued, "In my view, it has to involve the migration of the soul, and even if the bearer is sealed by the strongest power, they can still be resurrected through other means." Li Hua is shocked by Orochimaru's forward-thinking idea, the key reasons behind corpse reincarnation and the curse mark. After that, the master and apprentice began an in-depth. During their discussion, Orochimaru kept dropping vague hints from time to time, saying he was confident he could properly handle Li Hua's insufficient chakra. "But master, even if you say that I lack chakra, in the end, it's all because I'm still too young. How can this be fixed in such a short amount of time?" Li Hua asked with a confused look on his face. Hearing this, Orochimaru just gave a faint smile. He didn't directly answer Li Hua's question, but actually, right now, his mind has already run off like an unbridled wild horse, and instantly flew all the way to Kilowatts Cloud and Lightning Gorge, thousands of miles away. Meanwhile, the ship continued sailing forward. Several more days passed. During this time, Li Hua finally learned the reason why Terumi Mei is on the ship. She is the most trusted confidant of the third Mizukage. That's why she and her master have taken on the responsibility of meeting ingredient envoys from various nations.